We open in the ominous silver dragon dungeon, guards at the ready. A pair of glowing, high-fashion heels steps into the scene. This guards immediately salute their arriving queen, Her Majesty. She dismisses them, wanting to speak to the prisoner alone. And there she is, the silver dragon queen in all her glory. She taunts the great dragon-slaying hero, now her personal captive. Our boy, chained up, just glares back and tells her to kill him. But she finds his request for a quick death just adorable. Getting uncomfortably close, she compliments his handsome, resolute face. She even suggests a few more scars would make him perfect, which is a red flag. He is not having it, telling her to stop the humiliation and get on with it. She then offers a job, saying he was framed and should just join her clan. His response is pure uncut sass, "Are you worthy?" Oh, that definitely struck a nerve with the queen. She immediately lashes out, smashing the wall next to his head. He just coughs, completely unfazed by her little tantrum. Furious, she pins him down for his rudeness. She reminds Leon Cosmo that his hero reputation is dead, calling him an ignorant loser who is going to die in her dungeon. But even with her foot on him, Leon's defiant glare does not break. She taunts him about having no successor to carry on his legacy. But Leon bites back, warning her not to underestimate humans. In response, her tail whips around and starts choking him out. She effortlessly lifts him into the air, calling him stubborn. Leon's clearly struggling, desperately trying to break her hold. His vision starts to fade as he chokes out her title, and she just smirks, asking if he is finally ready to beg, except our boy is not done, claiming she has made two mistakes. First, she should have never been alone with a trained dragon slayer, and her second mistake is even bigger. She is about to taste his blood and his secret weapon. Suddenly, she is hit with a blood curse, and it is working. Leon immediately breaks free from her grip. This queen stumbles back, completely caught off guard, and the curse's main side effect is making her feel super hot. Her body's not listening to her anymore as she collapses. She is completely baffled by what is happening to her. Leon explains this curse will bring her a lifetime of pain. And she is definitely not having a good time right now, but then she just lunges right at him. Instead of killing him, she just collapses right on top of Leon. Our boy is understandably a little confused by this development. Turns out the curse's main effect is making her incredibly flustered, and then she just straight up kisses him. Leon's just as surprised as anyone would be. An hour later, the dungeon floor is a mess of clothes and broken chains. This queen slowly comes back to her senses, looking dazed. Trying to piece together what just happened, she covers herself. Then her gaze lands on Leon and she is not happy. She absolutely loses it, demanding to know what he did to her. He calmly explains his blood curse, a soul bond that links them for life. She is not buying it, questioning the logic of what just went down. Leon admits the physical side effect was a complete surprise to him too. His little oopsie does not calm her down in the slightest. With a smirk, he brings up the dragon rule of monogamy. He explains that now she can never take another mate or have an heir. Basically, he just pulled the ultimate "no you" on her successor taunt. This finally sends her into an absolute rage, but he is already preparing to end his own life, telling her to live with the pain, his final curse as a human. Stunned into silence, the queen just trembles with rage. She accuses Leon of taking a cheap and despicable revenge. Refusing to let him die so easily, her power flares to life. But a matching seal appears on Leon's chest as he accepts his fate, and his life flashes before his eyes, starting with his past as a hero. Even as a 5-year-old, he was a legend, killing a vicious dog barehanded. At 10, he entered the most elite Dragon Slayer Academy. By 15, the kid was already a battlefield veteran with a crazy kill count. He became the strongest hero in the Empire, their only real hope, until his capture 2 years ago, which is when he suddenly wakes up. Leon jolts upright with a scream, fresh from a nightmare. Panting, he clutches his chest, trying to get his bearings. Because this is definitely not a dungeon, it is a luxury suite. Then he hears a small sound coming from the doorway. A tiny, adorable little girl is peeking into the room. She just cheerfully says hello, glad that he is finally awake. Our boy's brain completely short-circuits. The cuteness is overwhelming. He figures this must be heaven, his reward for saving humanity. Pointing dramatically, he declares she must be a legendary angel. He then gently asks the very confused little girl for her name. This tiny angel cheerfully introduces herself as Muin. Leon is completely smitten, though he finds her black and white hair a little strange. She explains her name means moon, something her mom told her. Wait, angels have moms. He introduces himself as Leon, and she already knows his name means lion. When asked how, she just says her mom told her that too. Suddenly, the gears in Leon's head start turning as he asks who this mother is. Muin proudly announces her mom's name is Roswace, and Leon's entire reality just shatters. Stuttering, he tries to connect the dots. If she is the mother, then he is and Muin just drops the bomb with a huge smile. You are the father. Our boy's brain completely short-circuits from the shock. He collapses, trying to process that he has a child with the Silver Dragon Queen. His mind is just reeling from this absolutely impossible revelation. At that moment, Roswace herself walks in and Muin runs to greet her mom. This queen calmly welcomes him back, but Leon's face is pure, unfiltered rage. Their daughter then helpfully adds that mom visited him every single day he was out. Roswace plays along with a smug little smile, but Leon is not buying it for a second. She then sends Muin away so the grown-ups can have a nice, private chat. Leon immediately demands to know if it is true, and she confirms Muin is their biological daughter. Her tail starts lashing as she points out the obvious, that he hates her. He grabs her, demanding to know why she saved him and gave birth to their child. Roswace reminds him he has been out for 2 years and payback is long overdue. Leon fires back that he never wanted any of this because they are mortal enemies. She gets real close, sarcastically asking if touching her was torture, and he is like, yep. With a flick of her tail, she just yanks him right onto the bed. He is pinned down immediately, demanding to know what she is planning now. Her first move is to just rip his shirt wide open. Then she reveals her grand plan to carve her personal dragon pattern onto him. This magical seal will mark him as her prisoner for life with no escape. She taunts him about how his human friends will see him as a traitor. As the seal burns into his chest, he grits his teeth, asking why she is so obsessed. Her explanation is simple. Dragon revenge is just on a whole other level of petty. She wants him to live in eternal shame, completely humiliated by her forever. Leon's feeling the effects while the narration calls it a great honor, which is one way to put it. Leaning in, she is ready to begin her ultimate revenge on the dragon slayer. We cut away to the beautiful silver dragon castle, time having passed. Two maids gossip about the queen's good mood, all because her husband finally woke up. Overhearing this, Leon is absolutely fuming that she is spreading that rumor. He flashes back to her. Enthusiastic welcome, complaining his waist is still broken. Absolutely done, Leon vows he is not staying here to be her personal plaything. But as he heads for the exit, he finds the gate is very, very well guarded. Leon scopes out the exit, but it is guarded by 4 dragons. Something feels off though, the castle is way too quiet for his liking, and then he spots it. A conveniently placed escape hole hidden in the bushes. He is pretty sure this is a trap, like 99% sure, but our boy is desperate, deciding to risk it all anyway. He says a silent goodbye to his daughter and her crazy mom. Except his daughter is watching, cheering on dad's cool dog hole. Meanwhile, Roswace is just chilling, finding the whole thing hilarious. Nguyen then asks when mom is gonna go fish him back. Her mom gently corrects her that is a very rude term for your father, so the little one asks what she should say instead. With a terrifying smile, Roswace suggests catch him back. Sometime later, Leon is sprinting through the woods toward human lands. Freedom is so close he can almost taste it. He stops for a second, confident he has finally lost her. Which is, of course, the exact moment he senses doom, because Roswace is hovering right above him in her dragon form. She swoops down to mock his little jog, and he just loses it, and her tail comes whipping down to end this game of tag for good. Roswace towers over him, asking if he is enjoying their little game. Then she drops the bomb that she made his escape hole on purpose. Leon admits he knew it was a trap, but was just that desperate. With a smirk, she asks how his human friends will react to her mark on him. He fires back that he'd rather be a nobody than her personal plaything. His lack of gratitude clearly annoys her. Time for plan B, and by plan B, she means just grabbing him with a giant claw. As she flies off, she promises to help him get home since he is so eager. 3 hours later, they are soaring right over the human border city. Which is when she just drops him from the sky, because of course she does. Our boy makes a very ungraceful landing right through the trees, crashing into the ground with a very undignified thud. Dazed and in pain, he slowly tries to pull himself together, but then he spots something through the dark woods. It is a town right on the edge of the forest. He cannot believe it, he is actually at the human border. A familiar voice confirms it, and Roswace appears in human form. Her question is simple: does he really think he can just waltz back in? With a cold smile, she tells him he can never go home again, and the seal on his chest flares to life, proving her point. He is trapped. Roswace adds a fun little detail: the seal has a romantic side effect. As the mark glows, she asks if he is feeling the urge to be there. Her grand plan is to humiliate him right outside his own hometown, but Leon refuses to break, clutching the burning seal on his chest. He grabs her, vowing to repay this humiliation 100 times over. For a split second, she is actually stunned by his fighting spirit, which immediately turns into a very pleased, very smug smile. She leans in close, promising she will be waiting for him, dead or alive. A little while later, by a giant tree near the border, Roswace is looking extremely satisfied with the outcome of their chat. She even tells a completely drained Leon she was happy with his performance. Then she offers to bring him here every month, for family outings. Our boy finally sits up, calling her out on her twisted games. Unfazed, she just says it is time to go home to their daughter. Leon suddenly yells for her to wait, and she actually stops. He declares he is a dragon slayer, not her pet. He will walk back himself. She finds this hilarious, pointing out it is a 10-day walk for a human. With a wicked grin, she decides to see just how long he will last. Some time passes, and Leon is already struggling through the woods. He is completely exhausted, but his pride is still pushing him forward. Roswace taunts him about being too tired to walk, but Leon insists he is fine. She just smirks, calling him all talk, which only makes him angrier. Suddenly, a noise in the woods makes them both freeze mid-argument, and what do you know, it is a patrol from the Dragon Slayer army. Leon's eyes light up with a terrible idea: maybe they can save him. Roswace, on the other hand, looks like she's about to commit several war crimes. He immediately realizes that if he asks for help, she will just murder them all. This lead knight rides forward, asking them to stop for a moment. This guy asks if they are lost, completely unaware of the Dragon Queen in the bushes. Leon quickly plays it cool, insisting they are just hanging out. This knight offers them a ride, warning about dangerous animals in the forest if only he knew. He then introduces himself as Walker, a captain of the Dragon Slayers. Trying to save this poor soul, Leon waves him off, saying they are fine, but Walker squints, thinking Leon looks awfully familiar. That is the last straw for Roswace, whose eyes are glowing with rage. Leon sees her hand charging with magic and knows he is out of time. In a last-ditch effort, he grabs her and pulls her into a very forced embrace. He whispers a desperate deal. He will go back quietly if she just helps him get rid of them. So now they are putting on a show for the night, complete with romantic sparkles, and the guy completely falls for it, laughing as he leaves the happy couple alone. As the nights ride off, the two are left in a very convincing, very fake embrace. The second they are gone, Roswace is like, "You done hugging me yet?" She immediately shoves him away, sending him stumbling back. She admits he was smart not to ask for help, but she has got a lecture ready. Tapping his chest, she reminds him to know his place. He is her prisoner, not her husband. With that settled, she turns to leave, ready for their 10-day hike home. But Leon's body finally gives out and he collapses in pain. He reaches out a hand, but he is completely spent, and then he just passes out cold, hitting the dirt hard. Roswace looks down, utterly unimpressed by his fainting spell. Calling him a fragile human, her patience has officially run out, so she transforms and just scoops him up in her mouth. Problem solved. Our boy gets a comfy ride home, unconscious on a dragon's snout. As she flies off, she decides to count this as him begging for mercy. Some time later, we are back at the Silver Dragon Castle. Leon finally wakes up in bed, looking completely drained. His daughter Muin immediately pops up, thrilled to see him awake. He asks how he got back, and she cheerfully says Mom brought him. This triggers a mental image of being hunted down like prey with his daughter in tow. Then he notices his hand is bandaged, leaving him even more confused. Muin proudly announces she was the one who bandaged his hand and she is expecting praise. This gets Leon thinking about how dragons are supposed to be violent, bloodthirsty creatures. He figures her human side must be why she is so kind and not, trying to eat him. Shaking it off, he just pats her head and calls her awesome, which she absolutely loves. Then he gives her some crucial life advice. Whatever you do, do not grow up to be like your mother. And right on cue, Roswace appears in the doorway asking what is so wrong with being like her. Leon immediately freezes, stammering that he said absolutely nothing, not a thing. Their daughter then proudly reports to Mom that she followed her bandaging instructions perfectly. Roswace gives the most unenthusiastic approval ever, basically saying that is your job. While Muin is just happy, Leon is internally judging her for being such a strict parent. To get some privacy, he suggests a game of hide-and-seek to get Muin out of the room. This little girl is absolutely ecstatic that her dad wants to play with her. He shoos her off, promising he is not a fun killer like her mom. As Muin scrambles to hide, Leon starts counting way too fast with Roswace looming behind him. He keeps up the count until she is just a puff of smoke out the door. The second she is gone, he turns to confront Roswace, who looks completely unimpressed. He immediately calls her out, asking if she is not being way too hard on their kid. She just explains that this is standard dragon parenting. Strictness forges strong warriors. Leon argues Muin is too cute for that, but Roswace informs him that cute is an insult to dragons. So naturally, Leon smirks and tells her she is pretty cute too. That cute comment did not land well at all. She grabs him, reminding him he is just a slave for her to yell at. Our boy is completely speechless, which is probably for the best. Then she does a full 180 delegating childcare because she is a busy queen. With a sly smile, she points out that their daughter really likes him. So now he is wandering the gardens, a dragon slayer turned full-time nanny. He is still trying to make sense of his new job description when he spots Muin hiding terribly behind a pillar. Leon gets into it, shouting that he has found her, but the little girl just stares back, completely unimpressed. He quickly realizes she is actually angry with him. Trying to recover, he apologizes for keeping her waiting, which only makes her turn and bolt in the other direction. He is left calling after her, totally confused, and just like that, she is completely vanished from the path. Our guy concludes that kids are just impossible to understand. It finally dawns on him why Roswace pawned this job off on him, right before Muin ambushes him with a hug from behind, giggling. Leon's brain short-circuits, asking how she even got there. She just says he was bad at finding her, so she found him instead. Leon's still processing, wondering if he just imagined her being mad. But now Muin is all smiles, dragging him off to see something cool. She gives him this super serious look for a second though, leading him to a sunny spot in the garden by a fountain, where she starts humming to herself, totally in her own world, and gets to work on a drawing while Leon just watches on. Our boy is having a moment, thinking this whole dad thing is actually healing his soul. He even makes a silent promise to save her from her crazy mom one day. Muin then proudly presents her masterpiece, a family portrait, and Leon takes a look at the adorable, if slightly confusing, crayon art. He asks why there are two kids, and she casually drops that it is her sister. This news absolutely fries his brain. A sister. Turns out he did not just have one kid, he got a 2-for-1 deal with the Dragon Queen. It all clicks. The angry girl from the garden was not Muin, which is why she was so mad. Muin tries to play it off, claiming her sister is just a little shy around her new dad. Agreeing with her, Leon just says it is normal since they have not met. But then he decides this is all Roswace's fault for keeping secrets. Meanwhile, in her study, the Dragon Queen is just trying to get some reading done. She looks up, completely unimpressed by the incoming disturbance, as Leon storms in, yelling her name, ready to demand some answers. Roswace calmly asks where Muin is, completely ignoring his rage. Leon lays into her for hiding a whole other daughter from him. She just gives him this smug look like, "You are just now catching on." In a wild pivot, Leon starts thanking her for the hard work of having two kids, total suck-up mode. He even promises to add her to the family tree, which earns him a death glare. Recovering her composure, she asks why he thinks she'd hide their eldest. He accuses her of being jealous and keeping their other daughter Noah away from him on purpose. Her expression shifts, asking why he is so eager to meet her. Leon declares he is going to be a great dad, unlike her cold parenting style. With a terrifying smile, she just tells him not to regret this. And so Leon's grand plan begins in the castle kitchen. He's got a knife and a very unhinged look on his face, ready for culinary warfare. His brilliant strategy: win over his new daughter with a home-cooked meal. This guy's making a cream stew, a recipe he knows is a crowd pleaser. After a quick taste test, he confirms he has still got the magic touch. He is already imagining Noah absolutely loving his food, peak dad fantasy. Meanwhile, two maids are peeking in, totally curious about what he is doing. They are gushing over what a great family man he is, cooking right after being sick. Right on cue, Roswace appears with both daughters in tow, Muin and Noah. She dismisses the maids for the night, telling them to go rest. Leon presents his master plan meal, announcing that dinner is served. Muin is instantly on board, totally hyped by the smell of dad's cooking. He gives Noah his best, world's best dad smile, asking if she feels the love. And she just hits him with a stone-cold HMPH, turning her back on him. Our boy's entire fantasy of a heartwarming reunion just shatters into a million pieces. He immediately glares at Roswace, convinced she set him up for this failure. Unbothered, she just pushes Noah forward for their first incredibly awkward meeting. This kid formally introduces herself as the eldest daughter at a whole 1 year old. Leon tries again, offering a handshake and a polite, "I am your father." Her response is a single, devastatingly unimpressed, "Oh." He is internally spiraling, wondering if this tiny child already holds a grudge against him. Muin tries to help, whispering for her sister to not embarrass their dad, but Noah just whispers back that he looks way too weak to be their father. That comment lands like a dozen daggers, absolutely shredding his self-esteem. His career as a father is already facing its first major crisis, and it has been 5 minutes. This family dinner that follows is just pure, unadulterated torture for Leon. It is confirmed Noah is a perfect clone of her mother, a tiny ice queen in the making. Still desperate for a win, Leon asks if she at least likes the food. She delivers her verdict with one word: disgusting. Another critical hit. Roswace finally breaks, trying and failing to stifle her laughter at his pain. Muin asks why her mom is so happy, and Roswace gives the fakest, sweet answer ever. She then puts Leon on the spot, asking why he is not smiling through the pain. Muin asks for dinner every night while he is internally begging to escape this woman. But it is Noah who shoots down the idea with a very firm no. Her reason is that she wants to go study at the Dragon Academy. Roswace points out the academy is for kids who are 4 or 5, and Noah declares she wants to go to defeat more dragon slayers, prompting Leon to choke on his food. It dawns on him that his 1-year-old daughter literally wants to kill him. He tries the concerned dad routine, saying she is too young and will get hurt. She just tells him not to treat her like a child, despite being a child. Roswace, ever the supportive wife, agrees it is a great idea to train her to fight dragon slayers. Then she corners Leon, asking if he has any reason to stop his daughter's dream. He knows he is trapped, saying no will just make Noah hate him even more. So he just gives up, completely defeated by his tiny daughter. In that moment of pure agony, the truth finally hits him. He realizes Roswace is using Noah as a tiny, adorable weapon to torture him. While she smirks at his misery, he is internally vowing sweet, sweet revenge. With his consent, Roswace volunteers him to be Noah's personal tutor for the entrance exam. Dinner finally ends with Muin happily patting her full belly, totally oblivious. Later, Leon calls out to Roswace. This fight is far from over. Leon points to the dirty dishes, officially launching his revenge plot. Roswace is completely baffled, reminding him that is what servants are for. He lays it on thick, saying it is a wholesome family activity for them to do together. Then he goes for the guilt trip, asking if she wants to fake a happy family for the kids. With both daughters watching, she is completely trapped by his domestic theater. Roswace lets out a defeated sigh, agreeing to his ridiculous plan. Muin is instantly on board, volunteering to help with the dishes. But Noah, ever the responsible one, just grabs her sister and drags her away. This scene is now set, just the two of them in a sink full of dirty plates. She stands there with her arms crossed, asking when he is going to get started. Leon just smirks, reminding her of a little warning he gave her 2 years ago. Her eyes widen as she remembers, never be alone with a powerful dragon slayer. Suddenly very nervous, she asks what he is planning on doing. He explains that last time he was weak, but now the tables have turned completely. Roswace powers up her dragon form, assuming he is trying to escape, but he just grabs her tail, asking who said anything about running. With a single hand, he has got the mighty dragon queen dead to rights. She lets out a yelp, completely caught off guard by the move. And just like that, she collapses to the floor, totally powerless. Leon holds up her tail, revealing he read her own books to find her weak spot. Checkmate. Leon leans in, taunting her about a dragon's need to conquer everything. Then he drops the million-dollar question: has she ever been conquered? This mighty dragon queen is reduced to a blushing, panting mess. She is on the floor, weakly telling him to let go of her tail. Our boy reminds her how she treated him like a toy. Payback's a dish best served cold. He suggests a little role reversal, which earns him a very angry "you bastard." She tries to fight back, but with her weak spot in his hand, she has got nothing. Outside, the maids are just gossiping, wondering if the family fun time is over. They walk into a sparkling clean kitchen, completely stunned. While one gushes over the clean plates, Leon peeks out from another room. He has got Roswace cornered, warning her to stay quiet or risk her reputation. With a sinister smile, he calls her wife and says it is time to begin. This power dynamic has officially been flipped, and she is not having a good time. 3 days later, all seems quiet at the castle, but Leon is completely knocked out with his daughters wondering if he is dead. He gets a rude awakening via a tiny foot straight to the face. Noah confirms he is alive while he questions his life choices as a father. Muin gets close to check on him as he slowly comes to. He wakes up completely confused, asking when he even passed out. And Roswace is right there, offering to give him a little reminder with the smuggest look imaginable. He is having a vivid flashback to getting absolutely pummeled by her. Leon just sits there, realizing this beautiful woman could have ended him multiple times. But he has to admit, for a 200-year-old dragon, she is not bad to look at. His daughters snap him out of it, asking why he is just staring at their mom like a weirdo. In a sudden move, Leon picks up a flower hairpin from her vanity. He gently places it in her hair, saying it suits her perfectly. A slightly flustered Roswace asks if he's done this for other women before, and our boy proudly says he used to comb his master's donkey, a true romantic. Muin, bless her heart, asks what a donkey is, walking right into his trap. He explains they are like stubborn dragons that hum when they are unhappy, then delivers the final blow, just like your mother. That comment earns him a lightning-fast punch right to the stomach. He tries to play it cool for the kids, insisting he is fine while clearly dying inside. Roswace, completely ignoring his agony, assigns him a new task, teaching the girls to write. Muin is ecstatic about the lesson, but Noah just scoffs that she can already write. This girls then happily run off to the study room to pick out pens, leaving Roswace to tell him her sister is visiting and he needs to disappear. Leon immediately calls her out, so he is not allowed to meet her family either. She lays out his cover story. He is a male dragon who has been in a coma for 2 years. With a sharp poke, she warns him he'd better play his part perfectly. Leon sarcastically agrees to Her Majesty's command, but as she walks away, he is already plotting his next move. His new mission: completely embarrass Roswace in front of her sister. Cut to the study, where Leon is attempting to be a responsible father. He gives the girls their very first writing lesson. Leon shows them their names written out. Muin is hyped, Noah is unimpressed, and Noah immediately dunks on him, saying his handwriting sucks compared to their mom's. Suddenly needing an escape, he claims he has to give something to Roswace. He makes a hasty exit, leaving his kids to question his intelligence. While Muin is just having a good time, Noah orders her to get back to practicing. This tiny ice queen seems just a little bit flustered by the whole ordeal. Down at the castle gates, a very important guest makes her entrance. It is Isha Melk, the Red Dragon Queen and Roswace's sister. These two sisters share a heartfelt reunion hug. Isha teases her about looking so healthy, which Roswace awkwardly denies. Then she gets right to business, asking where this famous husband is. Roswace feeds her a lie about him being sick and unable to meet anyone. Her sister keeps digging, pointing out they must be close to have kids so quickly. A flustered Roswace swears she has zero attraction to him whatsoever, but Isha's smirk says it all. She can see right through that lie. Roswace and her sister Isha go for a friendly stroll in the garden. Their little reunion is being watched from a distance. And of course it is Leon, spying on them with a giant telescope. He decides it is the perfect time to test out his new dragon pattern trick. Meanwhile, Isha brings up some political drama about an unstable dragon clan. This name Constantine seems to catch Roswace completely off guard. Her sister dismisses it, but Roswace thinks he might be making a power play. Suddenly, a strange energy pattern flares up on Roswace's chest. A jolt runs through her as she realizes something is very, very wrong. Isha asks what is up, but Roswace just laughs it off like a total pro. Internally, she is cursing Leon, knowing he is the one messing with her from afar. Trying to keep talking business, she is clearly getting more flustered by the second. This dragon pattern thing is getting stronger and she is not handling it well at all. Her sister finally calls her out on her bright red face. Panicking, Roswace makes a lame excuse about an urgent errand. With that, she bolts, telling Isha not to follow her under any circumstances. Isha just smirks, totally onto their little game of playing around. Back in his room, Leon is chilling, wondering how long she can take the heat. A furious Roswace bursts in, catching him completely by surprise. Grabbing him, she accuses him of trying to embarrass her while he plans to play innocent. He hits her with the smoothest line he can think of, asking if it is wrong to want her. Roswace is completely stunned, stammering in disbelief. Her brain just short-circuits into a full-on panic blush. Leon smirks, thinking his plan to fluster her worked like a charm. She calls him a shameless prisoner, trying to regain any shred of composure. Internally, she is wondering why she is so rattled by just a few words. Her empty threats are met with him making goofy faces, zero fear detected. Our boy is pretty proud of how well this new dragon pattern trick works, but then his own heart starts pounding, catching him totally off guard. He immediately tries to shake it off, telling himself to get a grip. Meanwhile, his daughters are getting bored waiting for him to return. At the Silver Dragon Castle gates, Isha's visit is officially over. This Red Dragon Queen announces it is time for her to head out. Roswace forces a smile, waving a very awkward goodbye to her sister. In her massive dragon form, Isha insists on meeting the husband next time. With that, she and her entourage fly off into the night, leaving Roswace standing there absolutely fuming. She vows to teach that damn dragon slayer a lesson he will not forget. Back in the study, Leon is casually reading, wondering if she is cursing him out. He finishes the story as his daughters drift off to sleep, a perfect end to his chaotic day. After a long day of psychological warfare, Leon tucks his daughters into bed. He tries to make a quiet escape from the room, thinking he is finally free. But a hand slams the door shut and his heart just plummets. Of course it is Roswace, asking where he thinks he's going now that her sister's gone. With a look that could curdle milk, she informs him they are not done for the day. This dragon queen then proceeds to drag him off against his will. She hauls him straight into her ridiculously lavish royal bedroom. A bucket of steaming hot water is brought in and he has no idea what is coming. Our boy is totally lost, asking what she could possibly need it for. She plops down like the queen she is, demanding he wash her feet as payback. Leon's brain just completely short-circuits at the sheer audacity of the request. This, she declares, is his punishment for embarrassing her in front of Isha. This mighty dragon slayer is reduced to a foot-washing slave, the ultimate indignity. He just stares, wondering how many of his brethren have been crushed under that very foot. His intense focus starts to creep her out, but Leon's got a mischievous smirk. Her mind immediately jumps to the worst conclusion, that he has got some gross foot thing. Completely flustered, she yells at him to just get on with it already, so he just dunks her feet straight into the steaming hot water. She immediately screams that it is way too hot, kicking him square in the face. And our boy goes flying, getting a taste of his own payback medicine. Roswace accuses him of getting payback for the hot water incident. Leon just smirks from the floor, reminding her this was her brilliant idea. She warns him he is forgetting his place real fast and plants her foot right on his chest to make a point. This taunts continue, asking how it feels to be stepped on by a dragon. Then she applies some serious pressure, pinning him to the ground. Our boy is struggling but also finds it weirdly comfortable. Roswace challenges him to see how long he can last, but Leon's inner monologue is a desperate plea to resist her tyranny. In a sudden move, he grabs her ankle, completely turning the tables, and makes the wildest threat about never having eaten dragon trotters before. Roswace is completely stunned by this new level of crazy, as he declares her foot a raw snack and goes in for a bite. A blood-curdling scream echoes from the castle, mission accomplished. This next morning, the girls are up and about, and Muin immediately asks her mom why she is walking with a limp. Then she turns to Leon, asking about the fresh bruises on his face. This little girl tries to connect the dots, but is just totally confused. Muin decides they must have been playing a super fun game and wants a next time, while the players take a very awkward, very distant walk in the garden. Leon and Roswace take the most awkward, romantic stroll ever. From a distance, the castle maids think they are a perfect couple, but one of them astutely points out they look more like strangers. And yeah, the silent death glares they are sharing are not helping the illusion. Our boy is just wondering how his life ended up like this. Turns out this whole walk was a direct order from the queen. She reminds him it is his job to maintain the happy family facade. He is still suspicious though, wondering what her real angle is. Meanwhile, their daughters are spying and Muin is not impressed with Dad's game. She decides to take matters into her own tiny, meddling hands, while Noah tries desperately to stop this little chaos agent. Muin crashes their awkward party, calling out for her mom and dad. She grabs a hand from each of them, ready to fix this mess, and literally forces them to hold hands, schooling them on proper romance. With her work done, she bounces, leaving them to deal with the fallout. Back in the bushes, Noah delivers some swift sisterly justice for the meddling. Now stuck holding hands, both of them are blushing and completely flustered. Roswace tries to play it cool, but Leon knows she is the one who has been tamed. He is surprised the mighty queen is so rattled by this simple act. Then he brings up how the kids call her mother, and she immediately gets defensive. Leon drops some unsolicited parenting advice, noting the kids call her the more formal mother. Roswace scoffs, questioning if a simple word change really makes any difference. With a smug grin, he dares her to try it, promising it'll make them closer. This suggestion completely short-circuits her brain into a full-on blushing panic. Flustered, she agrees and immediately tries to speedwalk away from the awkwardness. She pivots hard, asking if he is homesick and offering a mysterious cure. Her solution involves leading him to the ridiculously grand doors of the castle warehouse. Our boy is totally in awe while she just shrugs it off as some unnamed room. Unlocking the door, she casually calls it a utility closet or whatever, no big deal. It opens to reveal a massive dragon's treasure trove, a classic utility closet. He gawks at a bracelet worth a fortune, but to her it is just a childhood gift. This queen explains the room holds both war spoils and deeply personal mementos. This prompts a rare moment of vulnerability. She admits she never knew her parents. Leon finds some common ground, sharing that he was also an orphan. After the brief bonding session, he gets right back to being suspicious of her motives. She approaches a huge chest, promising a way to make him forget all his troubles. His jaw absolutely drops as he recognizes the contents, the black gold armor. Inside sits the very suit he's been trying to get back this whole time. In total disbelief, Leon asks if this is a dream or if she is actually giving it to him. Roswace confirms it with a smile that screams there are so many strings attached. He reaches for the armor, but a magic sigil flares to life. Leon realizes she has slapped an enchanted dragon mark on his gear, and Roswace pops up with a villain monologue about her perfect trap. A magic circle erupts, trapping him completely as he demands answers. She gleefully explains the armor is now booby-trapped with a dragon pattern. Our boy clutches his chest, realizing he was way too careless. With a smug grin, she notes the enhancement effect has doubled. She grabs his chin, taunting him about whether he can handle it. He can barely even get her name out through gritted teeth. Then she just shoves him against the wall, completely overpowering him. Pinned and paralyzed, Leon's only feeling a very inconvenient urge. She reveals this has been her plan all along to make him submit, and asks for a review on her acting skills because that whole bonding moment was a total fake-out. Leon is floored, asking if the orphan story and everything else was a lie. She admits the backstory was real, but that does not change her current plans for him. This queen then throws his own words back at him, asking about that little conquering comment he made earlier. And yeah, she confirms with a blush she absolutely loves to conquer. She leans in, asking her dear husband if he is ready for what is next, and the camera pans away from the bedroom doors for some much-needed privacy. Sometime later, a completely broken Leon weeps that it is finally over. He wakes up to find Roswace right on top of him, asking what she is doing. She grabs his chin, complimenting his new haggard, mature look. Leon tries to act tough, refusing to fall for her games again. With a smug look, she just notes that he has gotten smarter, but then she is suddenly up and in her full armor, and starts mocking him about how his health is not what it used to be. This completely short-circuits his brain. Her words just echo in his head, a total psychological attack. She's basically calling him old and out of shape, hammering the point home that he is not as good as before, which leads to a scream of pure, unfiltered agony. This next morning dawns on the castle, and Leon looks like he just survived a natural disaster. He peeks out to see Roswace looking perfect, with Noah in tow. Of course, she just smirks, commenting on how poorly he slept. He blames her entirely, but she just plays innocent, total selective amnesia. Meanwhile, little Noah knows this song and dance all too well. Leon gets his new assignment, tutoring Noah for her academy exams, as Roswace reminds him his value is limited to other areas for now. Leon is absolutely fuming, insisting yesterday was just an off day for him. He strikes a deal to tutor Noah, but demands a favor of equal value in return. Roswace agrees with a smug look, warning him not to get too greedy. With a determined glint in his eye, our boy locks in the promise. She is all smiles, wishing Noah luck, while Leon in the back plots her imminent doom. Noah then asks why he was fighting with her mom, and he calls it daily communication. Suddenly, Leon freezes, asking what she just called Roswace, and Noah just innocently replies, "Mom." He asks if she likes the new name better, and she confirms she does. Leon is absolutely beaming. His unsolicited parenting advice actually worked. This whole exchange just leaves Noah completely and utterly bewildered. She is eager to start studying, dragging her new tutor along with her. A quick scene transition shows the power couple in their full dramatic glory. In the kids' study room, some cute little dragon pets are peeking in. Leon is already hard at work, looking completely drained by the prep. Roswace shows up late at night, surprised to find him still awake. He explains his custom lesson plan since Noah is too smart for simple teaching. Our boy is confident he can get her to pass the exam in just 1 month. Of course, Roswace credits Noah's genius to her own superior genes, but Leon throws back a smirk, suggesting that might not be the whole story. Leon starts bragging about being a top-tier, dragon-slaying genius back in his school days. He then turns the tables, asking what kind of champion she was, leaving her speechless. This new info completely shatters her image of him. He is not just a brute, he is smart. With a smug comeback, she asks how a genius became her prisoner, a critical hit to his ego. His imagination runs wild with a chibi version of him getting bullied by a dragon queen. Back in reality, Roswace spots a plate of ominous-looking chili peppers on the desk. She immediately questions what he is planning to do with them. Our boy just shrugs, saying they are a little snack to help him stay awake while studying. In a total panic, she warns him those are dragon peppers, lethal for a human. But it is too late, he has already eaten one, and the regret is instantaneous. He immediately starts breathing literal fire, screaming from the unholy spice, which sends him into a chaotic frenzy, desperately searching for water that is not there. Out of nowhere, Roswace grabs his face to try and cool him down. Leon is completely stunned, blushing furiously at the sudden, close contact. She explains her hands are naturally cool and will make him feel better, also blushing. And he has to admit her icy touch is a godsend on his burning cheeks. This gentle coolness is just enough to soothe the pepper-induced inferno. After a moment, she lets him go, and he manages a flustered thank you. This result is 2 people standing in a room, drowning in mutual embarrassment. She tells him to get some sleep, teasing that he will have to teach Noah in sign language otherwise. As she walks away, Leon is blushing, wishing she'd touched his face longer. But then he snaps out of it, remembering she is the evil dragon who wrecked him. Determined to recover his strength, he hits the books for a magical solution, flipping past useless herbs and common remedies in his search for a boost. Until he finds the jackpot, a recipe for something called Dragon Big Force. Our boy is absolutely beaming, having found the answer to his stamina issues. This next day, it is tutoring time, and he asks Noah to guess her test score, who meekly throws out a guess of 50, with 0 confidence. Leon proudly reveals she actually scored a 62, expecting some praise, but Noah is absolutely fuming, clenching her fists in disappointment. This reaction totally surprises him. This kid has some seriously high standards. He feels a pang of guilt, thinking she should be more carefree at her age. Trying to be encouraging, he pats her head and calls her score impressive. She accepts the compliment with a tiny blush, ready to review her mistakes. Suddenly, Leon breaks into a coughing fit right in the middle of the lesson. He blames his sore throat on eating more of those dragon peppers, a brilliant move. A ghostly Roswace appears, telling Noah her dad is a top student despite being a mess. She also confirms he ate the super spicy peppers just to stay awake for her. Hearing this, Noah silently offers him a small green lozenge. He is touched by the gesture, but she clarifies it is from her mom, not her. Leon is totally touched, thinking Noah is just a tsundere like her mom. With their father-daughter bond leveled up, it is back to the study grind. Meanwhile, in the castle kitchen, a secret project is about to begin. This maids bring him all the herbs he requested for his little experiment. He even ordered extra stuff just to throw them off his trail, the sneaky genius. But the recipe for Dragon Great Force has a tiny problem and abysmal success rate. He starts the process anyway, grinding the ingredients with a mortar and pestle. Next, he carefully boils the mixture, following the book's instructions. A few hours later, he is surrounded by failures and absolutely fuming. Turns out he keeps botching the final, most delicate purification step. This book's method requires a perfect temperature that is impossible without special gear. Desperate for another way, he tries to think outside the box. And right on cue, a massive thunderstorm rolls in from outside. He watches the lightning flash, casually noting the change in weather. Then something clicks as he stares out at the storm. He remembers an old alchemy lesson about using electrolysis instead of heat. This is his chance. He can use his own lightning magic to finish the job. So he carefully channels his power into the flask for some precision zapping, and it works. He holds up a single, perfectly crafted pill. Our boy looks smug as hell, bragging that this dragon medicine was easy. Just as he is admiring his work, Noah pops up asking what her dad is making. Leon is caught completely off guard, just staring in stunned silence. He immediately panics, trying to hide his secret power-up pill, but she spots the candy in his hand, totally calling him out. Thinking fast, he lies that it is medicine for her mom, a brilliant pivot. He keeps up the act, saying it is for her nourishment while internally planning to eat it himself. Noah, being the sweet kid she is, gives him a thumbs up to take good care of her mom. Our boy agrees with a smile, while his inner demon plots exactly how he will take care of Rosswace later. Later that night, a storm rages over the castle, and Leon is in bed, suddenly having second thoughts about the pill's side effects. He decides to hold off for now, tucking the box away safely. But then he hears a sudden knock at his bedroom door. It is Rosswace, walking right in and leaving him totally flustered. She says Noah told her all about the chocolate candy medicine he made for her. Leon is sweating bullets. His own daughter sold him out so fast. She plays it cool, saying she's just surprised he could make something so complex. Then she gets right in his face, demanding to see what he refined. Knowing he is trapped, he just hands over the box without a fight. She opens it and is genuinely impressed, calling him amazing for crafting a perfect pill. Leon is just stunned. She is actually complimenting him instead of laughing at him for once. She confiscates the pill, telling him he is absolutely not allowed to take it. Leon is completely floored, demanding to know why she is stopping him. Because it is a dragon-grade tonic, she explains, far too potent for a human. Her warning is dead serious. His body just cannot handle the power. But our boy's ego is in another dimension, arguing he has slain dragons before. And in a moment of pure genius, he just swallows the pill anyway. He even drops a cheesy line about human courage, leaving her speechless. This regret hits him about half a second later as his eyes go wide with shock. He immediately collapses while she panics about her rusty healing magic. Desperate, she tries to use her own power to neutralize the pill's effects. But he grabs her arm, telling her to stop, much to her surprise. Crackling with energy, he declares this is the determination of mankind. What a show-off. His power then explodes, lighting up the entire room like a thunderstorm. Leon is literally screaming as blue lightning erupts from his body, which leaves Rosswace totally baffled as to why he is zapping himself. He grits his teeth, somehow managing to endure the insane overload. Before finally passing out cold on the bed, the ordeal over for now. She just looks down at him, correctly identifying him as a complete madman. As she turns to get a doctor, he weakly grabs her hand to stop her, and she looks back, stunned he is still conscious enough to be this clingy. Leon's awake and has a death grip on her tail, blushing like a total weirdo. She is completely stunned, demanding to know how he is even conscious. Our boy is just happily hugging her tail, asking his wife where she is off to. This, of course, sends Rosswace into a blushing panic, denying the whole wife thing. His brain then pictures a chibi version of him refusing to let go peak toddler energy. Meanwhile, she realizes his lightning magic must have altered the pill's side effects. But since he just looks like a harmless idiot, she figures he is probably fine for now. After more wife chanting, she finally gives in, asking what the hell is wrong with him. Leon, with a straight face, announces he wants a second child, a bold request. Her brain completely short-circuits at the suggestion, a truly priceless reaction. He keeps insisting while she fires back that he can absolutely forget it. Utterly defeated, Rosswace decides it is just easier to play along with the lunatic. This negotiation immediately escalates to him wanting a third and fourth kid. He celebrates this win while she internally notes he is somehow even more annoying now. Then he goes in for a kiss, which is absolutely not on the agenda. She shoves his face away, desperately wondering when this nightmare will end. Having reached her limit, she just decks him right in the face, problem solved. He is out cold and she admits she just could not stop herself from punching him. A moment of guilt hits and she leans in to ask if he is okay. But he just clutches his chest, weakly complaining that his wife made him uncomfortable. Rosswace suddenly realizes something is very, very wrong, because the dragon pattern on Leon's chest is glowing too, and he is suddenly on top of her, complaining about feeling sick. Our boy is burning up, completely overwhelmed by the pill's power. Turns out his lightning magic supercharged the pills, urges asterisk, which leads to him getting weirdly affectionate with her tail. She tries to fight him off, but he is just way too into it. Then something about his expression makes her pause. He suddenly gets serious, calling her beautiful, and Rosswace is completely flustered, finding she cannot say no to this new attitude. In fact, she is kind of into it, much to her own surprise. He asks for her help and she agrees, just for tonight, of course. And with that, the scene fades for some private negotiations. This next morning, the sun rises over the castle. Leon finally wakes up looking completely drained, only to find Roswace lying right next to him. This sends him into a full-blown panic, demanding to know what she is doing there. His entire body is aching, a classic sign of a productive evening. His memory of the night is a total blur, but she asks if he is sure he forgot. Then she reveals the evidence, asking the dragon slayer if he really does not remember this. Leon stares in horror at the artistic evidence of his wild night, and the memories come flooding back. Oh boy, they are embarrassing. Our boy is having a full-blown, sheet-clutching panic attack in bed, but Roswace is here to remind him he was the one begging for all this. Flashbacks confirm he was a clingy, pleading mess, a real class act. He immediately begs her to stop the cringe-inducing recap. He gets it. While dressing, he reflects that his teach her a lesson plan worked a little too well. He tries a smooth apology, asking if he hurt her, but she just brushes it off. His ego immediately inflates, gloating that she cannot call him weak anymore. Roswace gives him a look that could mean anything from impressed to "I am plotting your demise," and then she is suddenly closing in, completely flipping the script on him. She grabs his chin, giving him a performance review and demanding an encore. Leon's brain short-circuits. He is suddenly an employee of the month. Changing the subject, she brings up the bet he won about his name. She admits defeat and asks him what he wants as his prize. Our boy leans back, looking smug as hell, saying he has got just the thing. But his request is surprisingly noble. He wants her to check on his master. She agrees, saying a simple visit is easy enough for her people. Leon is genuinely grateful, even if he is a little awkward about it. With their deal struck, the scene shifts to the peaceful castle gardens. While spending time with his daughter Muin, she asks if he is sick. Leon just laughs it off, trying his best to look perfectly healthy. But Muin reveals her mom told her everything about the medicine. Busted. He is internally raging at Roswace for completely blowing his cover. This stress makes him bite his lip, and Muin spots the blood, immediately panicking. She starts wailing, begging her dad not to die, a bit of an overreaction. He comforts her, thinking to himself that she is just as merciless as her mother. To distract her, he offers to make a new toy, which gets an instant yay. And so the legendary Dragon Slayer gets to work crafting a puzzle cube. He proudly presents the finished toy to his very happy daughter. Our boy internally complains about using his alchemy skills for babysitting, but his thoughts are cut short as he suddenly senses something. He looks out towards the garden, feeling a powerful gaze. Muin asks what is wrong, but he quickly dismisses it as nothing. He realizes he felt a dragon's stare from where his other daughter Noah trains. Deciding to be fair, he resolves to make a toy for her too. Later that night, Noah quietly peeks into her sister's room. She finds the puzzle cube Leon left with a note challenging her to solve it. Noah scoffs, claiming she has zero interest in such childish things, but then immediately starts trying to figure it out, completely captivated. Noah is completely obsessed with the puzzle, quietly thanking her dad. Meanwhile, Muin spies on her sister, convinced she is hiding something, so she goes full-on detective mode to uncover the big secret. Inside a box, she finds a collection of items all from their dad, and Muin realizes her sister is not weird, she is just a huge daddy's girl. Then Noah walks in, immediately tying up the snooper to protect her stash. This story shifts, introducing us to an elite dragon academy. This place only accepts students from harmonious families, apparently. So to keep up appearances, Roswace stages a family trip to Sky City, which is, a city literally swarming with dragons. Leon is on full-time dad duty, catching a very energetic Muin, who immediately demands to see him turn into a dragon right now. He just laughs awkwardly, explaining he is a dragon slayer, not a dragon. Muin is not impressed, giving him a look of pure, unfiltered suspicion. Before he can mess up further, Roswace steps in to rescue him. She smoothly lies that he is just recovering and cannot transform yet. Muin tells him to get well soon, while Leon internally panics about the impossible request. With that little crisis averted, the family heads into the city proper. These kids are having the time of their lives, amazed by all the dragons. But Leon just looks completely miserable, the odd one out in this whole situation. Roswace notices Leon is shaking, assuming he is terrified of all the dragons. Leaning in close, she teases him about being scared. But our boy fires back that he is not scared, he is excited. Turns out he is just calculating how much money he'd make slaying every dragon in sight. Roswace facepalms, realizing she worried about a greedy idiot for nothing. A bell chimes as the family steps into a local business. It is a photo studio where the staff warmly greets the Silver Dragon Queen. These kids are immediately captivated by all the dragon portraits on the walls. Leon questions her authority here, so she explains these dragons are unaffiliated with her tribe. He immediately uses this to mock her, calling her a low-status queen, which earns him a swift stomp to the foot for his troubles. This photographer, meanwhile, is just honored to be taking their picture. She then asks about his tail, but Roswace quickly requests a tailless suit for him. A flashback shows him absolutely refusing to wear a fake tail, citing his dignity. With that settled, everyone heads off to get changed for the family portrait. A little later, Muin and Noah emerge looking absolutely adorable in their new dresses. Leon steps out next, looking surprisingly sharp in a white suit. This photographer compliments him, but he admits he has not worn a suit since graduation. He then turns to Noah, nervously asking for her opinion, and she actually admits he looks handsome, though she is clearly flustered about it. Leon's in full-on proud dad mode, complimenting his daughter's dresses. Then Roswace makes her grand entrance, leaving little Mewan completely starstruck. Our boy is just completely rebooting, his brain fried by the sight. He tries to play it cool, stammering that the dress suits her. She immediately brings up the tail again, but he is standing firm on his no-tail policy. With everyone dressed, the kids call them over to finally take the picture. This photographer asks them to get closer, though they both look like they'd rather not. But they manage to pose for a surprisingly convincing happy family portrait. This final photos come out looking incredibly sweet and wholesome. A few even capture some real chemistry, much to the photographer's delight. This whole ordeal flashes him back to his graduation, where he was drowning in admirers. But he turned them all down with the most legendary excuse: he had to go shoe a donkey. A move so baffling it left everyone wondering if he'd been kicked in the head. Peak social grace. Back in the present, the photographer says the prince will take 6 hours, sending them out to explore. So the family, back in their regular clothes, steps out into the city. This girls immediately take off, excited to check out a nearby market. Leon admits this whole shopping together thing is new, but she reminds him it is all for show. She even encourages Noah to relax for once, pointing out some toys at a stall. And then suddenly both of their expressions freeze in absolute shock. Unaware, a stall owner tells the girls it is a pity they did not win the prize. Mewan spots a carnival shooting game, immediately begging her dad to play. Noah gives it a shot but gets pouty when she cannot hit a thing. Leon explains the gun uses magic energy, making it too tricky for her to control. This stall owner sees his next marks, thinking he is about to scam some rich parents. Leon turns to his daughters, asking if they really want those teddy bears. They both try to play it cool, but he can see right through their tsundere act. So our boy steps up to the counter, telling the owner Roswace is paying. What a legend. He takes the toy gun, getting a little nostalgic for his academy days. With a flash of light, his first shot zips straight for the target. This owner just smirks, confident he has rigged the gun to be impossible to aim. But then Leon starts hitting every single target and the guy's jaw hits the floor. Our boy plays it off as pure luck while juggling the toy guns like a pro. His daughters are absolutely losing their minds, cheering for their awesome dad. This defeated owner shoves the prize bears at him, just wanting this nightmare to end. He proudly hands the toys to his daughters, who are both genuinely thrilled. Watching him, Roswace admits to herself that when he is serious, he is actually pretty charming. Leon then catches her staring and wonders what that look is all about. A nearby kid spots a giant bear Roswace is holding and immediately wants one too. And there she is, stuck with a massive teddy bear, looking completely dead inside. Leon, meanwhile, is just laughing his head off, thrilled to have gotten revenge on the scammer. Leon tries to play it cool, saying the kids are just having fun with a silly game. He then teases Roswace about her giant prize bear, but she is not talking. Internally, she is having a full-on tsundere meltdown, admitting the bear is cute. Then she turns and tells him to come to her room after dinner, leaving our boy completely stunned in the middle of the city. That night at their incredibly lavish temporary home, Leon nervously makes his way down the hall, his mind racing. He agonizes over the choice: one night of trouble or a whole week of regret. With his resolve hardened, he marches to her door ready to fight, and finds it conveniently unlocked, which is not suspicious at all. He steps into the massive bedroom, but Roswace is nowhere in sight. A quick scan of the room reveals she is still in the shower. Through the frosted glass, he gets a surprisingly clear view. Our boy immediately starts losing his mind, trying to calm himself down. He is literally shaking, trying to regain some composure before she comes out. And just then she emerges, telling him it is time to get started. Leon's first thought is pure panic. Is he about to be squeezed dry again? She casually asks where he'd prefer to do it, the living room or the balcony. He immediately shoots down the balcony idea, not wanting an audience. Looking in the mirror, she just says it makes no difference to her. Leon steels himself for whatever's coming, yelling, "Bring it on." And then she just shoves him onto the bed, not exactly the fight he was expecting. Our boy is blushing up a storm as she leans in, asking if he is ready for that, only to troll him, saying tonight's not a good time and they will do it later. Completely baffled, he sits up, demanding to know what is even happening. Turns out she just wanted him to study for a pop quiz, an entrance exam for Noah's academy that tests how harmonious the parents are. He looks at the questions and realizes it is just a cheesy couples game. So they start quizzing each other, starting with the basics like favorite colors. A chibi montage shows them both writing down their answers, surprisingly in sync, which they both immediately brush off as a total coincidence, of course. With the ground rules set, they get serious about testing their fake marriage knowledge. After a quick grading session, the results are in. And Leon is absolutely gloating because he scored higher than the Dragon Queen herself. Roswace is actually stunned, realizing he has noticed tiny details, even about her tail. Looking at her own test, she sees all her mistakes were just wild guesses about him. She admits to herself that she never opens up, so it is no wonder he cannot read her. For a brief moment, she wonders if maybe, just maybe, she could with him. Leon, meanwhile, thinks she's just salty about losing the quiz, peak emotional intelligence. He tries to console her, laughing that it is okay she failed since they are new at this whole thing. Leon tries to be sincere, asking her to understand him for Noah's sake, and this earnest plea just completely short-circuits Roswace's brain. So naturally, she smacks him and yells at him to stop talking nonsense. Their chibi forms bicker over the quiz, with Leon vowing to eat some weird pills. By the night before the exam, she is completely passed out from all the studying. Seeing her asleep, Leon figures it is time for him to head back, but a hand suddenly grabs his belt, stopping him in his tracks. Rosswace, now awake, tells him to go take a bath in her room. Our boy is immediately on high alert, his mind racing with possibilities. She just shoves him towards the bathroom, not taking no for an answer. Inside, he wonders if she is plotting something sinister. But he tries to rationalize it, figuring she is just stressed about the exam. Deciding to just roll with it, he hops into the tub to relax. For a brief moment, he is in a state of pure, bubbly bliss. And then Rosswace walks in, wearing nothing but a towel. She explains she has been under a lot of pressure and wants to relieve it. Leon's internal alarm bells are screaming. He knew this was coming. He demands to know why he has to be her personal stress ball. With a wink, she explains that transferring her pressure to him is the perfect solution. She then reminds him he was ready to fight just a few nights ago, dropping her towel as she gets in. Leon's in the tub, completely unable to argue with her logic. As Rosswace tells him to just surrender to his fate, the stress relief has begun. This next day, they arrive at the ridiculously grand St. Heath Academy for the test. Leon points out the school to Noah, everyone dressed in their finest. And they stand there trying their absolute best to look like a normal, happy couple. He immediately starts teasing her, asking if her decompression from last night already wore off. She just whispers for him to go to hell while he laughs it off, loving every second of this. Inside, a staff member calls Noah's name for registration, but she is completely stunned to see Noah's age is only 1 year and 3 months. Leon casually asks if there is an issue, playing the perfectly clueless dad. This receptionist points out that most dragon kids enroll much later, basically calling them out. So Rosswace jumps in with the perfect proud mom speech about respecting their genius child's wishes. With that settled, Noah is let off for her exam while the parents head to the 4th floor for theirs. They find themselves in a meeting room facing a panel of 3 very serious-looking assessors. Rosswace leans in, asking Leon for his expert opinion on how tough they will be. He whispers back that the guy in the middle looks easy to kill, a totally normal parental assessment. In their minds, they are both ready to throw down if Noah does not get in, terrifying the staff. This lead assessor introduces himself as the vice principal, Walter Wilson. They both put on their best smiles, thinking this will be a piece of cake, and he immediately asks them to name their wedding anniversary, the first pop quiz question. And there it is, the one question they knew was coming, the dreaded anniversary pop quiz. Luckily, they actually prepped for this, with Leon suggesting they use a memorable day. Rosswace had locked in the exact date during their late-night study session, so he confidently announces May 25th, the day they bonded in the dungeon, complete with a cheesy flashback. This vice principal totally buys their shotgun wedding story, hook, line, and sinker. But the next question is a classic trap. Have you found any bad habits in your partner? Their minds are screaming opposite answers, but Leon knows they need a believable mix of truth and lies. Our boy starts with some top-tier drama, claiming he sometimes feels like he does not even exist. He then launches into a gushing speech about his capable wife, who is visibly unimpressed. To top it off, he says she gets stressed and should rely on him more, the absolute nerve of this guy. A female assessor, completely charmed, asks Rosswace what she finds most attractive about him. She rattles off a laundry list of perfect husband traits, looking like every word is causing her physical pain. Then she throws in a backhanded compliment about his medicine-making skills, leaving him totally confused. They clasp hands for show, and he is definitely squeezing way too hard as a warning. And the assessors are completely fooled, thinking they are the most loving couple ever. This rest of the interview is just a blur of them spinning tales and laying the charm on thick. For a final test, an assessor asks if they have any truthful questions for each other. Rosswace shuts it down instantly, saying she knows everything about him already. She then gives Leon the death stare, silently begging him not to screw this up now. But of course, he just has to ask if she likes the giant teddy bear he won for her. Rosswace is completely caught off guard, wondering why he'd ask something so personal. But through the blush, she quietly admits she likes the bear very much. Leon, seeing he did not screw up, just gives a relieved little "okay, I am fine." With the interview finally over, the assessors dismiss them, promising results in a few days. A few days later, a dragon courier literally smashes through the window with a letter. This whole family gathers around the table, ready to see if their insane plan actually worked. And it is an official acceptance letter for Noah from the academy. They all stare in disbelief they actually pulled it off. Noah's sister is ecstatic, cheering for her awesome sister and parents. Leon immediately gets smug, saying of course Noah passed, she is his daughter after all. Rosswace fires back with a petty jab, telling him to help cook to prove he exists in the family. Time skips to the grand entrance ceremony at St. Heath Academy. This vice principal is on stage, giving a big welcome speech to the new families. In the audience, everyone looks like the picture of Dragon High Society. Then the VP announces he is inviting a top freshman family to the stage, Noah K. Melk. Noah is absolutely thrilled, telling her maid Anna that her family is going up. So our trio walks to the stage, holding hands like the perfect, loving family they are definitely not. Leon's mind flashes back. Not only did Noah get the highest score, but they got first place in the parent assessment. Now they are stuck at the podium, completely unprepared for an impromptu speech. This vice principal then turns to Noah, asking the youngest student with the highest score to share her experience. Noah kicks off her speech, praising her powerful mother for supporting her dream to attend the academy. Then she gives a super sweet shout-out to her sister for always being there. Leon, meanwhile, is on the sidelines having a full-blown anxiety attack about being left out. But she saves the best for last, thanking her father the most for helping her study. Our boy is genuinely touched, getting all misty-eyed from her heartfelt words. With her speech concluded, she gives a polite little bow. This vice principal, completely charmed, suggests Leon give his daughter a kiss to show his fatherly love. Leon's mind just explodes, thinking the old man is trying to incite a public patricide. He panics, remembering that just a month ago she would not even let him touch her. Trying to de-escalate, he offers a hug instead, playing the slightly shy dad. But Noah just whispers for him to get on with it and end this socially suicidal ceremony. He is completely stunned that she is actually willing to go through with this. So he leans in and gives her a gentle kiss on the forehead. In the audience, her sister Muin immediately gets jealous and demands a kiss too. Roswace is just breathing a sigh of relief that it was not her up there. This VP then praises their family as a perfect model for all dragons. Oh, the irony. But the old troll is not done, immediately asking Leon why he forgot to kiss his wife. Internally, Leon is plotting murder, wishing he'd killed the VP during the assessment. He forces himself to chill, reminding himself this is Noah's big day and he cannot lose it now. Turning on the charm, he invites a horrified Roswace to play along for their grand finale. Roswace is mortified by the request, but Leon just whispers for her to cooperate for the kids. Her mind is racing, they have never actually kissed, and he is acting way too calm about it. Giving up, she just closes her eyes and braces for impact. But he just plants a quick, gentle kiss on her cheek instead. She is left completely stunned, short-circuiting from the unexpected move. Still blushing, she can only touch her cheek in total confusion. Leon, ever the showman, takes a bow as the crowd chants for another kiss. He then whispers to her that it was a great way to relieve his stress, the nerve. Internally, she is absolutely raging, promising to pin him to the ground later. This vice principal finally dismisses the model family, ending their public ordeal. Sometime later, they are dropping Noah off at the academy to begin her school life. Her little sister Muin clings to her, not wanting to let go. Leon gives Noah a whole list of dad-like rules, which she immediately dismisses. He then smoothly blames it all on Roswace, claiming she was too drunk to say it herself. His final piece of advice is simple: if anyone bullies you, just fight back. Noah asks if he fought in school, and he proudly admits his grandpa used to beat him for it. But do not worry, he promises he will not do the same to her. Peak parenting right there. With a determined look, Noah promises to remember his very questionable advice. This scene cuts to the Silver Dragon Castle inside the Queen's lavish study, where a woman who looks a lot like Roswace reads about a forbidden blood curse that cost the user's life. This queen smirks, thinking about a new, improved game to play. Her head snaps up as someone returns to her lavish study. And it is her trusted maid, Shirley of the Silver Dragon clan. Shirley reports that the investigation hit a dead end. Tiger Lawrence and his wife are gone. All information about them has been completely erased, making them untraceable. This makes the queen very suspicious of Leon's story about his ordinary old master. She orders Shirley to continue the search, but to be extremely careful. Meanwhile, Leon is back home, getting in some intense training. And by training, I mean he is teaching little Muin how to swing a stick. She immediately goes full-on berserker with two of them. He has created a tiny, adorable menace. From the sidelines, Roswace watches this wholesome family moment unfold. Muin spots her and happily yells out for her mom. Roswace greets Leon, asking if he is back from his rounds. She scoops up Muin, who proudly says Dad taught her how to hold a sword today. With a smile that does not quite reach her eyes, Roswace announces steak for dinner. Muin's entire world just lights up at the glorious news. As the maid leads the happy kid away, the atmosphere between the parents gets heavy. Roswace starts to ask him something serious, but Leon suddenly whips his scythe right to her throat. She does not even flinch, just calmly asks if he is committing treason, an offense punishable by death. Leon scoffs at the scythe fake-out, asking if she really considers a twig a weapon. She fires back that in his prime, the legendary dragon slayer could make anything lethal. He gets flustered by the backhanded compliment, which she immediately denies giving. Our boy admits his attempt to scare her was a total bust. She is completely unimpressed. Changing the subject, Roswace says Noah sent a letter from the academy. He seems underwhelmed, but she explains it is a big deal for Noah to write first. Leon agrees, noting that Noah's stoic personality is a perfect copy of hers. She explains that Noah has a typical dragon mentality, admiring strength above all else. And now she tells him Noah sees him as the rival she has to surpass. He is genuinely floored, admitting he thought she just saw him as some weak nerd. Roswace then reveals Noah secretly visited him during his coma, using Muin as an excuse. She suggests that a blood tie has connected him to the girls since they were little. A flashback shows him watching over them as toddlers, a quiet guardian. But this whole family thing is new to him. He confesses he is an orphan. We get a heartbreaking shot of his lonely childhood, completely isolated. He was adopted at 5 by his master and wife, the very people the queen is investigating. For the first time, he had a home, but always felt a sense of loss. His younger self just desperately wished they were his real parents. His foster mother once told him he'd eventually become a father himself. She promised he'd find a family to protect, and now he is looking right at them. In a rare moment of sincerity, Leon admits they are his most cherished family. Roswace immediately snaps him out of it, asking what he is daydreaming about. Our boy gets all flustered, trying to awkwardly laugh off the emotional confession. Just then, she casually kicks off her heels, setting up her next power move. With a smug look, she tells him to help put her shoes on as a thank you. Leon's brain just completely stalls, unable to process the request. He flat out refuses, thinking there is no way she is actually serious. This guy finally snaps, asking if he has any dignity left after washing her feet. For that, she plants her foot right in his face, reminding him about the ceremony kiss. She then presents her foot, ordering him to stop complaining and finish the job. Completely defeated, he starts putting her shoe on like a good little servant. She teases him for being so quick, so he mutters it is easier than shoeing a donkey, and that was absolutely the wrong thing to say. She launches a furious kick that he just barely manages to dodge. Leon books it, taunting her while she promises he will be in big trouble tonight. A few days later, the happy family is outside as Muen calls out to something in the sky. They all look up to see a massive dragon descending towards them. This absolute unit is a dragon leviathan, looking all kinds of intimidating. Roswace explains it is mostly a transport dragon while patting his head like a pet. Apparently they are so emotionally stable, the Academy uses them as a school bus for baby dragons. Noah makes a grand entrance, teleporting home from the Academy in a pillar of light. With a dead serious face, she announces her return to her mom. The sisters immediately have a super sweet reunion hug as the fake parents watch. But when she turns to Leon, she can barely stammer out the word dad. As they all walk home, Roswace promises a huge feast to celebrate her return. Turns out Noah absolutely dominated her exams, acing 3 major subjects with perfect scores. Roswace is practically glowing with pride, showing off the grades to a stunned Muen. Noah, however, apologizes for only getting a 95 in physical fitness, the absolute perfectionist. Everyone reassures her, with Muen insisting her big sister is the best anyway. Leon decides it is his turn to step up and deliver a proper dad speech. He explains that her physical training is designed for older dragons, so her score is actually great. Plus, she had the highest combat win rate, proving her strategy is top tier. She is still a little down, mumbling that she heard he was a perfect student back in his day. Leon smoothly corrects her, admitting he had to work his way up from the bottom. His little pep talk seems to land, encouraging her not to get discouraged by one slip-up. Muen then asks the most dangerous question in the universe: who'd win in a fight, mom or dad? In perfect, terrifying unison, both of them immediately point to themselves and shout me. They then whip around to glare at each other, mutually offended by the other's confidence. Leon starts puffing out his chest, bragging about how he was an unbeatable combat prodigy, but Roswace just scoffs, saying she only bothers to win the fights that actually matter. Their argument escalates, with Leon claiming their kids only exist because she failed to beat him in a dungeon. He then challenges her to a fight to settle things, dragging her outside as the kids watch in horror. But the girls are actually super excited, deciding to follow and watch their parents throw down. In some random desert arena, they square off while their daughters peek over a wooden fence. And by peek, I mean they have got popcorn and are treating this like a championship match. Roswace starts the trash talk, wondering if his body has even recovered enough to face her. Our boy fires back that he'd never miss a rare chance to fight the Silver Dragon Queen. She then raises the stakes, suggesting they make a little bet on the outcome. If he wins, she leaves him alone for a month. If she wins, he has to grant one request. Leon's mind races, terrified of her potential demands but tempted by the prize. His inner angel is already blowing a trumpet for a month of freedom. The man is desperate. With that glorious image in his head, he confidently accepts the bet. They share one last intense, smirking stare down before the battle begins. These 2 legendary fighters take their stances, ready for an all-out war. From the sidelines, Muen is just vibing, enjoying her snacks and the show, but in her excitement, she fumbles and drops her entire drink. This absolute tragedy brings the epic duel to a screeching halt. Her pineapple juice spills all over the sand, a moment of pure devastation. Ignoring the crisis, Leon decides to start the fight anyway, launching a powerful punch. And Roswace just casually blocks it with one hand, completely unimpressed. He swings hard, but she is already under his guard, countering with a vicious tail whip. Leon immediately backflips out of the way, dodging with pure agility. Using the momentum, he plants a hand to launch himself back at her. He comes down with a heavy axe kick from above. And the impact sends Roswace sliding backward across the sand. She quickly realizes she is at a disadvantage in a straight-up brawl. Our boy catches her hesitation, smirking because he knows she's scared of his fists. So she switches tactics, summoning purple dragon flames to keep him at a distance. Leon is forced to scramble as she unleashes a volley of magical blasts. Meanwhile, Noah gives her sister a full tactical breakdown of the fight. Her conclusion is simple: Mom does not have the confidence to fight Dad up close. Muen is just amazed her big sister knows so much, all thanks to school apparently. Roswace taunts Leon to get closer, forming a giant energy hand to grab him. He yells back that he is not just fast, he is also durable. With a wicked grin, she basically tells him to come and prove it. This massive purple claw then slams down right on top of him, causing a huge explosion that rocks the entire arena. But Leon erupts from the dust, now wreathed in lightning, calling her too slow. Roswace is floored. He is using thunder magic to reinforce his body, a legendary technique. He is absolutely furious, screaming that she is trying to take away his precious 1-month vacation. He goes all out, hammering her with a flurry of lightning-charged fists. Roswace is just barely holding on, shocked he can even use this much power. But Leon sees his opening, a confident smirk flashing across his face. He dodges under her attack, closing the gap in an instant, and she is completely caught off guard, unable to react in time. With a triumphant yell, he declares his victory is at hand. He throws the final decisive blow to end the match, except he does not actually punch her, he just grabs her wrist. then pulls her into a dramatic dip like this is a dance competition. Suddenly they are having a full-on romance novel moment, blushing and everything. But Leon spots a tiny purple flame forming in her other hand, which she immediately plants on his chest, causing him to freak out. He looks down, completely baffled by what just happened. Turns out the flame is not even hot, she just calls him out for getting distracted. At that moment, the kids run over asking who the winner is. Leon hangs his head in defeat, admitting he got careless and lost. She compliments his raw skill, while he just grumbles that he'd win in a real fight. With a terrifyingly sweet smile, Roswace reminds him about their little bet. This memory hits him like a ton of bricks. He completely forgot what was on the line. Our boy just collapses as Muin asks if he is dead, and Roswace says he is just tired, absolutely savage. That night, Leon gives his daughters a dramatic farewell speech before bed. This girls just sit there, one confused and the other completely unimpressed. Our boy starts fake crying about how much he will miss them, laying it on thick. Noah immediately calls him out, asking why he is acting like he is going to his own execution. He argues this is way worse since an execution is quick and this is a whole night of torture. Muin's innocent brain connects the dots. Mom is going to eat dad. She even has a source, a nature book about praying mantises, which does not help Leon's panic. Right on cue, Roswace appears, telling him to stop filling their heads with nonsense. She tucks them in, promising to have an interesting discussion with their father, a terrifyingly sweet threat. This kids whisper about what that could mean, from the birth of life to the mysteries of the body. With no more excuses, she just grabs him and starts dragging him away. Back in bed, the girls decide to just let the naive adults be. Meanwhile, in her bedroom, the wine is already poured and waiting. She offers him a drink and he immediately shuts her down with a hard no. Roswace just gives him this dead-eyed stare over her glass, completely unfazed. Then she plays her trump card, reminding him he lost the bet and owes her a request. Leon tries to refuse, determined to keep his sanity intact for the night. But she completely wrongfoots him, admitting she actually hoped he'd win their fight. He is totally confused, asking what she could possibly mean by that. She clarifies that his month-long recovery would have just made things more fun for her. Leon stubbornly tells her to just admit defeat for once, but she has a better way in mind, holding a glass of wine, which involves pouring the entire glass out but not into her mouth. Instead, she pours it all over her chest, saying she loves his stubbornness. Our boy is completely flabbergasted, asking what she is even doing. She then gives him a very simple, very terrifying command: drink up. His brain completely short-circuits from the mix of her scent and the wine. He finds the scene too beautiful to refuse, so he leans right in. Our boy just dives right in, which seems to catch her by surprise. For a split second, she is actually blushing and flustered by his move. He then has the audacity to ask if this is okay, right? Of course, she just smirks and tells him it is not nearly enough. She tells him to open his mouth, revealing a bit of blood on her own lip. As she leans in for a bite, his brain finally connects the dots. Blood. Leon instantly shoves her away, demanding to know what she is doing. He realizes she just hit him with that forbidden technique, and she confirms it with a terrifying grin, calling it the blood curse. In an instant, his eyes flare up, turning a menacing crimson. He clutches his chest, asking why, and she admits she has missed this feeling for 2 years. With pure rage, he asks if she has any idea what the price for that technique is. Roswace smugly admits she modified the curse, keeping just the enchanting bits. Our boy is completely losing it, his body overheating as his mind goes blank. As she touches his chest, she notes how she has always been the one forcing his hand. Her demand is simple. Now it is his turn to beg her like a mad dog. Now on his knees, Leon can only look up as she declares her game has begun. This curse is really doing a number on him, leaving him completely flustered. She absolutely loves this, taunting him about how he is losing all self-control. To help him out, she summons a very fancy, very magical mirror, which is apparently a magic prop that can record images, for posterity. Forced to look at his reflection, the curse makes him admit he wants a kiss. But a moment of clarity hits him and he tries to fight the compulsion. Roswace is just eating this up, daring him to say it again louder. This curse wins out, making him yell that he wants to kiss her, mortifying the guy completely. Grabbing his chin, she roasts him for abandoning his pride to beg for a kiss. But then she hits him with the ultimate power move. She is not gonna give him one. Our boy is just completely short-circuiting, stunned into silence. That rejection flips a switch and he suddenly lunges right at her. Tackling her right onto the bed, he completely takes her by surprise. But she recovers instantly, smirking that it is unlike him to be so impatient. Still under the curse's influence, he gently says he wants to kiss and hug her. The lead pushes forward as the conflict keeps escalating. Tension builds as the stakes grow higher. The moment shifts and the balance tips. Something changes in the air between them. The scene holds, then moves on. Conflict simmers beneath the surface. He holds his ground as the situation unfolds. She takes a step and the dynamic shifts. The next beat of the story lands. The pressure rises as the dangerous clash keeps escalating. The lead pushes forward as the conflict keeps escalating. Tension builds as the stakes grow higher. The moment shifts and the balance tips. Something changes in the air between them. The scene holds, then moves on. Conflict simmers beneath the surface. He holds his ground as the situation unfolds. She takes a step and the dynamic shifts. The next beat of the story lands. The pressure rises as the dangerous clash keeps escalating. While she is out cold, Leon cooks up a genius plan: escape. He starts raiding a drawer for supplies, convinced his special armor is the key. With stamina potions in hand, he is sure he can make it back to the human realm. Our boy stands over her, gloating that he will be long gone by the time she wakes up. He even lets out a full-on villain laugh, completely high on his own brilliance, which immediately fizzles out into awkwardness, and then the crushing weight of reality just slams into him. He remembers it has been 2 years since he left his empire. Plus, there is the minor detail of why he was captured in the first place. He tries to rationalize staying by remembering he asked Rosswace to investigate things for him, but then he recalls the most important reason of all. A memory of his daughters playing outside the castle flashes through his mind. Looking at their happy faces, he knows he cannot just abandon them now. So our hero reluctantly decides he has to stay put for a while longer. His gaze then shifts back to the still sleeping Rosswace, and he smirks, remembering he has not gotten his revenge yet, the real reason he is staying. This next morning, Rosswace is still sleeping soundly. She finally starts to wake up as her daughters check on her. These girls are super worried, saying she has been asleep all day. Noah immediately turns to Leon, demanding to know what he did last night, and he plays it off with a stretch. Leon claims he just caught a cold, but Noah's glare is pure suspicion. He tries to play it cool for the maid, acting like it is no big deal. Anna, the maid, confirms the physician found she is just weak, nothing serious. With Anna taking over her duties, Leon quickly shoos her away. Muen promises her sleeping mom she will be a good girl from now on. Noticing she is sweating, Leon suggests he will help wipe her down later, and Noah immediately calls him out, asking if he has got ulterior motives. Our boy swears he is just trying to take care of her, which seems to satisfy Noah for now. After saying their goodbyes, the girls finally leave the room, and a final wave from Muen leaves him all alone with his target. This moment they are gone, Leon's scheming face returns. It is revenge time. His first step is to get a basin of water, all in the name of nursing. He wrings out a cloth, preparing for his master plan. Gently, he starts wiping her down, muttering excuses about preventing a chill. His gaze then wanders, noting how she cannot even show off her tail right now. That gives him a brilliant idea. Maybe he should change her clothes too. Opening her closet reveals a treasure trove of options, a dream come true for him. He immediately starts picking out a very specific, very spicy outfit for her. With the clothes chosen, he realizes something is missing, the ears. His genius solution is to braid her hair into the right shape. Leon grins, haha, done with his plan. Rosswace lies there in a bunny girl costume, looking ready for a photo shoot. He is shocked, admitting the outfit is surprisingly suitable for her. A purple glow emanates from his chest, a strange energy building. He clutches his chest, yelling, why did the dragon pattern suddenly light up? Rosswace explains the dragon seal causes a reaction when two people with it have sex. Leon freaks out, denying any thoughts about Rosswace, blaming the costume. He tries to calm down by reciting the 3 honors and 3 shames of a dragon slayer. He sighs in relief. Phew, that almost happened, but then gets an idea. Rosswace remains asleep, looking serene in her bunny outfit. Leon remembers she has a home camera, a light bulb moment appearing. He gets up and starts searching for the camera near the bed. Ha, found it, he exclaims, holding up an old-fashioned camera. He gathers his daughters, posing them around the sleeping Rosswace for a photo. He coaxes Rosswace. Come on, wife, smile Tilda as she is propped up. Leon grins. I will definitely help you preserve these dark history photos properly. Rosswace stirs slightly, letting out a soft Leon panics. Damn, is she waking up? Dropping his camera, he rushes to her side, looking down at the still sleeping Rosswace. He breathes a sigh of relief. Phew, it was just a false alarm. Leon decides to put his grand revenge plan on hold for the night. This next day, Muen comes running, frantically calling for her sister. Noah tries to calm her down, asking what has got her so panicked. It is a full-blown crisis. Her Rubik's Cube is broken and she cannot find Daddy. Noah's mind immediately jumps to the worst conclusion: he escaped. Taking her sister's hand, she promises they will find him together. So the two of them start searching the massive halls for Leon, but their calls just echo through the empty, opulent castle. They check their mom's room, finding her still asleep but no sign of him. Another room proves to be just as empty. He is nowhere to be found. Muen gets desperate enough to check inside a giant wooden bucket, and Noah is just completely baffled by her sister's logic. Now on the verge of tears, Muen worries that her new dad is lost, but Noah drops some heavy truth, saying people leave just like last time. Muen is totally confused, asking what she means by last time. With a grim look, Noah starts putting the pieces together. She concludes that Leon is gone, having escaped just like she feared. This brings back memories of their previous family, which always felt fake. She recalls the last guy who was supposedly their father, always just sleeping, and when he finally woke up, he immediately tried to run away too. Noah flashes back to the last father, who tried way too hard to be nice. Convinced his kindness was just a cover for an escape plan. In her world, it is better to have no love than a love that is just a tool, because she knew he was never going to stay with them anyway. This whole situation sends Muen into a full-blown panic about being abandoned, but Noah immediately steps up, promising to protect her little sister. Muen just collapses into a hug, completely distraught, and with a terrifying glint in her eye, Noah vows to hold a farewell ceremony. Elsewhere near the castle, a peaceful cherry blossom forest is shown, where Leon is just casually enjoying the scenery, map in hand. A quick flashback shows him asking Anna where Rosswace likes to go, smoothly turning down an escort to go check it out himself. He is using her nap time as a chance to scout the area for a surprise, but really this whole field trip is just part of his revenge plot. This grand scheme involves humiliating her in her most cherished spot. and he has already found a tree that is thick enough for his plans. Our boy is literally storyboarding the perfect pose for her downfall, even planning to cover the ground with petals for maximum dramatic effect. From this scenic spot, he can see the entire Silver Dragon Castle, so he marks it on his map, adding it to his list of revenge venues. Leon smirks, his grand revenge plot all set and ready to go. His eyes narrow with pure villainous intent. She's going to be in so much trouble. Returning to the castle courtyard, he finds a massive bonfire and a whole lot of crying. He is completely confused by the commotion, wondering why everyone is sobbing their eyes out. A maid explains the two princesses ordered them to prepare a funeral. At the head of the ceremony, Muen is tearfully offering a steak to, well, no one. Noah, ever the pragmatist, tells her to just let it go since the person has already left. Our boy just assumes this is some new very dramatic game they're playing. When he tries to walk over, the maids desperately hold him back from crashing the event. Still oblivious, he asks who they are mourning and even offers to play some funeral tunes. And then he sees the funeral portrait. It is a picture of him. His immediate narcissistic reaction is that he looks pretty handsome, actually, which is followed by the sudden, crushing realization of what is happening. A flashback hits him of Muen happily wishing him a happy Valentine's Day, followed by a memory of Noah doing the same, holding a book, and even a blushing Rosswace wishing him a happy day too. Back in the present, the girls finally spot him, pointing in total shock. Leon tries to laugh it off, asking if a funeral is not a bit much for being gone one day. Muen's face just crumples, her eyes filling with tears as she whispers, "Daddy." She then rushes forward, tackling him in a hug and sobbing that he is back. Muen sobs that she thought he'd abandoned her too. Leon holds her close, trying to undo the emotional damage. Noah explains they could not find him anywhere, so they assumed the worst. And just like that, Noah realizes she completely misjudged him. With the misunderstanding cleared up, Leon dismisses the entire funeral party. Muen immediately asks if she can eat the funeral tribute. Priorities, you know. She happily runs to claim her steak as Leon jokes about her greed. Noah then lays down the law. Next time he needs to tell them where he is going. She admits her little sister was absolutely terrified, and Leon knows that is just code for "I was terrified too." Noah takes full responsibility, admitting it was her fault for not trusting him. She even gives him a full formal apology bow, which catches him off guard. He finally gets it. This whole dramatic farewell was her idea, but he blames himself for not making her feel secure enough. Our boy understands Noah wants affection but is too guarded to ask for it, so he decides actions will have to speak louder than words. Promising to always be there, he gives her a reassuring head pat. This next day, Muen is keeping watch over her still sleeping mom. Rosswace's eyes flutter, a sign she is finally stirring. She wakes up and Muen is overjoyed to see her mom is back. Muen is in full-on tears, telling her mom how worried she has been. Rosswace gently comforts her, apologizing for making her little girl worry. She takes stock of her condition, realizing she is totally powerless right now. It is the backlash from using that blood curse to save Leon's life. Muen, ever the little cynic, chimes in that Leon has probably run away by now. When Rosswace asks how long she has been out, Muen drops the bomb: 2 whole days. Her first thought is to send a search party, but then she immediately pivots to dinner plans. And right on cue, Leon bursts in holding a comically large fish he just caught. He is soaking up Muen's praise while Rosswace just stares from the bed, completely stunned. This guy finally notices she is awake, his triumphant expression faltering a bit. He tries to play it cool, but she immediately asks where the hell he has been. Leon lays it on thick, claiming he went fishing just to nourish his dear wife. She is a flustered mess while Muen is just cheering on her dad's romantic efforts. He then gives Muen the glorious task of taking the giant fish to the kitchen, and she accepts her mission with the seriousness of a 4-star general. Muen dashes off, telling them to sort out their adult drama before dinner starts. With the kid gone, Rosswace admits she thought he'd abandoned them for good. Leon just smirks, saying there's way too much unfinished business between them for him to leave. She is completely baffled, asking what he could possibly be talking about. He gives her a sly grin, asking if she remembers what she did to him a month ago. Rosswace's eyes go wide, her mind racing to a very specific conclusion. And Leon's absolutely demonic grin confirms her worst fears. She tries to warn him off, insisting she is not weak, but he is already leaning in. Our boy just scoffs at the very concept of her being weak. He reminds her she never gave him a choice when she branded him. Rosswace threatens him with future payback, which is not a great strategy right now. But Leon just whispers that he has zero regrets, my dear wife. Then he just scoops her up bridal style, calling it the best decision of his life. With a smirk, he declares it is her turn to be the prisoner of war. He carries her straight into that cherry blossom forest he scouted. She struggles, but he just warns her to hold still or he will drop her. Rosswace is just seething, wishing she had her powers back to wreck him. He gently sets her down right under that giant tree from his revenge storyboard. Completely confused, she asks why in the world he brought her here. Leon explains this is just the first stop on a tour of her favorite places. Her suspicion immediately kicks in. A first stop sounds ominous. He shows her the perfect view of her own castle from the hill. Then he asks if she wants revenge because he is about to show her what shame feels like. Revealing the mark on his chest, he says payback is not just for dragons. And in a flash of light, the exact same mark appears on her. He reversed it. Rosswace is completely powerless, the brand glowing as Leon talks about his sense of ritual. With a truly evil smirk, he tells her to watch her world get turned upside down, pointing out her castle, the very source of all her pride. and now she is completely at his mercy, a tough pill for a queen to swallow. He pushes her down, asking how it feels to be on the receiving end for once, whispering that this is just a taste of her own medicine. Her mind wants to fight, but her body is apparently on Team Leon now. But just as he thinks he has won, her dragon eyes flare up with defiance. A massive tail suddenly wraps around him, catching our boy totally off guard, and he is shocked she still has this much fight left in her. She dares him to do his worst while he still has the upper hand, promising that her future payback is going to be 10 times worse. Leon just laughs it off, saying he is a live-in-the-moment kind of guy, declaring his revenge carnival has only just begun for the night. This next morning, we cut back to the queen's very fancy bedroom, where Leon wakes up next to a sleeping Rossways, feeling pretty accomplished. He is exhausted from dragging her all over her favorite spots all night long, but looking at her peaceful face, he thinks she seems quite satisfied, which triggers a full-blown crisis. Wait, was not this supposed to be revenge? He desperately tries to convince himself she was humiliated, definitely humiliated for sure. Leon basks in the afterglow of his successful revenge mission definitely accomplished. He decides to sneak out before the maids get the wrong idea. They are not asterisk that close, obviously. But as he tries to leave, a sleeping Rossways grabs his hand, halting his escape. She is shivering and mumbling about being cold, instinctively pulling him closer for warmth. Our boy tries to steal his heart, telling himself not to fall for this blatant trap. His resolve, however, lasts about 2 seconds before he is holding her hand right back. He then justifies getting back in bed for purely logical reasons. It is just warmer, you guys. Outside, the literal lovebirds are basically mocking his internal conflict with their chirping. A sleepy Muen wanders in, wondering why her mom is not up to greet the day. She toddles over to the bed to investigate the parental slugabeds. Muen tries to wake her mom, claiming the sun is already setting. Rossways just shoos her away, telling her to go bother her dad instead. So Muen tries to wake Leon with the classic "sun's on your butt" line. Leon, equally wiped out, just wants 5 more minutes of sleep. This leaves Muen absolutely fuming at being ignored by both of them. She complains that they are too busy cuddling to play with her, a true tragedy. For a moment, she is just confused since she has never seen them this close before, until she notices all the weird red spots covering both of them. Her little brain connects the dots and lands on the only logical answer: bug bites. Remembering her lessons, she runs off to fetch some medicine for the poor victims. Muen triumphantly finds the cure for their mysterious ailment, Dragon Brand Bug Balm. She declares herself the most capable doctor in the house, ready for duty. Her first order of business is generously slathering her dad with the green goo. A little while later, Leon groggily wakes from the commotion. Wondering why his face feels so incredibly slimy, he looks up and finds both he and Rossways are covered in polka dots of ointment. Leon immediately cracks up, pointing out the absolute state of her face, while Muen proudly announces she treated all their nasty insect bites for them. His parents are mortified, trying to explain that some things are not for kids to see, but Muen just wants to know if she is awesome, praise please. Leon, ever the supportive dad, gives her a head pat for her efforts. She then gives them the sage advice to lock the door next time, leaving them speechless. After that morning's excitement, Leon brings Rossways a proper meal. He goes full-on doting husband, trying to spoon-feed her, which completely flusters the mighty dragon queen, of course. Our boy insists she is weak and needs his help, really laying it on thick, but she is not having it, trying to keep up her tough girl facade. One bite later, though, she has to admit it is actually pretty good. Leon beams with pride, boasting that it was made with love, then immediately starts eating it himself, sparking a whole new argument over the bowl. And just like that, the entire bowl of food is gone. Leon smugly reminds her how he has been bathing and feeding her this whole time. She is not impressed, accusing him of just setting her up for more torture. But our boy just flashes a grin, calling it the loving care of a husband. Rossway swears every cheap trick will be paid back with interest while he just cheerfully waves goodbye. Left alone, she is absolutely fuming, realizing his new torture method is psychological warfare. In a flash of anger, she slams her fist into the solid bedpost, and a massive crack spiders right through the ornate frame. She stares at her hand, then at the damage, completely shocked, and it dawns on her in an instant her powers are back. Meanwhile, Leon is in the kitchen happily scrubbing dishes, not a care in the world. He is literally wishing she stays weak longer so he can keep bullying her, the absolute fool. Later that night, a maid makes her way to the queen's chambers. She is carrying a tray with medicine prescribed by the doctor to help her recover. But Rossways, already up and reading, casually waves it off, saying she is fine. This maid's eyes then land on the gigantic crack in the bedpost, looking horrified. Our queen just plays it cool, blaming it on not controlling her strength. Just as the maid turns to leave, Rossway stops her with a wait, telling her to keep her recovery a secret from Leon. She wants the pampering to continue. This maid's brain just completely short-circuits at this very confusing royal decree. This maid gives a sly little smile, completely in on the queen's secret plan. Rossways, meanwhile, is already plotting, promising Leon his good days are officially over. 2 days later, Muen ambushes her dad, demanding to learn his shiny body magic. He is totally lost until she clarifies it is the sparkly thing he did to her mom. Leon asks why she is suddenly so interested in learning magic out of the blue. Turns out her sister is learning a ton at the academy, and Muen refuses to be left behind. Our boy immediately gets it, totally ready to step up as the world's best magic tutor. He figures it is just some healthy sibling rivalry pushing her to get stronger. With a dramatic pose, he promises to teach her, starting with the absolute basics. After a little while, Muin is straining with all her might, clearly struggling with the lesson. But Leon is floored. She is already guiding magic through her body after just a few hours. He is starting to wonder if his daughter is an actual, honest-to-God genius. All that genius-level training, however, leaves her completely wiped out and starving. Leon just smiles, gently telling her not to push herself too hard. He calls it a day, leading her off for a well-earned meal as she cheers for him. Back in the Queen's chambers, the maid delivers a requested item to a lounging Roswace. Leon then bursts in, cheerfully dismissing the maid for some quality time with his wife. He is smugly thinking he has 5 whole days of torture left before she recovers, then offers a massage, really laying the fake concern on thick. But Roswace just smirks, mocking him for being so tame after 2 whole days of supposed power. Leon's smile is absolutely twitching, completely triggered by her tame comment. She just lounges there, smugly asking if he was worried she was not having enough fun. He gets right in her face, promising she is about to regret her tough talk, but Roswace just gives him a killer smirk, claiming she has 0 regrets. And that is when her dragon tail whips around his waist, catching him completely off guard. Our boy's face goes from smug to pure, unadulterated panic in a split second. With a single powerful yank, she sends him flying right onto the bed. This queen is now on top, mockingly complimenting his great strength. Leon's brain finally catches up, realizing she has been fully recovered this whole time. She just shushes him with a wicked grin, calling him her dear dragon slater. Then he spots the tray she had delivered earlier. It is loaded with shackles and other tools. His mind is blown, realizing this entire situation was a meticulously planned ambush. A moment later, he is blindfolded and cuffed, a true damsel in distress. She tells him not to even think about struggling, clearly savoring her victory. He desperately asks if this is some kind of interrogation, sweating profusely. Our boy tries to bluff, claiming he has had professional training. She is not impressed. This orb she is holding then projects his deepest desire. He wants to kiss her. He is absolutely mortified as the truth orb makes him beg for it. Roswace leans in, sweetly asking who is the one begging for mercy now. And our poor guy is reduced to a blushing, stammering chibai, completely defeated. Leon is in full-blown denial, insisting the voice from the orb just sounds suspiciously like him. Roswace leans in, asking if he'd like a closer look at the evidence, and then the orb makes him blurt out all his embarrassing, heartfelt confessions. He immediately starts begging, claiming he remembers it all now. Please make it stop. She just calmly picks up a very ominous-looking writing crop. Then asks him to repeat what he said, for the record. She even offers to help him review the details. What a thoughtful partner. This scene then cuts to some very noisy silhouettes behind a door, followed by a long, quiet shot of a bedside lamp. A while later, Leon is just a hollowed-out husk, crying himself to sleep. Roswace, meanwhile, is casually reading a letter delivered by a tiny dragon. Our boy groggily asks why the Academy is sending mail in the middle of the night. With a grim look, she tells him they have both been summoned for tomorrow, because their other daughter, Noah, got into a fight at school. At the Academy, we meet Noah, looking completely unfazed in the vice principal's office, while the 3 boys she fought look like they barely survived a natural disaster. This vice principal sits them all down to explain exactly what happened. Roswace's eyes narrow as she takes in the whole story. And the moment she hears 3 boys ganged up on her daughter, she absolutely erupts. Leon, on the other hand, is in full panic dad mode, checking Noah for injuries as she insists she is fine. This vice principal just lays it out flat. Yep, your daughter beat up all 3 of them. Roswace is barely holding back a smirk while the boys are crying their little hearts out. Leon just stares, completely baffled, while Noah looks like this is just another Tuesday. And just like that, our boy is in full proud dad mode, giving her a big thumbs up. But the vice principal gets serious, explaining this is actually about dragon-class warfare. We get a quick biology lesson. Dragons are either hatched from cocoons or live-born. Cocoon-borns basically start with cheat codes, inheriting strength directly from their parents, which makes it a huge deal that Noah, a live-born, mopped the floor with 3 older elites. Just then, another parent arrives, looking like he owns the place and offering to cover medical bills. His smug attitude vanishes the second he sees his son's bruised-up face. This little bully immediately runs to Daddy, turning on the waterworks. Roswace leans in, warning Leon this guy's from the infamously arrogant Red Flame clan. Sure enough, the guy starts running his mouth, blaming Roswace for not disciplining her kid. He then calls the entire Silver Dragon clan weak, which is the wrong thing to say to Leon. An apology is demanded, but Leon just grins back, practically daring him to start something. Before things escalate, the vice principal slams his hand down, demanding quiet. All the parents are told to take a seat and listen to what actually happened. This whole thing started in the cafeteria when Noah accidentally stained a boy's clothes. In response, the 3 boys ganged up on her in the yard for a little payback. When asked if they have anything to add, the 3 little thugs are suddenly very quiet. Noah raises her hand, ready to give her side of the story. This vice principal calmly asks her to go ahead and explain. She claims the bully provoked her and she only accidentally broke his arm in self-defense. With a death glare, she asks the little punk to confirm her version of events. This kid is so terrified he immediately agrees, leaving his dad completely baffled. Leon, however, completely misreads the room, thinking his daughter actually did something wrong. Noah just sighs, clearly unimpressed with her dad's lack of faith. So he leans in with some top-tier parenting advice. Next time, kick him in the knee. He even gives a whole lecture on the Red Flame clan's weak points as she diligently takes notes. This other dad is absolutely livid, accusing Leon of teaching his kid to be a public menace. He demands Noah be expelled for her violent tendencies, but the family is just not having it. But the vice principal holds up a hand, calmly stating the academy will make the final call. He then reveals the bully has a long history of picking on liveborns and witnesses saw him start this fight. This Red Flame dad is absolutely sputtering, unable to believe his precious son is being blamed. Leon just roasts him, asking if he has any shame complaining about his son getting wrecked by a toddler. This bully then squeaks out that he is almost 8 years old, which is somehow even more pathetic. Our boy can barely hold back a laugh at the sheer second-hand embarrassment of it all. Enraged, the dad calls Leon a coward for not even showing his dragon tail. Then he makes a fatal mistake, pointing at Roswace and Noah and calling them lowly. And Leon snaps his finger, warning him that insulting his family is a line you do not cross. Roswace just watches with a knowing smirk, fully aware Leon's protective instincts are kicking in. This Red Flame dad goes full-blown Karen, demanding to know if Leon knows who he is. While his own guys hold him back, Leon just yawns, completely unimpressed by the tantrum. Even Roswace is a little taken aback by how far her husband is pushing this guy. She tries to play peacemaker, reminding everyone this is just a schoolyard scuffle. This vice principal, however, is deeply impressed by the queen's level-headed response. He then turns to the angry dad with a very serious warning about causing trouble on academy grounds, threatening to revoke his son's student status if he does not calm down, which is when the little bully himself begs his dad to stop, not wanting to get expelled. Suddenly, the dad's all apologies, claiming he just lost his temper for a second there. He mutters that he will drop it for now, shooting a glare at Leon's smug family. With that settled, the vice principal gives his ruling. The bully started it, but Noah's self-defense was a bit excessive, so Noah gets a stern talking to and has to reflect on her actions, looking absolutely heartbroken about it. Meanwhile, the 3 boys have to write apology letters and are on cleaning duty for a week. Noah waves goodbye to her parents, heading back to class like nothing happened. But Leon just has to shout one last piece of fatherly advice: aim for the knees next time. And right on cue, the vice principal appears behind him, having heard every single word. Our boy tries to play it off, asking if he missed something, a total deer in the headlights. This VP ignores that completely, asking a very curious question about why Leon's tail is never visible. Leon's brain short circuits, instantly terrified his secret identity is about to be blown. This vice principal leans in, trying to suss out which noble clan Leon belongs to. But Roswace and Leon just laugh it off, claiming he is just a humble commoner. This VP calls it a miracle that 2 ordinary dragons could produce a prodigy like Noah. Then he basically begs them to have more kids for the academy. His thoughts are not subtle. After composing himself, he gets back to business with a thoughtful cough. He predicts Noah will one day lead the charge against the dragon slayers, making Leon beam. As they leave, the Red Flame dad is just stewing in the hallway, clearly not finished. With a smug smirk, he tells his lackeys it is time to go. Leon and Roswace head down the academy steps, thinking the drama is over. But of course, the angry dad and his crew are waiting to block their path at the gate. Roswace gives him an icy stare, asking if he has anything else to say. This guy smirks, saying his politeness in the office was just an act for the school's sake. Now that they are outside, he declares they will settle this the Dragon Clan way. And just like that, he challenges Leon to a duel right on the spot. Roswace realizes they are trapped. Refusing now would make the Silver Dragons look like cowards. This Red Flame dad gives a predatory grin, knowing he has got them cornered. She whispers to Leon, asking if he is seriously considering this. Our boy just cracks his knuckles, whispering back that he is happy to oblige. She sighs, giving him one rule: do not beat him to death, a very reasonable request. Meanwhile, a crowd of students starts running over, hyped for a fight at the front gate. Noah's ears perk up at the mention of a fight, her interest piqued. And the entire student body rushes to the front gate to watch the drama unfold. This Red Flame dad mocks Leon for being too frail to even show his tail. He is here to get justice for his son by beating up another kid's dad. What a role model. This guy sets the terms: if Leon can survive 3 rounds, he will admit defeat. Leon just cleans his ear, completely bored by the whole monologue. With a little come-hither gesture, he tells the guy to just get on with it. This, of course, sends the dad into a screaming rage. He throws a flaming punch, literally yelling "die" at our boy. But Leon blocks it effortlessly, thinking this guy's a total lightweight. He then holds up a peace sign, cheerfully announcing 2 rounds to go. The disrespect is art. This dad can only grit his teeth, furious that Leon is just dodging. So he launches a ground-shattering attack, calling him a coward for running. Leon just elegantly hops out of the way, not a single scratch on him. Enraged, the dad unleashes a massive fire breath attack. A giant fireball comes hurtling straight for our hero, who just watches it approach with zero concern on his face. He then sidesteps it like he is dodging a slow-moving bus. This dad is stunned, and Leon just grins, saying it is his turn now, and he delivers a swift kick right to the family jewels. This Red Flame dad is on the ground, his family line now in serious jeopardy. Leon just smirks, ready to deliver the follow-up, which is a solid right hook straight to the jaw, sending the guy flying like a ragdoll across the courtyard. Dusting off his hands, Leon casually mentions he did not even need magic for this chump. This guy's lackeys are absolutely losing their minds, screaming for their fallen lord. So Leon turns to them with a very friendly "you are next" kind of smile, and they immediately nope out of that offer, sweating profusely. He then tells them to grab their boss and stay away from his daughter forever. Turning back to his wife with a cheerful "well, that is that" attitude, only to find Noah standing right there holding a little box. She claims she just happened to be passing by, which is the biggest lie I have ever heard. Turns out she brought them cookies she made in class. Looking a little nervous as her mom takes the first bite, but Roswace is absolutely delighted, telling Leon to try one too. Our boy declares them delicious because of course his daughter makes the best cookies ever. Then Noah looks him dead in the eye and says he was very awesome back there, which completely short-circuits Leon's brain, a direct compliment. He is immediately transported to his happy place, thinking their father-daughter bond has leveled up. Before puffing out his chest and boasting about how powerful he is, back to his usual self. Leon's still in dad mode, offering to teach Noah his fighting style. A suggestion Roswace is clearly not thrilled about. Sometime later, our boy is just trying to relax with a book, and it looks like he is studying some advanced tactical diagrams of kittens. Suddenly, Roswace enters the room carrying a first aid kit, leaving Leon a little confused by her sudden appearance. Then she sits right next to him and his brain just short-circuits. She just holds out her hand, demanding he give her his. Our boy is completely lost, wondering what she is talking about. He tries to play it cool, claiming his injured hand is just a scratch, but she is not buying it, grabbing his hand to treat it herself. She pulls out some kind of healing potion, ready to get to work. This moment she applies it, he hisses in pain, and he is struck by the thought that no one's ever cared for him like this. Her expression is super focused as she tends to the wound, while his internal monologue is just a loop of "her hands are so soft," which immediately sends him into a blushing panic. "Get it together, man." After a moment, she quietly thanks him for today. Leon's completely baffled, asking what she could possibly be thanking him for. She clarifies he stood up for them, and in front of others, he is her partner. Leon gets all flustered, claiming he is only enduring this for Noah's sake. Roswace just smiles, completely aware of how stubborn he is. She then invites him to her sister's place, and when he refuses, a little threat makes him instantly agree. So off they go, flying towards the massive castle in the Red Dragon territory. Roswace makes a grand entrance in her true dragon form, landing with a powerful shockwave. Once they have landed, Leon carries one daughter while Noah follows close behind. A woman with vibrant red hair rushes out to greet them, calling out to little Ross. These two sisters share a happy reunion after Roswace transforms back to her human form. It is time for formal introductions as she proudly presents her husband and daughters. Her sister greets Leon, her new brother-in-law, with a warm welcome. Then she meets her two adorable nieces for the very first time. This aunt immediately scoops up Muin for a giant hug, having guessed their names correctly. She then turns to Noah, offering her a hug as well. Noah gives the most deadpan, reluctant okay imaginable, which does not stop her aunt from pulling both girls into a massive, joyful squeeze. She is absolutely over the moon, getting to hug two little dragon girls at once. Turning to Leon, she thanks him for being such a hands-on dad. Our boy just beams, saying it is no trouble since the kids are so close to him. He then whispers to Roswace that they are obviously closer to him, sparking the parental rivalry. While Roswace argues back, her sister just laughs at their cute bickering. Leon's a blushing mess while Roswace just stews in the corner. Her sister just smiles, inviting the tired travelers to come inside. After dinner, the family relaxes in the absolutely massive hall, when the aunt pulls out the ultimate weapon of familial warfare, a childhood photo album. Noah is absolutely thrilled by this development, but Roswace is having a full-blown panic attack. She tries to snatch the book back, but her sister just gleefully teases her for being shy. Then a silent, mischievous glance is exchanged between Leon and his sister-in-law, and our boy swoops in to steal the album for himself, the absolute traitor. He declares his sacred duty to witness her most humiliating moments, only to be blasted by a holy light upon opening the first page. This kids are begging to see, while Roswace can only watch in horror as her past is revealed. Leon pulls out a photo of her as an energetic student representative. A far cry from the ice queen she is today. Look at that tail. This earns him a swift kick, but he is too busy laughing to care. She warns him he is next on her sister's list, but the damage is done. Meanwhile, the girls are getting a full slideshow of their mom's baby pics from their aunt. They are absolutely captivated by how small and cute she was, and Leon crowds in with them, eager for more blackmail material. They then find a picture of her coronation as the Silver Dragon Queen, which makes Leon admit she is actually pretty cool, earning a flustered humph. These girls are devastated the album's over, wanting even more embarrassing mom content. Roswace tries to shut the whole operation down, declaring the show is over, but her sister just whips out a recording stone, promising the main event is next. Leon, the ultimate hype man, immediately identifies the legendary blackmail device. These kids are asked if they want to see asterisk videos of their mom, and it is a unanimous screaming yes. While Roswace begs for mercy, Leon is right behind her, begging her sister to show them everything. Our boy correctly deduces that her extreme resistance means the footage must be pure gold. This aunt just smiles, savoring the absolute chaos she is about to unleash. She winks, deciding to side with her new brother-in-law just this once. Leon is absolutely thrilled by this betrayal, promising he will bring Roswace back for more torture later. With a flash of light, the recording stone activates, projecting a massive holographic screen right in the middle of the hall. Roswace makes a desperate lunge to cover Leon's eyes, yelling that he is not allowed to look. This video shows a much younger Roswace being asked about her ideal partner, much to her embarrassment. Her younger self starts listing off the requirements. He has to be super smart and a winner. And the girls immediately put two and two together, realizing she is describing their dad. As she lists strong but kind, Leon smugly points to himself, earning a vicious cheek pinch from his wife. Her sister in the video comments on how high her standards are. Young Rosswace just says if she cannot find someone like that, she will not get married at all. And with a hopeful smile, she declares that is the only kind of person she'd ever choose. Leon's brain is completely fried by this revelation. He realizes he is the guy from her fantasy, but she quickly dismisses it as kid stuff. Our boy immediately starts teasing her about it, much to her mortified rage. Her sister then chimes in, asking for the juicy details of who chased who first. In perfect unison, they both point at each other, starting the blame game. Rosswace's face goes full demon mode, daring him to say it again. So Leon invents a wild story about how they both pursued each other, a diplomatic masterpiece. This sister just finds their dynamic absolutely adorable. She then offers to break out Rosswace's old love letters, and the kids are so ready. Rosswace just wants to burn the entire castle down to hide the evidence. Later, Leon whispers they have been forced to share a room, pretending to be annoyed. And they walk in to find a very unsubtle romantic setup. This guest room is basically a 5-star honeymoon suite complete with rose petals. Both of them are just standing there, absolutely dumbfounded by the scene. That is when the sister waltzes in, looking incredibly proud of her handiwork. She winks, saying she specially prepared this room for their 2-day stay. Rosswace desperately asks for any other room, but her sister just calls her shy. Leon finally understands he has walked right into a trap set by a master schemer. Turns out her plan is to lock them up to revitalize the species. This is an intervention. Our boy is now desperately trying to escape this forced romantic getaway. His escape attempt is immediately shut down by a very creepy sister-in-law. Leon pulls the classic "my daughters need me" card, but she has already got that covered. And yep, the kids are totally fine, happily occupied in a separate playroom. She then locks them in, wishing them a very suggestive good rest before leaving. Now they are trapped, and the awkward silence is absolutely deafening. Our boy finally accepts defeat, calling her sister a master of evil schemes. Meanwhile, Rosswace opens a closet to reveal a whole arsenal of questionable attire, which she immediately slams shut as her tail instinctively wraps around a very confused Leon. Rosswace lays down the law. The room has one bed, so he is sleeping in the tub. Our boy is understandably not thrilled with this arrangement at all. Except her sister already thought of that, blocking the drain and filling it with hot water. With no other options, he inspects the bed and finds it feels unusual, and it hits him. It is a water bed, another one of his sister-in-law's brilliant schemes. His brain immediately short-circuits and he starts bouncing on it like a child. Seeing how much fun he is having, she declares she is not missing out and they will sleep together. This sudden 180 has our boy completely flustered and suspicious. Turns out she's just as flustered, trying to hide it by getting aggressive. She then goes full demon mode, pulling out toys from the closet and offering to play. After terrorizing him, she gets all shy, saying she will bathe first and no peeking. On second thought, she does not trust him at all and just boots him out of the room. Kicked out onto the balcony, Leon tries to play it cool, acting like he is totally over it. But his chill facade shatters the second he realizes he is not alone. Because of course it is the master schemer herself, his sister-in-law, looking very amused. She casually asks where Rosswace is and he just says he is getting fresh air. Yeah, right. This sister immediately offers him a drink, and you just know this is part of the plan. Our boy, completely oblivious, happily agrees to the ambush. She pours him a glass of Rosswace's favorite wine, setting the stage for some serious interrogation. He accepts the drink, walking straight into her next carefully laid trap. She starts reminiscing about her and Rosswace, getting all sentimental to lower his guard. Then she drops the backstory, how she heard Rosswace had married some Loki dragon king. Through letters, she could tell her sister was deeply unhappy and melancholic. Rosswace wrote about his poor health and the struggles of her pregnancy, painting a bleak picture. Leon listens intently as she describes Rosswace's miserable life with her supposed enemy. This sister then confesses she thought he was a totally useless, lazy bum right to his face. He just laughs nervously, trying to defend his non-existent honor. She admits that after meeting him, she sees he is not trash, so there must be a reason. And that reason is that Rosswace must actually like him. This revelation hits Leon like a freight train, completely short-circuiting his brain. His mind flashes to his wife the words "she likes me" echoing in his skull. But he immediately rejects the idea, convinced that vicious dragon could never fall for him. Denial is a powerful drug. His sister-in-law smirks, telling him he does not know his wife at all, but Leon knows he has to keep up the happy couple act for her. So he puts on a show, laughing that they are definitely in love, which she seems to buy, commenting on their obvious chemistry. She explains that Rosswace is terrible with her feelings and he is a special case. Then she gets super intimidating, reminding him to be responsible or else. Leon silently vows to take care of Rosswace and any future kids they might have, then declares out loud that he will protect his family with his life. His sister-in-law seems satisfied with that answer for now, telling him to stop posturing and get back to his waiting wife. He stops in his tracks, suddenly remembering something important, turning back to ask if there is anything else she needs to say, and she hits him with a super suggestive smile, mentioning the room's soundproofing. Our boy's brain just completely blue screens at that comment, leaving him a flustered, steaming mess on the balcony. He manages a squeaked thank you before retreating into the castle. carefully cracking open the door to their honeymoon suite of horrors, and he peeks inside to find Roswace already passed out in bed. He quietly climbs onto the bed, confirming she is really out cold, relieved he is safe for the night, but admits she is beautiful when she is not trying to kill him. He is watching her sleep, thinking she is kinda cute for a change, but then his eyes snap wide open, something's not right. A strange light is glowing from under her blanket right over her chest, and his brain immediately jumps to dragon pattern activated, a full-blown panic attack. He checks himself, but his own pattern is not reacting, so what the hell is that? Cautiously, our boy pulls back the covers to investigate the mystery glow, only to find Roswace wide awake, greeting him with a casual hi. It was a trap. Leon absolutely loses his mind, screaming that she scared him with a light bulb. Turns out she found a creepy glowing toy in the closet and decided to mess with him. She gives him the most evil smirk, asking if he is disappointed it is just a toy. Our boy is just a blushing, stuttering mess, completely and utterly owned. He rolls over in a huff, telling her he is going to sleep while she cackles maniacally. She warns him not to get any funny ideas in the middle of the night, still gloating, but just as she is feeling smug, something starts to descend from above. A thin line drops down from the ceiling, completely unnoticed by the victor, landing a massive spider right on her shoulder, and she is just like, huh. That confusion instantly turns to pure, unadulterated terror. Her blood-curdling scream wakes Leon right up, who has no idea what is happening, and the next thing he knows, she has launched herself into his arms for safety. This mighty dragon queen, crying her eyes out because of a spider. Leon's brain flashes back to a photo, a tiny Roswace crying over a spider, and he gets the most diabolical grin, realizing the mighty dragon queen has a weakness. Puffed up with fake heroism, he tells her he will handle the scary monster. He bravely grabs the creature, only to pause in confusion, because this terrifying beast feels suspiciously like cheap plastic. He shows her it is just a toy, but her panic is still very, very real. And she orders him to destroy it with fire, fake or not, no witnesses. To save the room from incineration, Leon promises to just throw it outside, yeeting the plastic spider out the window to its freedom. With the threat neutralized, he smugly tells his blushing wife it is time for bed. Then it hits him, the spider was definitely another one of her sister's schemes. A master plan to force Roswace into showing her vulnerable side, which totally worked. As a truce, she offers him the outside of the bed, a massive concession, and our boy, feeling generous after his brave deed, graciously accepts. They are now lying side by side under the covers in peak awkward silence. Leon, ever the troll, asks if she is still scared and wants to hold his hand, leaving her completely frozen, staring at him with wide eyes. After a moment of pure tsundere huffing, she actually agrees, but only holds onto his pinky finger because that is less weird, right? He is just baffled by her logic, while she has no clue how hand-holding is supposed to work. Fed up with his pinky-only approach, she just grabs his whole hand, and their fingers interlock for the first time, for real this time. Now they are just lying there, staring at each other in peak awkwardness. Roswace is internally combusting, wondering why he is so nonchalant about this. Her inner dragon queen tries a pep talk, it is just hand-holding, get a grip. He teases her about her cold, sweaty hands, and she just fires it right back at him. But then she notices the calluses from his sword, feeling a strange warmth from them. That simple touch sends a jolt right through her entire body. And for a second, the mighty dragon queen looks surprisingly soft. She admits her old standards for a partner are long gone, now she has none. An awkward silence falls as they both pretend to go to sleep. Which is not working for Leon, who is having a full-blown internal meltdown. He peeks over, thinking she is out, and plots a stealthy escape for his numb fingers. Our boy makes his move, trying to carefully wiggle his hand free. But she is totally faking it, internally raging that he is touching her. Her eyes snap open, giving him the how dare a prisoner touch his master glare. Deciding two can play that game, she launches her own counteroffensive. Leon gets a sudden shock as her hand starts moving somewhere unexpected. This new contact makes his skin feel all itchy and weirdly sensitive. And a strange, primal hunger starts to awaken in him. This primal urge is taking over them both, and Roswace declares she wants to do something more, leading to the most intense, blush-filled stare-down in history. Leon finally makes his move, pinning her down on the bed, whispering that this is a one-night-only deal. But as he gets into position, his dragon tail just pops right out. Our boy is confused because his dragon mark is not reacting at all, which is a problem since it is supposed to activate with mutual desire. They lean in for the kiss anyway, ignoring the technical difficulties, only for a giant spider to drop down between them courtesy of Sis. A blood-curdling scream echoes as Leon begs her not to incinerate the room. Meanwhile, the sister-in-law smirks, her surprise working perfectly. Back inside, Leon is comforting a genuinely terrified Roswace. This schemer's plan was simple, leave them alone with a single terrifying catalyst. He holds her close as she cries, a rare moment of gentleness. Then she points out his heart is racing, calling out his fake bravery, and he admits he is scared of spiders too, a truce of cowards. They both agree to bury this mutual embarrassment forever. This sun rises on a brand new, hopefully less traumatic day. But Roswace wakes up with a look of pure shock on her face. Roswace wakes up alone, completely disoriented in the giant bed, wondering if Leon already bilayed on her this morning, which honestly she is totally fine with, since she is way too mortified to face him after last night's spider-pocalypse. This is the first time she has ever broken her own no-weakness rule, and she is internally cringing over falling asleep in a human's arms. Her queenly pride restored, she vows this secret will never leave the room. But as she opens the door, someone's already waiting for her. It is her sister, of course, with a smug grin asking how her exciting night was. Rosswaist just loses it, screaming it was too exciting and to never do it again. Her sister then whispers, asking if she used the toys she left, getting a hard no, then immediately pivots to demanding a nephew to inherit the castle. A completely flustered Rosswaist just grabs her and drags her to breakfast, where they find Leon already in the dining hall with two little girls. Our boy is just having the time of his life, squishing one of their faces. This little girl spots them, announcing that her mommy and auntie have arrived, then immediately bolts from his lap because it is time to eat. This whole dysfunctional family sits down for a very quiet meal. And the tension between our newlyweds is just painfully, hilariously awkward. Leon's just trying to eat his feelings, dying of secondhand embarrassment. Leon's brain is just replaying last night's near kiss on a loop. His inner angel calls it treason, while his inner devil is like, they are married, who cares? And our boy just tries to eat through the mental warfare, complaining about his bland bread. He decides to solve this culinary crisis by reaching for some peanut butter. But of course, Rosswaist goes for the exact same jar at the exact same time, leading to the most painfully awkward hand-touching moment in breakfast history. They both yank their hands back, blushing furiously as her dragon tail pops out in shock. Her sister, watching the whole thing, asks with a smirk if it is getting a little hot in the room, and the two of them just stammer that yes, it is definitely the room's fault. She then suggests they go take a shower, prompting a unified scream of no need. This master troll is just loving every second of their flustered reactions. Changing the subject, she brings up a recent run-in with the Red Flame Dragon clan. Rosswaist explains their son was a bully, so Leon just straight up one-punched the guy. This sister gives one of the little girls a proud head pat for being so amazing. But Rosswaist adds that the bully's dad, Duke Constantine, is now making a huge fuss about it. Leon remembers reading about this Constantine, a supposed hero from dragon history books. Her sister warns that the guy's been aggressively expanding his territory and is looking for a fight. Rosswaist looks completely unimpressed, daring him to attack her castle over his useless son, her eyes glowing as she threatens to give the entire Red Flame clan a trim. And just like that, they are marching right up to the gates of the Red Dragon Castle. This sister-in-law gives Rosswaist a hug goodbye, all smiles and sweetness, then hands over a parting gift with a grin that screams this is a trap. After that, it is a sweet farewell to the little girls, telling them to visit again soon, and they absolutely smother her with affection, promising to get big and strong. Finally, her attention turns to Leon, the last item on her farewell tour. She reminds our boy of his promise and he agrees, shaking on it with Rosswaist as the witness. Rosswaist is just standing there, completely lost about what they are even talking about. With business concluded, the sister transforms into her dragon form and takes off, waving a cheerful goodbye as she flies away. We then flash back to her walking through the castle halls, plotting. Her inner monologue is just pure amusement over how entertaining these young dragons are. Still on her nephew quest, she wonders when they will finally make a baby. As she opens a door, we see the spider from last night, her little catalyst. It drops down and she just stares at it, completely unfazed. In fact, she is impressed Leon was so quick to protect his wife she knew all along. Meanwhile, somewhere else, Leon lets out a massive sneeze. A smirk crosses his face, thinking his sister-in-law must have found the surprise he left for her. Oh, it is a prank war. This gets him thinking about how different the sisters are from other dragon royalty. They are actually nice and super family-oriented, which is a new one for him. Our boy mulls over the fact that Rosswaist actually trusted him with her sister's safety. Back with our happy couple, Rosswaist is thinking about her sister's departure, and she demands to know what secret promise Leon made, but he just trolls her from the sky, refusing to spill the beans. Later that night, back at the castle, a new plan is brewing, while the kids are sleeping peacefully, unaware of the chaos to come. Rosswaist finds Leon waiting for her outside her room with a smug look. He casually greets her and she is immediately on guard. Our boy then asks for a live performance of her embarrassing childhood video, A Declaration of War. He proceeds to mock her bubble bath song and dance routine, which predictably makes the Dragon Queen absolutely lose her mind. Leon just laughs it off, completely underestimating the danger he is in. Her rage cools into a terrifyingly calm glare, asking if he is bored. In a flash, she has got him by the collar, promising some serious consequences, and she suggests they finish what the spider so rudely interrupted last night. Leon's face says it all. He has made a terrible, terrible mistake. He immediately tries to bolt, but she is not letting him escape this time. Her hand slams the door shut just as he reaches it, trapping him. She gives him an ultimatum, 10 minutes to shower and report to her room, promising to teach him a lesson about messing with her dark history, and our boy is left completely speechless, contemplating his life choices. Leon immediately regrets his big mouth, a classic case of foot-and-mouth disease. He is a little surprised by her extreme reaction though, which just proves her embarrassing past is his ultimate weapon. Our boy hypes himself up for the torture ahead, a noble sacrifice for a noble cause. He is even willing to let his body break. What a hero. All this drama is just to make the Dragon Queen uncomfortable. A noble duty he has assigned himself while she is just vibing in the shower. And with that, he marches off to his doom, yelling her name. 10 minutes later, a blood-curdling scream rips through the castle, and we find Leon on the bed, begging for mercy. Turns out Rosswaist has a surprise of her own, a full-on teacher cosplay, complete with a whip. Our boy is just trying to process this, complimenting her acting skills, which earns him a sharp presumptuous. For breaking character, she then brings the punishment down and he absolutely loses it. Leaning in close, she reminds student Leon that he is in her classroom now. This whip does not actually hurt, but our boy is dying of second-hand embarrassment. Then the light bulb goes off. This is a humiliation roleplay. His rules are simple. She is the strict teacher and he is the disobedient student. To escape this nightmare, he realizes he has to play along with her lesson. So he meekly apologizes, promising teacher Rossways he will study hard from now on. Teacher Rossways is fully in character, asking if he is ready for his assignment. And Leon is just completely lost, asking what homework she is even talking about. She immediately scolds him for his ignorance, some top student he is, so he plays along, politely asking her to explain the lesson again, which she begins to lay out for tonight's very special class. This assignment make her dragon mark light up, simple as that. She even threatens more punishment for failure and he is like, challenge accepted. Our boy gets right to work on his studies, boasting internally that he is an expert on a female dragon's weak points. And apparently he is not wrong because she is already impressed with his technique. This teacher seems to be enjoying this lesson a little too much. Leon, looking a bit winded, asks if he has passed the test, but she just smirks, calling that a mere pre-class exercise because the real homework has not even started yet. Our boy is just completely overwhelmed by this advanced curriculum, and just like that, the great dragon-slaying hero is defeated once again. He wonders if it is the dragon mark on his chest that is reacting so strongly, as his whole body starts to heat up against his will. She pulls him in for the final part of the lesson, and they both fall onto the bed ready for the main exam. She is fully in character, whispering that he is a bad boy, but Leon flips the script, asking if this is what teacher really wants. And oh yeah, she is absolutely loving this lesson. This homework gets pretty intense from there. After a while, our boy looks completely spent. He is just relieved the whole ordeal is finally over, so he asks to be dismissed from class, assignment complete. But Rossways grabs him, class is not over yet. She informs him that was just one subject with 6 more to go. Leon's face just short circuits at the news. His silent scream echoes through the cosmos. Looks like it is going to be a very, very long night of studying. This next morning, Rossways is looking suspiciously refreshed. While Leon is a walking corpse, dark circles and all. This kids immediately call him out on his zombie-like state. He tries to play it off, blaming his late-night homework. Rossways smugly confirms that adults have their own kind of homework, which just leaves the little girls completely baffled. Then one of them has a brilliant breakthrough. She has figured it out. She explains that when mommy is strong, daddy is weak, and vice versa, leaving them speechless. Leon praises his daughter's sharp intellect, patting her head, then immediately threatens to fight anyone who calls him cute, a totally normal dad. His other daughter just watches this display, completely unimpressed. Her ride to school arrives, and of course it is a literal dragon. She waves a quick goodbye to her mom and sister, Muin. Rossways and Muin see her off, telling her to be careful. Our boy gives her a final farewell, wishing her luck in class. This little girl gives one last suspicious glance before she goes, and with a flash of light she teleports away for the day. This rest of the family watches the dragon depart, a sweet moment. With one kid off to school, Leon asks what is next on the agenda. Muin, however, is deep in thought about how her dad is always weak, so she takes it upon herself to whip him into shape, much to his confusion. She drags him off to the training grounds for a run. Rossways finds this whole situation hilarious and decides to watch. Leon starts them off with some warm-up stretches, much to Muin's confusion. He explains it is to prevent injuries, a lesson she dutifully accepts. Just then, Rossways shows up in workout clothes to join the fun. Muin is absolutely thrilled to have her mom join them. Rossways turns it into a challenge, and Muin is ready for a family showdown. Rossways warns him not to sprain an ankle, being a desk jockey and all. She then brings up their last fight, and he claims he let her win. Sure, buddy. Muin immediately gets hyped for a brawl, ready to throw down. Leon quickly covers her mouth, trying to be a responsible parent for once. His daughter then asks the million-dollar question, why cannot he beat mommy? Our boy tries to save face, saying he goes easy on her, a likely story. Rossways' tail smacks the ground, clearly not impressed with his excuse. So she challenges him to a foot race instead, calling him stubborn. Leon puffs out his chest, accepting the endurance challenge with way too much confidence. This whole family lines up for the race, even Muin is in a battle stance. With the maid as the referee, the two parents give each other a death glare, and they are off, with Muin taking a surprising early lead, laughing maniacally. Leon immediately starts trash-talking, asking if her tail slows her down. She just smirks, flexing that her tail is for balance, a built-in advantage. Muin, still ahead, asks to see his tail, and he just yells back that he does not need one. Just 2 laps in, however, someone's already hitting their limit, and it is Muin who dramatically collapses, completely out of gas. This maid swoops in with a drink, praising the little princess for her effort. Now on the sidelines, they watch the real competition continue. Leon is already struggling, realizing he is racing a dragon built for pure speed. Leon's all in, thinking there is no turning back from this race. His entire Dragon Slayer dignity is on the line, he absolutely cannot lose, so he goes full shonen protagonist, screaming about fighting until death. 20 minutes later, he is just a heap on the ground, laughing hysterically. Rossways asks if he is finally convinced, but he still refuses to admit defeat. She just smirks, telling him to get up and keep running if he is so tough. Our boy desperately asks for a 2-day training montage, promising victory. She roasts him, saying even 2 years would not be enough to beat her. Then she leans in, asking if he can perform now that he is so tired, and Leon's brain just blue screens, muttering about taking a bath. Roswace finds his petty grudge hilarious, calling him vindictive. She tells Muen that Daddy is too weak, so they will just continue exercising without him. Muen is now fully on board with whipping her dad into shape, which just makes Leon's soul exit his body entirely. He tries one last pathetic attempt to save face, telling them not to underestimate him. Later at dinner, a restorative soup is served for the fallen warrior. Muen takes pity on him, offering to feed her poor, weak dad. He obediently opens his mouth to accept the food, only to immediately pass out face first on the table, a true champion. He mumbles that it is all because of last night's homework, otherwise he totally would have won. Roswace smirks, asking if he is ready for another round of homework, and Leon's soul just vacates his body at the very thought. He immediately grabs Muen, using his daughter as a human shield for a bedtime story. She has no memory of this agreement, but Dad says it is a new, binding contract. Amused, Roswace lets him off the hook for now, telling them to get to bed early. Muen is just happy for story time, completely oblivious to the marital warfare. Later that night, the mood shifts as Roswace walks the halls alone. In the darkness, she stops and calls for someone to come out. A blue-haired maid appears, addressing her as Your Majesty. This queen cuts right to the chase, asking if there is any news. Her maid reports that Leon's master, Tiger Lawrence, has vanished from the Empire. Apparently, he gave away all his possessions before leaving, except for one thing, and that one thing was, of all things, a donkey. This jogs Roswace's memory. It might be the same donkey Leon mentioned. With new orders, the maid is sent to continue searching for Tiger's whereabouts. After her subordinate leaves, she is left alone with her thoughts, wondering why Leon's master would suddenly abandon the Empire. A few days later, a new crisis rocks the castle. Both parents are in shock over the news of a family sports day. As Muen explains, her academy is holding the event next week. Roswace recalls her own sports day where parents were not required. Muen immediately gets stars in her eyes, asking what place mommy got. With maximum smugness, she declares she took first place, obviously. This question then turns to Leon, who says he did not have a rank. He spins a wild tale about being so good they thought he was cheating, which earns his daughter a light bonk on the head for her skepticism. Leon clarifies he got a secret medal, which he melted into a bracelet for Grandma. His wife calls him out, but he insists glory you cannot show off is worthless. So she gets right in his face, asking if he will actually compete this time. Their other daughter explains it is just a recreational event, but she is still dead set on taking first place no matter what. Our boy realizes she has inherited their insane competitive spirit. This two parents share a silent, knowing look it is on, and they both agree to participate in the event together. Muen wants to join too, but her sister says it is a 3-person team, so Leon gives Muen the all-important job of being their cheerleader. She accepts her mission with fiery determination, ready to scream her lungs out. This whole family is now united, ready to absolutely dominate this sports meet. A week later, Leon is already on the training grounds getting started, and of course Roswace shows up in her workout gear to join him. Leon admires his wife's workout gear, thinking she looks good in anything. She then suggests a light warm-up run with a very suspicious grin. As they start jogging, he asks what kind of events they will be facing. He laughs it off as no big deal, but she warns him dragon sports are on another level. Our boy puffs out his chest, boasting that dragon slayers are built different, so she immediately roasts him for collapsing after 2 laps just a few days ago. This of course makes him adorably furious. He yells that it was all her fault for their all-night homework session. Amused, Roswace offers him some proper motivation to get serious. This prize is a full week's vacation if their family takes first place. Leon's eyes immediately turn to stars. The man is sold. Now he is completely fired up, declaring their family will be the champions. He then blasts off like a rocket, leaving her in a cloud of dust. Roswace just smirks, finding his sudden burst of energy entertaining. After the warm-up, however, he is already hunched over and out of breath. He claims he is feeling a surge of power, not total exhaustion, sure buddy. Just then, she pulls a rope out of a bag for their next training exercise, explaining they need to practice their teamwork and coordination. Leon immediately freaks out, thinking she is about to get into some weird rope games, and she just gives him a deadpan look, asking if he has ever heard of a 3-legged race. Leon blushes, saying he has seen this at the Dragon Slayer Academy before, so Roswace gets right to it, ready to practice the most basic movements. Their legs get tied together and the awkwardness officially begins. Our boy immediately complains she is way too close for comfort. He just wants to get this over with as fast as humanly possible. This rope is now secure, locking them in for this teamwork exercise. Leon asks why she is just standing there, but she is not impressed with his attitude. He then points to a patch of grass, for a soft landing when they inevitably fail. Their first attempt is just them bickering and stumbling around like fools. With incredible nerve, he tells her not to slow him down. She finds this hilarious. A determined look on his face, Leon starts the countdown for their second try. This moment he says go, she explodes forward with pure dragon speed, leaving Leon completely stunned by the sudden acceleration. He is immediately airborne, getting dragged along while screaming for his life. And his pathetic cries echo across the entire training ground. Roswace asks if he even knows what cooperation means after that spectacular failure. She then mocks him for not keeping up, so he just sulks, refusing to engage. Trying to be tactical, Leon suggests a counting system for their steps. His next brilliant idea is to just grab her by the waist for coordination, of course, which completely flusters her, even as he claims it'll make movement easier. She is totally flustered but tries to play it cool, telling him to just go ahead. With his hands on her waist, they finally start walking in sync. Actual progress. Time flies, and suddenly it is the big day at Heathcliff Academy. This headmaster steps up to the mic, officially kicking off the sports festival. Muin is in the stands with pom-poms, ready to be the world's best cheerleader. And the event's commentator is a super energetic cat girl, because of course she is. First up is the relay race, a 3-dragon event for each family. This total distance is 3,000 meters, with each person running a full kilometer. An official starts handing out the number bibs to all the contestants. Roswace immediately takes charge, assigning herself the first leg of the race. Their other daughter nervously asks Leon to take the final leg, almost calling him dad, and Leon's heart just melts on the spot, instantly agreeing to anything. Roswace snaps them out of it, telling them to get to their positions now. She gives him a look that says, "We are here to win, do not you dare mess this up." At the starting line, she tells their daughter not to worry, she will handle the handoff perfectly. Leon and his daughter stand by, looking focused and ready for their turn. This announcer calls for all the second leg runners to get into position on the track. He tells her to be careful and that he will be waiting for her at the end. Then he asks for a little encouragement for her old dad, laying it on thick. She gives him a tiny fist bump and the team is officially bonded. This family relay race kicks off with Roswace at the starting line looking absolutely lethal. Muin is already going feral in the stands, screaming for her mommy. As the signal is given, Roswace explodes off the block with a burst of purple energy. Our catgirl commentator is losing her mind as Roswace immediately creates a massive lead. But wait, a challenger appears. A runner from the Electric Dragon clan is right on her tail. Leon is stunned someone can even match her speed, but some rando next to him is not surprised at all. He mentally disses the Electric Dragon clan, calling them experts at running away, not fighting. And just like that, the rival overtakes her, pulling ahead by 2 body lengths. This announcer and some old chairmen are loving the drama, wondering who will win the first leg. That smug dude starts gloating about his wife, and Leon just plays along, agreeing she is amazing. For a second, the guy is smugly satisfied, but then Leon's expression shifts. Because he drops the mic with "my wife is even more asterisk amazing," as Roswace's eyes start glowing. She kicks it into overdrive, unleashing a massive burst of power to retake the lid. Her rival is completely baffled, wondering how she has any stamina left after breaking the wind. While Roswace just smirks, having played her rival the entire time. Turns out she was just using the other runner as a windbreaker, saving all her energy for the final stretch. She easily finishes first, passing the baton to their daughter for the second leg. This other team makes their handoff too, and now the second leg is officially underway. Roswace glances back at Leon, a little surprised by his sudden confidence. And our boy just gives her a cool thumbs up, like there was ever any doubt. Roswace finishes her leg, telling her family the rest is on them. Their daughter looks up at Leon, finally calling him dad out loud. Leon is absolutely ecstatic, but she is all business, they will talk after they win. Back on the track, the second leg of the relay is in full swing. Up front, it is their daughter versus some kid named Dean, both pushing hard. This Dean kid pulls ahead, taunting her for being a short-legged dragon. Big mistake, buddy. Oh, he just activated her murder mode, she's not letting him get away with that. From the stands, Muin is giving it her all, cheering her sister on. This commentators debate the outcome, with the old chairman wisely noting it ain't over till it is over. At the exchange zone, Leon and the other dad wait as the kids round the final corner. They are running side by side, a dead heat with neither one giving an inch. It is a mad dash to the finish line to see who passes the baton first, and the handoff is absolutely critical. Both teams make a clean exchange, but the rival family pulls ahead by a hair. Her race over, Noah immediately apologizes for losing the lid, but Roswace is just proud, telling her she did amazing against a bigger, older kid. With a smile, she says it is time to go cheer for their dad together. Muin is already on it, screaming that her daddy is the best. This smug rival dad starts trash-talking, boasting he will leave Leon in the dust. He then bursts forward with a crackle of energy, laughing like a total maniac. Leon's eyes burn with pure desperation. Do not underestimate his obsession with vacation. This announcers are screaming as he and the rival dad, Gordon, accelerate down the track. Muin is in the stands, absolutely starstruck, watching her dad go all out. Cheers for daddy reach him, acting like a superpowered energy drink. Now that Noah's called him dad too, losing is officially off the table. Our boy pulls up right beside Gordon with a smug grin, ready to make his move. This rival dad starts sweating bullets, realizing he is about to get passed. So he decides to play dirty, planning to make Leon suffer a little. Leon's senses tingle, he knows a cheap shot is coming. But Leon decides if his rival wants to play dirty, he will play dirtier. And just as the guy powers up, Leon makes his own move, stomping clean on his rival's foot, a truly galaxy brain maneuver, which sends Gordon sprawling onto the track just before the finish line. This rival dad eats dirt as Leon sprints past him for the win, and he breaks the tape arms wide, securing first place for the family. His family rushes over to celebrate their hard-fought victory. He immediately scoops up Noah, asking what she called him mid-race. She shyly says daddy again, making his entire year in a single moment. Leon begs her to keep saying it, but she is all business until they win it all. Rosswace checks if he is okay, but he is just fine, basking in the moment. This rival dad immediately starts crying foul, accusing Leon of throwing sand at him. Leon just fires back, calling him out for being the first to complain. Then he drops his own evidence. The guy tried to zap him, leaving burn marks on his clothes. Our boy plays the victim card perfectly, saying he was just running for his life. What a performance. When an official tries to investigate, the rival's wife steps in to defend her injured husband. Rosswace finally wanders over, wondering what all the commotion is about. But the rival dad spots his clan's patriarch, who also happens to be the head of the committee. Leon quickly realizes the judge is from the same clan as the cheater. This is not looking good. This rival couple gets incredibly smug, thinking their clan leader will obviously take their side. In a shocking twist, the patriarch announces he has reviewed the evidence and is disqualifying his own family. This cheater's family is absolutely floored, unable to process what just happened. Gordon desperately tries to appeal to his patriarch for a little family favoritism, and gets told to shut his mouth with a look that could kill. This old man then turns and bows to Leon's family, formally apologizing for his clan's behavior. Rosswace, loving every second of this, tells him to discipline his people better. She adds her husband was smart enough to avoid injury, or this would not end with a simple apology. With a promise to educate them, the patriarch glares at Gordon, who looks absolutely terrified. Leon is beaming with pride, calling her his wife, while she lectures about proper dragon etiquette. She immediately gets flustered, telling him not to be so affectionate, but he just laughs it off. And with that drama settled, the catgirl announcer moves the festival along to the next event. This announcer explains the family score system while the kids compete in a donut on a string challenge. Next up for the parents is a three-legged race with Leon and Rosswace looking very uncoordinated. They even have to survive a quiz show, which they surprisingly manage to pass. And then comes the family feeding event, where Rosswace's technique is just waterboarding Leon with noodles. After that montage of absolute chaos, we cut to the final parent event of the day. It is the last stage of the three-legged race, a cooking competition called Cooking with Love. This rules are simple: make a meal chosen by lottery filled with affection and teamwork. A panel of very serious-looking judges will decide their culinary fate. Oh, and the best part, they have to stay tied together the entire time. This is framed as a romantic bonding experience, much to their shared horror. Leon prays for something simple as he reaches into the box to draw their dish. And of course they get cream puffs, a famously easy dessert for beginners. He asks if she can make them, and her no is so blunt it could shatter glass. But with instructions provided, they reluctantly put on aprons and get to work. They try their best to coordinate while literally attached at the hip. While they are cooking, the Jumbotron shows another event, a balloon battle royale for the kids. It is down to the final four, with Noah facing off against three other children, except it is not a free-for-all. The other three have teamed up to take her down first. But Noah is not about to surrender, her eyes glowing with pure determination. And she unleashes her power, ready to take on all three of them at once. This other kids think they have Noah cornered, but they have made a huge mistake. Because her eyes are glowing with pure "you're all going down" energy. She unleashes a flurry of attacks, easily taking on all three at once. And just like that, Noah stands victorious over her defeated opponents. Muin is losing her mind in the stands, screaming for her amazing big sister. Back at the cooking station, Leon hears the news and is absolutely beaming. While Rosswace just laughs, basically saying, "Duh, she gets it from me." Suddenly, Leon notices a little smudge of flour on her face. So he gently wipes it off her nose, a surprisingly tender moment, which is immediately plastered on the Jumbotron for the entire stadium to see. This catgirl announcer is gushing about their incredible love and teamwork, prompting the head judge to declare their food must be filled with affection. They are forced to play the part of the model couple, waving awkwardly to the crowd, while quietly debating which dragons to assassinate to make this all stop. After some time, they have somehow created three perfect-looking cream puffs, which they present to the judges with way more confidence than they feel. This head judge takes a bite and is completely blown away by the quality. He asks if they cook together often, and Rosswace just plays along with a smug smile. Leon then launches into a total fabrication about how his wife loves baking these at home, revealing his actual thoughts are a much spicier, cream-filled fantasy. Leon's mind is in the gutter, while Rosswace is just completely over this. This head judge totally buys their act, asking for their secret recipe. So they lean in hard, claiming the secret ingredient is love gag. And it works. The judges give them near-perfect scores across the board. Leon's already convinced they have got first place in the bag. He is already screaming about his 7-day holiday. The man is obsessed. With all events over, the final scoreboard puts them at number 1. Third place gets a noodle voucher, which feels a little underwhelming. Second place gets a pretty sweet magic book, though. Finally, Leon's family is called up to receive the grand prize, and it is a 7-day luxury hot spring tour, his dream come true. Or not, because he just realized a week with Rosswace means zero rest. Rosswace is thrilled, asking Noah if she wants to go, while Leon dies inside. He's screaming about why nobody told him the prize was his own personal hell. Later that night, the family celebrates their victory at home, and they all raise a glass to their hard-fought win. Muin is just gushing about how her family is number 1. Then Noah gets all serious, thanking Leon for helping her win. Rosswace and Leon go full parent mode, saying it was all her effort. But she has noticed Leon's been moping, wondering why he hates the prize so much. Then Noah gets all serious, saying there's one more thing, and she asks them both to close their eyes for a moment. They are totally confused. First, she gives Muin a massive happy hug. After that, she moves on to Roswace, who looks smug as ever. Finally, it is Leon's turn, and he has no idea what is coming. And she just jumps right into his lap, catching him completely off guard. She gives him a hug, whispering a quiet "thank you, daddy," followed by a surprise kiss right on the cheek. With that done, she tells him he can open his eyes now. Leon is completely floored as she reminds him of her promise to call him that. She then adds she'd call him that even if they lost and our boy is wrecked. Muin immediately points out her sister's blushing, but Noah just tells her to eat. That night, Leon's celebrating with wine while Roswace reminds him about their trip tomorrow. Their destination, the incredible floating metropolis of Sky City. Our boy is already mourning the perfect vacation he almost had. This irony is killing him. Winning the championship led to this personal hell. A little girl on the street even calls him weird as he sulks by the window. He is actually crying, bidding a tearful farewell to his dream vacation. Roswace asks what he thinks of her choice, and he just mutters nice without looking. Of course, she is trying on a swimsuit and is furious he did not even turn around. He quickly tries to salvage the situation, saying she'd look great in anything. Roswace, however, complains it is too tight, a classic humble brag, so she starts browsing through some significantly smaller options, and then dangles an even skimpier one, asking for his opinion. Leon's brain immediately short-circuits with a very sparkly vision of her, and the resulting mental image causes a full-on cartoon nosebleed. He is down. While his mind is in the gutter, he weakly tries to turn it down, which gets a genuinely disappointed pout since she thought he'd like it. Just then, a shopkeeper arrives with some adorable swimsuits for the kids. Back in her normal clothes, she asks if he is unhappy, and he is sweating bullets. She lays it out the trip is happening, but she is willing to make a concession. Then pulls the ultimate parent card, do it for the happy kids. Leon forces the most pained "I am so happy" smile in history, so she offers him a deal: she will not touch him for the entire 7-day trip. Our boy is immediately suspicious, pointing out she's got her hands all over him now. To seal it, she swears on the reputation of the Silver Dragon Queen. He reluctantly agrees to the deal, still looking absolutely terrified. But then she leans in with a warning: if he cannot control himself, that is on him. Leon puffs his chest out, claiming his Dragon Slayer status gives him perfect self-control. She just smirks, reminding him what happens if her dragon pattern appears. He is done for. This next day, they arrive at the absurdly gorgeous flowing Cloud Valley. A hotel receptionist immediately recognizes them as the model champion family. Roswace just smiles while Leon internally blames the vice principal for this whole charade. While they are told all expenses are covered, Muin is eyeing the aquarium fish for dinner. This receptionist hands over their room card, seeming simple enough, until Leon realizes there are only 2 rooms and his personal hell is confirmed. She then offers them a honeymoon suite, which he rejects with the speed of a terrified man. After that awkward exchange, the family heads off to find their rooms. They make their way through the ridiculously fancy hotel lobby. Leon's mind is already racing, trying to figure out how to avoid this disaster. He desperately asks the kids to room with him, but Noah is not having it. Muin then drops some wisdom about personal space that literally turns her dad to stone. His last chance of survival completely crushed by his own daughter. You hate to see it. Noah then encourages them to enjoy their world of 2, and the kids are totally shipping them. Roswace, loving every second of this, hands the girls their room key. These kids are thrilled to have their own space and run off, leaving Leon to fake cry about how his children have abandoned him in his time of need. Roswace just dangles their key, reminding him the real test is about to start. Inside their suite, she takes a moment to look out at the waterfall, and with a smile, she welcomes him to their room for the next 7 days. Leon asks if she has been to this place before. Roswace explains it is her first time too, since she has been swamped with clan business. To make up for it, she brought a camera to take some souvenir photos. Our boy immediately panics, realizing it might be the same camera he used. And yep, it is the camera she won as a prize, his worst nightmare confirmed. He is in full panic mode because that camera holds evidence secret photos that will get him executed. As he is trying to delete the proof, she just grabs him and demands the camera. Leon clutches it like his life depends on it, claiming he is a professional photographer. She is not buying it, so he doubles down with a story about photographing a donkey, a truly believable cover. Somehow this works, and she tells him to go take pictures while they go for a walk. With the crisis averted for now, the family takes a stroll through a gorgeous garden. Noah and Muin are having a blast, posing for a picture in front of a knight statue. Next up is the deer park, where the girls are absolutely loving feeding the animals. Roswace has her own Disney princess moment surrounded by deer, and the kids are in awe. Then the kids spot the amusement area and immediately drag their mom over to play. At the claw machine, Roswace gets surprisingly competitive while eyeing her prize. Leon, on photographer duty, catches her intense expression and snaps a picture. And he nails it, a perfect shot of her laughing and having fun. Our boy checks the shot on the camera, looking pretty proud of himself. She is genuinely surprised he did not make her look ugly, and he just smugly tells her not to underestimate him. Leon's getting drinks when Roswace follows him, claiming she is just worried he will be bored. Sure, Jan. Then she shoves a tiny teddy bear at him, looking super flustered. Our boy is completely lost, just staring at her like, what is this? She explains it is a return gift for the one he gave her, blushing the whole time. He immediately starts clowning on her, saying his was a bear king and this is just a cub. And that of course triggers her full-on chibai rage mode. She threatens to take it back, so he instantly caves. Classic. Meanwhile, the kids are waiting, with Muen getting impatient for her pineapple ice. Noah then gets all serious, telling her sister she is actually envious of her. Muen is totally confused, wondering what she could possibly have to be jealous of. It is because Muen can just ask for things while Noah feels she cannot. Muen tells her to just do it, but Noah insists it is not that simple for her. She claims she is already a grown-up who has to hold back. This is heartbreaking. We get a flashback to her and Muen as babies, revealing Noah is the older twin by 20 minutes. They had a happy childhood, learning from their biological mother. In their eyes, their mom was the strongest person in the world. But one day Noah saw her mother looking fragile by her unconscious father's bedside. That is when she realized her mother carried a heavy burden all alone. From that moment on, Noah decided she had to act like an adult to help. So she forced herself to mature quickly, always striving to be perfect for her family. She did it all so her mom would never have to look that broken again. Muen, completely missing the point, says she is actually envious of her sister. This just floors Noah, who cannot believe what she is hearing. Her little sister stomps her foot, insisting Noah's got it all wrong. Muen then launches into a speech about how perfect her big sister is, smart, capable, always winning. In fact, she wants to grow up to be just like her, which is a total gut punch for Noah. Noah gets all flustered, trying to downplay the whole thing. So Muen just asks what she wants to be when she grows up. Looking over at her parents, Noah says she will be whatever they expect her to be. Right on cue, Leon and Roswace return with drinks for their very happy kids. Later that night, the sky explodes with a massive fireworks display. These girls are completely mesmerized, watching in total awe. Leon and Roswace agree the trip was worth it as the kids spy on them from below. Clutching the tiny bear she gave him, Leon vows to capture every happy moment. But then a sudden, horrifying thought hits him. Roswace pops up out of nowhere, demanding to see the camera right now. Asterisk. Our boy's internal panic spikes. He tried to get the photos developed and failed, so the evidence is still there. He desperately tries to think of a plan, clutching the bear for dear life, and gets an idea. Leon whips out some candy, offering it as a distraction, a truly masterful gambit. He internally groans as she expects him to feed it to her. The guy has no choice but to play along. He goes to feed her the candy, getting way too close for comfort, and her eyes go wide as the distraction tactic lands perfectly. She immediately scoots away, totally flustered, while he just smirks that she asked for it. A thought then hits Roswace. He has been behind the camera all day. So she grabs the death trap camera, suggesting they take a photo together. Leon has no choice but to play along with her for the kid's excuse. And as they pose, he roasts her for using a peace sign at her age, which of course means they both do it for the final perfect shot. Later that evening, the family breaks out some sparklers, and Muen is having the absolute time of her life with her mom. Leon holds a sleepy Muen, just happy to see everyone having fun, but the little one is completely wiped out from the day's excitement. She explains she stayed back so her mom and sister could have some rare time together, which hits Leon right in the feels. His daughter is so thoughtful. Muen just says she does not get the grown-up stuff, she just wants everyone to be happy, and this is enough to make our boy shed a tear. He offers to take her to her mom, but it is too late. She is already fast asleep, confirmed by a massive yawn that says the fun is officially over. Just then, Roswace and Noah quietly approach, seeing Muen is out cold. Leon holds her close and the whole family decides to call it a night. Roswace notices Noah is looking a little left out after all that, so she sweetly offers to carry her big sister too, which completely catches Noah off guard. But she blushes and happily agrees to the offer. With both kids in their arms, the day seems to end perfectly, or so the story wants you to think. Because a sudden flash of memory reminds us this whole trip is a ticking time bomb. After the kids say goodnight and head to their room, the real fun begins. Leon immediately faceplants onto the bed, thinking he is finally safe, until Roswace drops the million-dollar question and our boy's soul leaves his body. He makes a panicked escape, claiming he needs a hot spring bath, a truly classic move. Down at the spring, the water looks so inviting and safe. And for a moment, Leon actually gets to relax, feeling like he has dodged a bullet. His mind is already plotting how to survive the next 6 nights alone. When his personal nightmare appears right in front of him, privacy is not a thing here. He completely freaks out while she just calmly asks why he is acting so guilty. She then explains the fireworks finale is starting and asks for the one thing he cannot give her, the camera. Leon's face just screams, "I have made a terrible mistake." And she spots it right away, realizing he brought the death trap with him. Without a second thought, she reaches for the evidence locker itself, and his internal monologue confirms it. He'd rather die than let her see those photos. Leon's brain hits the emergency brake as she goes for the camera, so he blurts out the only thing he can think of, "Let us bathe together." Roswace just freezes, completely floored by the sudden offer. And he tries to play it off, repeating the line like it is a totally normal suggestion. But she calls his bluff immediately, saying she brought a sexy swimsuit just for this, forcing our boy to dig his own grave, claiming a true dragon slayer can resist anything. With a final "you'd better remember that," she heads off to change, leaving Leon to immediately start coping, telling himself what could possibly go wrong. His determined chibai self is ready to endure any trial to protect those photos, so he even starts reciting the 3 shames of the dragon slayer to some rubber ducks. A sound from the doorway confirms it. She is back, and she makes her grand entrance, revealing her much-hyped swimsuit. which turns out to be a surprisingly conservative little number. Leon is so disappointed his soul just deflates on the spot. And he immediately starts roasting her, asking if this is her definition of sexy. Her expression makes it very clear she is not enjoying the critique, but she explains her sister gave it to her, so he just roasts her sister's taste instead. This leads to a whole lot of steam and a profoundly awkward silence. While Leon's just secretly relieved her swimsuit is conservative enough to handle, Rosswace is not letting him off, daring him to activate his dragon pattern and look her in the eye. Leon tries to play it cool, asking what there is to be afraid of, famous last words. He turns around and immediately loses his composure, pointing at her swimsuit, which of course is a gift from her sister that dissolves in water. Rosswace panics for a split second, realizing she has been completely set up. But then a predatory look crosses her face. She is going on the offensive. Leaning in, she asks surprise, turning her wardrobe malfunction into a weapon. Our boy is a blushing mess, trying to call her out for being indecent. While she gets right up in his face, mocking the mighty dragon slayer for being scared. She asks if he is really afraid of her little swimsuit. Yeah, that is the problem. Leon's internal alarm bells are screaming. He knows he's being led into a trap. Standing up, Rosswace boasts about her perfect self-control, issuing a direct challenge. And with a confident smirk, Leon accepts her little game. He has seen this all before, knowing her routines by heart from past failures. This story then breaks down her classic 3-step routine, starting with provocation. Step 2 is flirt, where she tells him to just drop his pride and submit. And step 3 is dump responsibility, making it all his fault, a true artist at work. Realizing she has already started step 1, Leon decides to flip the script on her. So he fires back that he is not afraid, daring her to reveal her dragon pattern first. This raises the stakes immensely. The pattern only lights up when one longs for the other. She just stares him down, repeating her claim of perfect control and daring him to try. Leon throws down the gauntlet, asking if she dares to accept his challenge. She immediately ups the ante, asking what happens if he is the one who loses. Rosswace lays out her terms. If he wins, he gets another week of vacation. He agrees instantly, thinking she has fallen right into his trap, a classic overconfidence move. But the fireworks start and she suggests a brief ceasefire to enjoy the show. Pointing to the sky, she claims one of the explosions looks like her dragon pattern. Leon's entire strategy is to just not look at her, hoping ignorance is bliss. Her next move is to start singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, which is unexpected. She explains the dragon pattern is like little stars trying to connect the dots for him. When she asks for a review of her performance, he is brutally honest. It is terrible. Suddenly, she fakes a gasp, shouting that her dragon pattern is glowing, and our boy falls for it completely, complete with a massive comedy nosebleed. Realizing he has been played, he calls her a liar, but she just laughs it off. Leon knows her seduction routine has officially kicked off. So he decides it is time to launch a counterattack of his own, grabbing her tail right out of the water, which totally catches her off guard. Her smug expression immediately vanishes, replaced by pure shock. He cheekily explains that if he cannot hold her hand, her tail is fair game. She is absolutely not having it, demanding he let go of her tail, as Leon's surprise gambit completely flips the script on her. Leon's big brain move is to go for the tail, her ultimate weak point. And yup, that gets an immediate flustered reaction from Rosswace. Realizing he is trying to seize control, she decides to fight fire with fire. So she switches gears, innocently asking him to hold her hand instead. Our boy is completely thrown, wondering why his heart is pounding over something so simple. This simple hand-holding is apparently a fundamental part of her attack plan, and just like that, he is caught in her trap all over again. His chibi form confirms it. He has absolutely zero defense against this. She moves in for the kill, whispering for him to just give up and let the pattern glow, but he pulls away, vowing he will not be charmed by her tricks, only to pull her into a hug, admitting this whole thing is torture as his own pattern lights up. He calls her out, saying she is barely holding it together herself. This tension finally breaks as they lean in for a kiss. And the fireworks finale provides the perfect backdrop for his complete and utter defeat. This next morning, Muen is at the door with the most chaotic wake-up call ever. Noah joins her, wondering why her parents are still sleeping in. His kids then start debating whose turn it is to be weak based on the dragon pattern, while Muen just wants to know if they need to bribe their dad with steak to get him to show up. Deciding food is more important, they run off to the dining hall together. Meanwhile, Leon and Rosswace are just sleeping soundly, completely oblivious to the chaos outside. Leon's eyes snap open as his brain slowly reboots from last night, and he sits up with a massive case of emotional hangover. His mind flashes back to the aftermath. Yup, they both lost the challenge. In the heat of the moment, he admits he actually kissed Rosswace, and our boy is just now processing that it was their first real one. Across the bed, Rosswace is also awake, replaying the moment on her lips. Leon's chibi self is just absolutely mortified by his own lack of control. Getting dressed, he is already regretting ever suggesting that ridiculous challenge, while Rosswace just fakes sleep to avoid the morning after awkwardness. Her own mind is racing, wondering why he touched her lips again just now, which sends her spiraling about finally getting her first kiss too. Her chibi form immediately goes into denial mode, wrapping up like a burrito of shame. She decides to just blame the whole thing on the dragon mark. Problem solved. Later that day, the family hits the water park, hoping to wash away the tension. Noah is armed and dangerous, ready to start a water war, and her first target is, predictably, her older sister Muen. Muin gets a face full of Noah's signature splash attack, leaving the kids to have a blast while the parents sit awkwardly in the background. When Roswace asks why he is not playing, Leon gives a lame excuse about the hot spring. This mere mention of last night makes her completely short-circuit and change the subject. Their awkward silence is broken by another couple asking if they are the parents, who introduce themselves as Yuna and Zay, asking to sit down for a chat. Roswace immediately plays along, introducing Leon as her husband, much to his shock, and the other couple explains they are newlyweds avoiding a dragon dispute on their honeymoon. This news immediately puts Roswace on high alert about Constantine's movements, but she plays it cool as Yuna gushes about how they seem like a happy, long-married couple. Leon's just internally screaming about how they just had their first kiss last night. While the woman envies their two lovely children playing in the pool, she even asks for parenting advice since they are considering having kids themselves, forcing a flustered Roswace to blurt out that she did not think and just agreed to it. Leon's chibai self is secretly impressed by her masterful, if terrible, storytelling, so our boy smoothly steps in, advising them to just let things happen naturally. Zay then asks for tips on resolving quarrels, admitting his wife can be a bit dominant, but Leon just smirks, saying he cannot possibly answer that one. His chibai self then starts roasting Roswace, calling her secretly cute and coquettish, so she gives him a vicious pinch while pretending to be embarrassed by his praise. This other guy seems to be taking all this in, looking very thoughtful. Leon continues his speech, saying every strong woman has a soft side, and that a man's job is to stand up and protect her no matter what. He finishes with a wink and a thumbs up. What a responsible guy. With the vacation officially over, it is back to business at the Silver Dragon Castle. Roswace immediately gets an update from Shirley about locating the tigers, who reports finding their secret hideout on the Empire's edge, a place only accessible by air. This whole setup immediately raises Roswace's suspicions about these mysterious humans. Shirley then drops a bomb. The man called Tiger is on another level, strong enough to kill her instantly. And since Shirley's no pushover, that makes this new guy a terrifyingly serious problem. Hearing such a high evaluation, Roswace realizes Leon's master must be no simple man. This real shocker is that Shirley was discovered, but they let her go with a message for the queen. A message that is just 3 simple words: he wants to see you. Deciding she has to go, Roswace agrees to the meeting and takes to the skies. Their flight leads them to a remote, moonlit waterfall hours later, where Shirley points out the meeting spot, explaining Roswace has to go in alone. Roswace gives her the 1-hour rule. If she is not back, it is go time. Stepping through the waterfall in a shimmering barrier, she sees someone waiting with tea. Her eyes widen in recognition. It is none other than Leon's master. And there he is, calmly pouring tea like he has been expecting her all along. He invites her to take a seat while she reflects on how Leon was her toughest opponent yet. This pressure coming off this guy is just like Leon's. No, it is even stronger. Her guard is way up as he reveals he's been waiting 2 years for this exact meeting, only to ask a surprisingly simple question: Leon, is he okay? Her first word to him is a confirmation: Leon is still alive. His master explains Leon was a prisoner of war, but he is just relieved the kid made it through. Apparently a high price was paid to locate him, and now they have a use for her. His request is chillingly simple: keep Leon from returning to the Empire for 1 more year. Roswace is immediately suspicious, asking why he'd leave his own student in enemy hands. This master then drops the political bombshell from 2 years ago after the Dragon Slayer's defeat. To cover their failure, the Empire needed a scapegoat and just invented a traitor. And the perfect fall guy was the war hero who conveniently vanished, our boy Leon. Basically, if he goes home now, he is a dead man, making her castle the only safe place. Understanding the gravity of it all, Roswace agrees to help, but with a condition of her own. She wants all the intel on him, especially his most embarrassing childhood secrets. A request that Leon's master finds, let us just say unconventional. With a thud, he produces the requested blackmail material, handing over a giant chest filled with every love letter Leon ever received in school. He explains they were for his future wife, and a helpful arrow points out that is her job now. Her chibai form is absolutely losing it, ready to unleash this new power. This master is just baffled, wondering if this is some new, bizarre form of torture. Rummaging through the chest, she pulls out a truly spectacular piece of art. He explains that was 6-year-old Leon's dream girl, tall, cold, and with silver hair. And the old man's brain finally connects the dots, realizing he is describing the woman right in front of him. This master's still in denial, but Roswace is connecting the dots. She is the one in the drawing. She immediately asks for more dirt, but he tries to play the loyal master card. So Roswace pulls out her own blackmail, offering him a recent photo of Leon. He caves in a second, luring her with a promise to see Leon's first love. Our girl is completely floored by this revelation. Leon had a first love, and then the master brings out a very unimpressed-looking donkey. Roswace's brain just short-circuits. His greatest love was a donkey. This old man just cracks up, confirming this absolute nonsense is true. Apparently, little Leon spent his childhood chasing this one specific donkey he could never tame. This master even adds that Leon got his nose permanently dented from a kick by said donkey. For some reason, hearing all this makes Roswace incredibly relieved, but that relief quickly hardens into a look of pure competitive focus. She then has an intense stare-down with the donkey, her one true rival. With her mission accomplished, she decides it is time to head back. But first, she asks for some kind of proof that he is actually alive. He just tosses her a letter telling her to give it to Leon. As she leaves, the master says this will probably be their only meeting. Roswace, however, has other plans. She has decided 1 year is not enough, so she unleashes a massive blast of ice magic, freezing the entire waterfall solid, leaving the master totally baffled by her power and her cryptic words. Just as the master is left alone, he is startled by a sound from behind, and his eyes go wide with utter shock, because a woman has appeared in the cave entrance calling out Leon's name. This is Charlotte, Tiger's wife, and her first question is whether Leon is okay. He just sighs, admitting good, does not even begin to cover how well the kid is doing. Showing her the photo of Leon's new family, yup, our boy is living the life. Seeing this, Tiger grabs his weapon, asking if she has finally made up her mind. Because it is time to go clear Leon's name and restore his reputation as a hero. He even calls his weapon a gift for his new granddaughters. This old man is a softie. Meanwhile, back at the Silver Dragon Castle under the moonlight, Leon cannot shake the feeling that Roswace has been acting strange since her 2-day disappearance. Shirley's official story was business, which is not suspicious in the slightest. Then Roswace came back and immediately offered to cook dinner, setting off every alarm bell in his head. And here she comes now, carrying dinner with a deeply unsettling aura. That is the smile of a woman who just acquired world-class blackmail material. This kids, of course, get a delicious-looking steak dinner. But Leon is served a literal mountain of his most hated food, carrots. She cheerfully calls it a vegetable salad with a terrifyingly sweet smile. And as he absolutely loses it, she corrects him. It is a * carrot salad, thank you very much. Noah then puts him on the spot, asking if Daddy does not like carrots, trapping him completely. Roswace uses his own balanced diet lecture against him, and the kids totally back her up. His pride wounded, a Chibai Leon angrily vows to eat the entire plate. Leon instantly realizes she has targeted his greatest weakness, and she is enjoying every second of it. Suddenly, a brilliant idea seems to strike Roswace, and she drops the bomb that she is sleeping in his room tonight, leaving him absolutely stunned. True to her word, she shows up at his door later that night looking ready to go. Our boy tries his best to look casual, hiding behind a book like a total pro. She asks if he is excited, but he is trying desperately to deny everything. Getting comfortable on the bed, she gives him a very clear "come here" look. That dragon tail wag just seals the deal. The invitation is crystal clear. Rising to the occasion, Leon asks if she got lonely during her 2-day absence. Her only instruction is a simple: turn off the lights, and she is not smiling anymore. A hand reaches for the lamp and the room plunges into darkness. And there they are, lying side by side in bed, staring at the ceiling. 30 agonizing minutes later, absolutely nothing has happened. Our guy is just completely baffled, wondering what the game plan is here. Peeking over, he whispers to himself, questioning if she is really just sleeping. Just then, her eye snaps open as she asks what exactly he was expecting to happen. After his flustered denial, she just snuggles up against him to get some sleep. Leon, however, decides to play the long game, planning his revenge for when she is at her most smug. This moon shines bright over the castle. A clock ticks past 2 a.m. late into the night. Roswace lies awake, clutching the clock deep in thought. She remembers Leon's master's advice about sleep-talking secrets. A mischievous grin spreads, time for a simple test. Leaning over, she asks sleeping Leon his daughter's name. He mumbles Muin, proving the master's intel correct. Next, she probes his ideal type. He describes her exactly. Roswace then asks why he rejected similar girls in school. Chibai Roswace fumes, calling him a hesitant bastard. Curious, she asks what else he likes, getting a surprising list. She teases him about classmates in bunny outfits, which he rejects. Roswace presses, asking who he does want to see as a bunny girl. Leon sleepily whispers her name, Roswace. Her eyes widen in absolute shock at the confession. A Chibai Roswace is completely flustered, mind blown. Standing over him, she excitedly demands to know why. Our boy starts to answer, but then falls back asleep. Roswace stares, utterly baffled he fell asleep mid-confession. She vows revenge, planning embarrassing sleepwalking antics next time. This next afternoon, Muin plays outside the castle while her parents have a little chat. Leon asks when she left his room, and she casually says it was after he fell asleep. With a devilish grin, she asks if he was disappointed she did not stick around. Our boy tries to play it cool, insisting she can sleep wherever she wants, a masterclass in deflection. Then she drops the bomb that she heard him sleep-talking, and Leon absolutely panics. She quotes him, saying he regrets turning down a girl who confessed to him back in the day. He laughs it off as total nonsense, claiming he was too busy being a patriot for romance. Roswace keeps teasing that his dreams are his true feelings, but he is desperately trying to deny it. And their argument is overheard by a very curious Muin picking flowers nearby. She then bolts off toward her sister, with Leon yelling for her to be careful. This kid's return a moment later, and Noah is holding something. Leon just points, asking what in the world that club-looking thing is for. Apparently it is for her homework, a perfectly normal explanation, I am sure. This assignment is an essay contest about family bonds. Noah wants to write about their family's unique strength to stand out from the crowd. Muin then whispers the big secret idea into her sister's ear, and that unique strength is their parents' love, a reveal that completely short-circuits Leon and Roswace. Their Chibai forms are just baffled, questioning if the kids are talking about the right people. So now they need help gathering inspiration for this epic love story. Oh, this is gonna be good. Leon, ever the doting dad, agrees immediately, asking exactly how they are supposed to help. Noah's big idea for their essay is for her parents to go on a date, leaving them both speechless. This next day, they are forced into matching outfits courtesy of their meddling kids. Leon awkwardly tries to start their date, and Roswace just goes along with it. He wonders if Noah even understands what a date is, but Roswace knows she is way too smart for her age. When asked, she admits her first 2 centuries were spent on work and study, no time for romance. Leon's story is pretty much the same: school, work, and then suddenly raising 2 kids. So to be clear, we have 2 complete novices faking a perfect date for a school assignment. But Roswace is brimming with confidence, claiming she crammed for this all night. Leon immediately calls her out. Her research is just a stack of cheesy romance novels. Then he sheepishly admits he also made a list of date ideas he found in a romance novel. His checklist is full of cliches, and he is determined to keep it wholesome for the kids, ignoring that last item. United by their terrible source material, they vow to give Noah the best essay inspiration ever. First up on the date montage is the zoo, with their daughters spying from the bushes like tiny investigators. After that, they hit the shops for some new clothes, still being tailed by their kids. At the opera, the girls are sitting right behind them, making sure the love story is progressing. Suddenly, a performer on stage singles them out from the audience, putting them on the spot. And just like that, Leon is on one knee in a staged proposal, all part of the show. As he slips a ring on her finger, the kids are absolutely ecstatic in the background. Their date continues, leading them to a mysterious fortune teller's tent. Inside, a masked woman immediately pegs Roswace as a Scorpio, catching her off guard. Roswace is floored. The fortune teller guessed her birthday, demanding to know how. This woman gives a classic Scorpio read, cold on the surface but burning with passion inside. Leon scoffs that it is just cheap tricks, but Roswace is totally eating up this all-or-nothing analysis. Next, she pegs Leon as a Leo, and he just awkwardly confirms it. Her big diagnosis is that their signs clash horribly, a total astrological disaster. This news sends a Chibai Leon into a complete and utter panic, and just like that, he is a true believer, blaming all their fights on the stars. This fortune teller's advice is to show his wife more affection to make her feel secure. Just the thought of showing affection to Roswace has them both blushing and flustered. Suddenly, the room feels incredibly hot, and neither of them can handle the tension. Changing tactics, the fortune teller offers to read their future in her crystal ball. Leon is told to place his hands on the glowing orb, and he hesitantly complies. As his hands touch the crystal, it flares with a brilliant purple light. She sees a vision of iron railings and weeds. Uh-oh, that does not sound good. Her grand prediction is that he has been in jail, and Roswace absolutely loses it, laughing. For the low price of 100 gold coins, she can help him break out of this prison. Leon's not buying it, but Roswace cheekily offers to provide financial support for the jailbreak. Fed up with the scam, he gets up to leave, dragging Roswace with him. Desperate, the fortune teller throws out one last prediction: they will have children together. She swears she is not kidding, they will have a ton of kids, which finally makes them stop and listen. Roswace cheekily asks why he stopped playing along with the fortune teller. He is still stuck on the having kids prediction, and she agrees it is totally impossible. But she admits that for all the weirdness, she actually had a really good time today. Getting close, she whispers that it felt like they were on a real date. Our boy, flustered beyond belief, just mumbles that he is glad she enjoyed it, a master of romance. Meanwhile, the Dragon Squad is still on their tail, heading to the final date spot. Their destination is a picturesque beach at sunset. And here they are, ready for the grand finale of their fake date. Leon tries to make a smooth comment about the romantic atmosphere, but the beach is crawling with other couples, making things a little too cheesy. He laughs it off, deciding they should find a less crowded area, so they take a quiet walk along the shore as the sun goes down. Leon gets completely lost staring at her, noticing how the light hits her hair, and she immediately catches him in the act. She calls him out, and he turns bright red, totally busted. His genius excuse is that he was just looking at the sun, not her. She goes right back to teasing him about his sleep talking, and he insists she is the only one. Suddenly, a thought strikes Leon like a bolt of lightning. He realizes the reason she keeps bringing up other women: she is jealous. Her denial is so loud and frantic that he just slaps a hand over her mouth. She leans in close, threatening to spill all his explosive sleep-talking secrets. Then she dashes off, teasing him to guess what else he said. From the bushes, their daughters are just thrilled to see their mom smiling. Noah tells the maid it is not a pity she forgot her camera, because her mom taught her that fleeting moments are the most beautiful, and Roswace's genuine joy has her kids totally mesmerized. Back on the shore, she splashes him as they playfully chase each other. These two are just having a blast goofing around in the water, until she suddenly loses her footing and lets out a panicked scream. Leon reacts instantly, yelling for her to be careful as he lunges forward. He catches her just in time, his hands wrapped around her waist, and for a split second they are both just frozen, blushing like crazy. Roswace then takes charge, pulling his face toward hers, and she just goes for it, planting a kiss right on him. This maid immediately covers the kid's eyes. This part is not on the homework assignment. After that, they are just standing there, a little stunned by what just happened. Roswace says a perfect story needs a perfect ending, so she holds out her hand, daring the Leo to hold hands with the incompatible Scorpio. Our boy just smirks, all confidence now, and he takes her hand, declaring there is nothing to be afraid of. And so they walk off into the sunset hand in hand, a perfect end to their totally fake date. Thanks to their efforts, Noah's essay wins an award, with her calling them a loving yet strange couple, understatement of the century. Later that night, back in the castle, a light is on in one of the rooms. Inside, Leon is frantically searching for something under his bed. He pops up, looking like a man with a very important, very secret mission. Turns out he is hiding a secret stash of bunny girl photos he printed, a true connoisseur. Now he is just trying to find the perfect hiding spot for the last one, but a pair of very familiar, very elegant shoes steps into his room. Leon looks up completely busted. In a last-ditch effort, he shoves the evidence under his mattress. As Rosswace enters, he tries to play it cool, asking if she is staying the night again. She just smirks, asking why that would be a problem. Flustered, he just tells her to do whatever she wants, a master of deflection. But in his head, he is convinced he holds the ultimate trump card now. Then she sits down and casually asks if he likes bunny girls. Our boy absolutely panics, screaming about how she could possibly know his secret. She reveals he was sleep-talking again, this time about his classmates in bunny outfits, the ultimate betrayal. He denies it, then accidentally blurts out that if he wanted to see one, he'd just ask her asterisk to wear it. This Freudian slip leaves her completely stunned and blushing. But her shock quickly turns into a devilish grin. Oh, she's not letting this go. Rossway smirks, telling him to dream on. She will never wear a bunny outfit for him. But in his head, Leon is sure he has the upper hand since she does not know about his photos. Trying to act tough, he asks what she'd do if he actually did get her to wear one. She just scoffs, warning him that his little magic tricks are completely useless against her. Then she throws down the ultimate challenge. If he succeeds, she will do whatever he wants. Our boy is stunned, asking if she is actually serious about this bet. With a smug look, she warns the Dragon Slayer to think carefully about what happens if he fails. Suddenly, Leon stands up, leaving her completely baffled by his sudden move. He walks over to a drawer, declaring that he does not need any cheap tricks, because with a sly grin, he reveals the work is already done, and he pulls out his masterpiece, a photo of her in a bunny girl outfit. Rosswace is so shocked she literally has no face as he gloats about his opportunity. A tiny Leon then proudly presents his entire collection of art. And in a final power move, he incinerates the evidence with purple flames. She looms over him, demanding to know when these were taken, while he sweats nervously. His genius defense is reminding her of the time she was unconscious from a curse. Yikes, dude. Her face goes full demon mode as she asks if he is threatening her. Grabbing his collar, she repeats the question, and yeah, she is not happy. Leon immediately panics, trying to flip it around by quoting her promise back at her. With her dragon tail out, she sits down and asks what he wants her to do. The bet is on. Leon twists the knife, demanding she wear the bunny outfit for him right now. Rosswace just gives him a death stare, asking what if she does not agree. His next threat is showing the photos to her sister, a family heirloom of humiliation. Panicked, she asks how many backups he has, and his answer just keeps getting worse. He gets real close, telling her to be a good girl and keep her secret safe. Utterly defeated, she turns away from him in a huff. She storms off to get ready, and he gives her a 7 p.m. deadline for the results. Our boy is absolutely basking in this power trip, thinking it is his turn to call the shots. At 7 p.m. sharp, he is waiting outside her door, ready to collect on his bet. He calls out to see if she is ready, and a cloaked Rosswace appears in the doorway. She is hiding under a blanket, but he notes the lack of ears, deciding to be lenient. Rosswace agrees to his terms, but only if he destroys the backup photos later. His response is a smug that depends on my mood as he reaches for the blanket, and he yanks it away, ignoring her final, desperate threat. This big reveal, she is actually wearing it, and she looks incredible. Leon is just completely stunned, his brain short-circuiting at the sight. In his head, he is geeking out over seeing the most annoying creature in his favorite outfit. She is getting flustered under his stare, asking if he has had his fill. But he just grins, reminding her they still have things to do. Then he leans in, ready to cash in the rest of that bet. She asks what else he wants, clearly bracing for the worst. And our boy goes full power trip, telling Melksen that class is now in session. Behind closed doors, he announces it is time for her homework. Rosswace realizes this is payback for that lesson she gave him, and she is absolutely fuming. His brilliant idea is to make her recite the Dragon Slayer's creed on repeat. She tries to weasel out of it, asking if maybe she is a dragon instead. Nice try. Leon just shuts her down, telling her to do exactly as the teacher says. Utterly defeated, she just meekly agrees. Yes, teacher, so he starts the lesson, forcing her to recite a line about being loyal to the Empire. He even gives her a little tap with his prop to get her started, which earns him a startled yelp from her. She immediately complains, asking why he hit her when she did it right, but he just smirks, telling her it was too quiet and to say it louder. This look on her face could curdle milk. She is so done with this. Forced to comply, she shouts out the humiliating creed again. Leon is just loving every second of this, laughing his head off. Meanwhile, she is internally plotting his demise, promising tenfold revenge. After some time passes, he congratulates her on learning the lesson so well. She points to the clock, asking if class is over, and he agrees it is about time. But then he starts unbuckling his belt, and she just stares, completely confused. Leon, with a smug grin, announces it is time for cultural appreciation class. His first lesson involves absorbing foreign cultures, a truly terrible way to phrase this. Rosswace is just trying to figure out what kind of garbage he is talking about. He leans in, pointing out that her dragon mark is glowing, as if that is his doing. But she just gets this look in her eyes like she is about to flip the script on him, and she does, grabbing his hand and pulling it toward her face. Our boy is just blushing, thinking she is flirting with the teacher, completely misreading the room. Then she just kisses him, her inner monologue revealing she has gotten used to this. In fact, she might actually be starting to like it, which was definitely not on his syllabus. Her dragon mark flares up, reacting to the sudden shift in mood. From outside the window, the two of them are locked in an embrace. But Leon breaks it off, telling her to turn around. Class is not over yet. He spins her around before she can even protest, and he demands she recite the humiliating dragon slayer creed he taught her. Her face is a perfect portrait of "you cannot be serious right now." Leon just confirms it with a single word, enjoying this way too much. So she is forced to mumble about being loyal to the Empire and ashamed of her own clan. He leans in close to whisper the next part of the lesson. Then he grabs her tail, earning a surprised yelp from her. Yeah, she is absolutely not having a good time with this part of the homework. She finally snaps, refusing to memorize another line and daring him to punish her. Leon just gives her that evil grin, reminding Melk that she agreed to this. His twisted cultural lesson drags on into the night. What a scholar. This clock just keeps ticking away the hours of this petty revenge tour. Finally, a completely drained Rosswace is left to collapse in bed. Leon, looking way too proud of himself, declares class is officially dismissed. He even tells her to get some rest before heading out. The absolute nerve. But she is just seething, vowing he is dead the second she finds those photos. This next morning, we see Leon outside with a little girl. While Rosswace is tearing her entire room apart looking for the blackmail material, she is convinced finding those photos is the only way to regain control. Suddenly, a sound at the door makes her freeze mid-search. This doorknob turns and the door creaks open. It is just Leon walking down the hall with his daughter, Muin. This little girl just looks up at him, totally unaware of the drama next door. But then Leon stops, noticing her door is ajar when he is sure he closed it. He steps inside, scanning the room, seeing everything seems normal, until he catches a faint, familiar fragrance in the air. A smug smile spreads across his face. He knows she was just in here searching, so he invents a quick excuse about a lost coat to go investigate the little schemer. Rosswace is caught red-handed searching his room. Her sister tells her to bail before he gets back, but it is way too late, because Leon is standing right there with the smuggest gotcha face of all time. He lets out a triumphant "ah" as he closes the trap. She is absolutely fuming, realizing he played her perfectly. Now he is outside her bathroom door, taunting her about being eager for another lesson. His next brilliant idea is threatening to broadcast her bunny girl's secret to everyone. She screams at him to get lost while he is doing a whole little bunny routine. Then comes the final threat: open up or her sister gets the photos. This door opens to a ghostly, defeated Rosswace. He is won again. Leon just praises Melk for being so cooperative. What a guy cornered. She asks what he wants now, bracing for the worst. And then she locks the door behind them, sealing her own fate. Suddenly, the shower turns on. This is not a normal punishment. He has got her pinned under the water, both of them still fully clothed. With a grin, he tells her exactly what he has in mind. His plan is to rectify the law, and she looks ready to commit actual murder. From outside the glass, we see them locked in this bizarre, drenched standoff. This bathroom door slams shut, leaving the lesson to our imagination, and the clock just keeps on ticking away the hours of his petty revenge. Waking up next to him, Rosswace is already fuming. In bed, she is already plotting against the sleeping scoundrel. She sees an opportunity. The strongest dragon slayer is completely out cold. Our boy just keeps on sleeping, totally oblivious to her scheming. His lack of response just annoys her more, so she decides on a new plan. A new idea sparks time for a more direct approach. She tries to use her dragon charm to command him in his sleep. Leon actually stirs, groaning as if it is working, and he gets up. She thinks her little mind control trick actually worked. He starts walking like a zombie, leading her down a long hallway. Rosswace is already gloating, thinking she has won this round for sure. Their little field trip takes them to the back mountain of the castle. She is annoyed, realizing he has hidden the photos somewhere out here in the wilderness. But then she starts to notice something familiar about the route. It hits her. This is the exact same path he took her on before. Suddenly, Leon just stops in his tracks. She asks if they are there, and he turns around to face her. Oh, that is not the face of a mind-controlled man, not at all. This realization dawns on her. He was faking it the entire time. Furious, she tells him to drop the act, completely caught in his trap. Leon just smirks, revealing her little charm spell was a total bust. Rosswace is absolutely floored, wondering if he's just a natural sleepwalker. He then taunts Melk about which part of their outdoor class was her favorite. And she just loses it, screaming that she hates this place most of all. A horrible realization dawns on her as he gets closer, because our boy decides their last class is happening right here, right now. Her furious scream echoes through the forest, another lesson complete. Sometime later, she slams her hand on a book still seething. This is her little black book detailing 2 straight weeks of his petty revenge, but she has finally had enough and decides it is time to fight back. She pulls out a secret weapon, a letter she'd been saving to manipulate him. Just then, a knock at the door interrupts her scheming. In walks Leon, chipper as ever, asking what Her Majesty needs, so she dangles a letter in front of him mentioning his long-lost master. That one word gets his full, undivided attention. He lunges across the desk for it, but she is way too quick. With a smug grin, she proposes a trade, the letter for the backup photos. Leon's not buying it, asking how he knows it is not just a blank piece of paper. So she summons some magic fire, threatening to burn his only lead to ashes, and he immediately panics, yelling for her to wait, hook, line, and sinker. Leon's inner monologue reveals his ace. He has got way more photos than she knows. But he puts on a great show, slamming the desk in fake defeat. He agrees to go get them, and she just smirks, thinking she has got him cornered. A little while later, he returns with a stack of the supposed backup photos. Leon just slaps them on the desk, telling her to take the cursed things. This exchange is made the blackmail material for his master's letter. Rossways holds the photos, knowing her reputation is finally safe again. Then she finds a surprisingly cute group photo in the mix. With the deal done, they both examine their hard-won prizes. She decides to keep one as a souvenir, burning the rest in a blaze of glory. Meanwhile, Leon is absolutely losing it over what the letter says. Turns out his master's grand message is just do not worry about the donkey, what a troll. He starts ranting about his master's cryptic nonsense while she just tries not to laugh. But then a horrible thought hits him. What if it is a coded warning? Rossways knows his master told him to stay away and she kinda wants him to stick around. So she twists the knife, saying his master probably thinks he is too weak to come back. Leon immediately gets defensive, bragging about being the #1 dragon slayer. She just roasts him, saying he is the #1 at getting captured, not fighting. Feeling her power return, she challenges him to another match, confident she will win. With a final smug grin, she tells him to go practice first. Oh, how the tables have turned. Leon is absolutely livid, vowing she is going to regret that little challenge. A few months pass peacefully at the Grand Castle. He is physically recovered, but his magic is still completely drained, which is a huge problem since his lightning is key to fighting dragons. Without it, he knows he's got no shot against a dragon king like her. He tries to summon his power only to get a few pathetic sparks. Muin catches him, asking what he is doing with his sparkly hand. He plays it cool, telling her it is almost time for her own magic to awaken, and now she is just staring at him, full of adorable, curious questions. We get a quick magic lesson on how everyone awakens a core elemental power. You can learn other types, but your innate one is always the strongest. A rare few are even born as dual elemental prodigies. Back in the present, Leon asks Rossways for a favor, access to her private library. His cover story is wanting to study up for Muin's awakening, playing the doting dad card. Rossways gives him a look that could curdle milk, clearly not buying it. But surprisingly, she just agrees and pulls out a key from her desk. She tosses it over, telling him to go nuts. Our boy is shocked it was that easy, since his real goal is finding a cure for his mana depletion. Just as he is about to leave, a sudden thought stops him in his tracks. She immediately calls him out, asking if he is already chickening out. He asks her what element she awakened first, trying to sound casual. She says fire, like most dragons, then asks about his lightning element. Leon just plays it cool, claiming he was only curious. But his real question is what a human-dragon hybrid like Muin would get. So he pivots, asking about her other daughter, Noah, and her element. Rossways hesitates for a split second, almost saying light. Then she blurts out that Noah's element was lightning, just like his. Our boy immediately gets smug, saying daughters take after their fathers. He bets Muin will awaken lightning, but she insists it'll be fire. And now they are having a full-on my element is better parent fight. She just storms off in a huff, leaving him to his little victory. Later, Leon enters her ridiculously fancy private library. Muin is with him, absolutely thrilled by all the books. He tells her she has to study hard, just like her big sister did. With that, Professor Leon is ready to start the lesson. His first topic is how magic combines physical and mental strength, followed by a cool diagram of magic circuits in the body. Muin asks about mental strength, so he breaks it down for her. Using a book as a prop, he demonstrates his point, explaining how desire and action work together to create results. Muin's little brain is working overtime, asking if you can still do stuff you do not want to do. Leon explains that for complex magic, your mental state is a huge factor. He uses a cute little diagram, a happy dragon versus a grumpy one, to make his point. And she gets it instantly, recapping how mental strength boosts magic power. Our boy is so proud he just has to squish her cheeks. What a fast learner. He gives her a big thumbs up, praising her for keeping up with physical training too. Muin puffs out her chest, determined not to be outdone by her big sister. Leon's already got big plans for her to surpass all the other dragon kings for his sake, of course. With her busy with homework, he is free to start his real research. His inner monologue confirms his mana depletion is not just from exhaustion. He grabs a book on magic circuits, suspecting they might be the real issue. Looking at the endless shelves, he knows this is going to take a while. This night passes quietly at the Grand Castle. Later at dinner, Muin is absolutely stuffed, tapping out after a big meal. Her older sister Noah chides her for wanting to lie down right after eating. Noah suggests a walk, and Muin is immediately on board for some sister time. They say goodbye to Rossways, who just watches them go. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, Leon and Rossways are doing dishes. What a power couple. Suddenly, a thought seems to strike our boy out of nowhere. He turns to Rossways and asks if her birthday is coming up next week. Rossways confirms her birthday is indeed next week, looking way too pleased with herself. But her inner monologue reveals she is lying. It is actually 2 years away. She then asks if he is planning on getting her a gift, and he is just appalled by the idea. Leon goes on a whole spiel about how prisoners do not give presents to their captors, so she gets real close, suggesting he make some other kind of gesture instead. Our boy is completely lost, having no idea what she is getting at. She spells it out for him, offering a little example. He can throw her a birthday party, and Leon just cannot believe it. This guy tries to argue that as a queen, she must have plenty of party planners, but Rossways hits him with the ultimate guilt trip. He was in a coma last year and the kids missed him. His resolve crumbles, knowing he cannot disappoint his daughters. She leans in, reminding him what a model husband would do for his wife, to put it bluntly. She goes full tyrant, reminding him he is a prisoner who does what he is told. Defeated, Leon vows to throw her an unforgettable human-style birthday. She winks, adding that if she is not satisfied, there will be consequences, and the threat is crystal clear. He just grabs her hand, promising she will be impressed. It is a challenge now. Meanwhile, Professor Leon is back to teaching Muen about magic circles. This lesson ends and Muen proudly declares she understood it all. Muen's inner monologue reveals Leon's teaching style is a huge hit. She is now convinced he is the best dad ever, already planning to ask for lightning magic lessons. So Leon, desperate for gift ideas, casually asks the kids what their mom likes. Muen's hand shoots up and our boy thinks his little spy is about to come in clutch. Her big reveal is that mommy's favorite thing is daddy a whole lot. Leon just completely short-circuits, realizing his daughter thinks they are pure love warriors. Seeing his stunned silence, Muen worries she might have gotten the answer wrong. He quickly recovers, asking if there is anything else she likes, besides asterisk him. Muen gets surprisingly deep, recalling her mom's words about how beautiful things fade. Because of that, she explains, Rossways cherishes fleeting moments of beauty above all else. Fleeting moments, Leon repeats, the gears in his head finally starting to turn. And then it hits him, he has got the perfect idea for her party. With his intel gathered, he dismisses class for the day, leaving Muen to her books. This girls just watch him zoom off, figuring he found something their mom would actually like. Flash forward to the big day and Rossways is standing amid confetti, looking genuinely surprised. She licks some cake off her finger, giving a sly little "it was all right." It is party time at the castle, but she is wandering the halls with an armful of presents. She is also getting a little annoyed, wondering where the party planner himself has been all day. Her search leads her to a very specific, very closed door. She peeks inside, demanding to know what Leon is doing in her room. Inside her room, she is met with a shower of confetti, looking genuinely shocked. Leon pops out with a cake, wishing female dragon a happy birthday. What a charmer. Her first complaint is the nickname, but he just brushes it off with a smirk. Looking at the cake, she is actually curious about the human tradition of lighting candles. After a quick taste, she gives the most sundir "it is all right" in history. But before she can dig in, he stops her. It is time for the wish-making ritual. Rossways is not having it, pointing out the ridiculous number of candles on the cake. With a troll smirk, Leon explains it is 1 candle per year, just like she wanted. Her inner monologue is pure rage, knowing he is just messing with her and vowing payback. So she just grabs him, declaring he is going to help her blow them out. He tries to refuse, but she reminds him it is an honor for a prisoner and our boy knows he has been played. This two of them puff up their cheeks, ready to take on the mountain of wax. They give it their all, blowing with everything they have got, which results in a massive cloud of smoke, leaving them both coughing. She calls the custom boring, so he fires back that humans are not hundreds of years old. With the candles out, Leon tells her it is time to make her wish. She just scoffs, pretending to be completely over it. Our boy wonders what a queen who has everything could possibly wish for anyway. Closing her eyes, she clasps her hands together and makes her wish that her captive will never, ever escape, leaving Leon completely speechless. He calls her out on the petty wish, but she just smirks, saying it is her party. Leon decides arguing is pointless and just gets ready to cut the cake. He offers her the first piece, a temporary truce in their little war. But then he gets weirdly specific, wanting the slice with her name on it. Our boy takes a bite and yells about how delicious Rossways is. Zero chill, and she is absolutely not having it, threatening a full-on cake assault. Leon's survival instincts finally kick in, realizing he is in deep trouble. After things cool down, he tells her there is one last gift waiting. He just grabs her hand and pulls her toward the balcony, much to her surprise. She looks out into the darkness, wondering what he is even pointing at. With a sly grin, he just tells her to wait for it. A snap of his fingers sends a bolt of pure lightning into the night sky, which then forms a massive, crackling happy birthday message just for her. Rossways is completely speechless, the light reflecting in her wide eyes. This magic then bursts into a shower of sparks, a perfect fleeting moment. She is genuinely moved, softly telling him that this is more than enough. Leon just smiles, reminding her that fleeting things are the most meaningful, right? Totally flustered, she has to admit he has got a point. He asks if Her Majesty is satisfied, and she admits he is a surprisingly good party planner. Internally, he brags about his skills while she walks off, cursing him for actually being so thoughtful. This next morning at the castle is bright and sunny, but Rossways is starting her day with a massive yawn. Leon asks what is up, seeing her looking tired next to the leftover cake. She just brushes it off, saying she's been feeling sleepy lately. Internally, she is noticing her belly's gotten a little bigger, and she thinks the only thing that has changed is less homework with Leon. Our boy teases her for being lazy, poking the workaholic dragon queen, which earns him a full-on lecture about her 8 to 5 grind. She deserves a break. But a wave of dizziness hits her right after her rant. She nearly falls over and Leon has to catch her, asking if she is okay. He does the classic forehead check, but she insists there is no fever. It is just from standing up too fast, she claims, totally not a big deal. So Leon offers the most useless advice in history: drink more hot water. And the look she gives him could freeze hell over. She tells him to get lost, and he happily bounces out with the cake. Mission failed successfully. A few days later, he is back in the library when Muen finds him. He plays it off like he is just browsing, nothing to see here. But really, he is hiding his mana problem so no one, especially Rossways, finds out. He can already picture her smug, terrifying face if she knew he was weakened. Just then, Noah asks about Muen's homework, and Leon is impressed with her progress. Back in the library, Noah is studying with some serious focus. She tells Leon she wants to awaken the fire element to make her mom feel better. He gently pats her head, explaining that magic does not really work on demand. Then she pivots, asking him about his lightning element, and he is a little caught off guard. Muen asks if he can teach her lightning magic over the winter break. And Leon immediately panics. He is too weak to show her anything impressive. His imagination shows him trying to cast a spell and producing a sad little spark. To make it worse, Muen just pats his head, calling him cute, the ultimate insult. She then dismisses him to go ask her mom, and Leon's world shatters. Internally, he is screaming that he absolutely cannot lose his cool dad status. His eyes burst into flames. He fought for his position in this family, and he is not losing it now. Seeing his intense face, Muen thinks it is a no and offers to drop it. But Leon snaps to attention, promising he will absolutely teach her, no problem. Muen is completely thrilled, having total faith that her dad keeps his promises. She gives him a massive hug, thanking him for being the best. Our boy is left blushing, completely disarmed by the pure affection. Noah then runs off to find Muen, leaving him to his thoughts. With renewed purpose, Leon vows to get his magic back before the holidays. He has been researching for 2 weeks with zero results, wondering where he went wrong. Then a new idea hits him. What if the problem is not internal but external? Leon finally connects his power loss to that weird dragon mark on his chest. This thing glows, and he suspects it is the magical parasite he's been looking for. Turns out it is basically a magical couple's tattoo for loyalty and spice. And it gets real asterisk vibrant when they are, physically close, if you catch my drift. He figures she just gave it to him for torment, totally unaware of its power-draining side effect. So with a new theory in mind, it is time for a little experiment. Our boy goes full Super Saiyan Blue, channeling what little lightning he has left. He tracks the energy as it flows through his internal circuits toward his chest. Just as he thought, the magic vanishes, but the mark is barely sipping, meaning something else is the real thief. We get a quick lesson on how magic is supposed to be stored in the body's circuits, which confirms his suspicion. Something is intercepting his mana before it can be stored. Now he is just pissed, wondering how this internal parasite got there in the first place. But with no other symptoms, he just shrugs it off. What is the worst that could happen? Then a light bulb goes off. If he cannot store magic normally, maybe he can use the mark as a battery. It is a slow drip solution, but hey, it is better than being powerless. With a new plan and renewed hope, he is ready to get back to work. Flash forward to a beautiful day at the castle. It is Muen's awakening day. Leon starts the morning with a massive yawn, looking pretty pleased with himself. He spots Roswace and gives her a cheerful good morning. And when she asks why he is so happy, he proudly declares Muen's about to get lightning powers just like her old man. Roswace is sure Muen will get fire powers, but Leon points out their other kid got his lightning element. He is just waiting for that lightning symbol to light up so he can rub it in her face. Inside a grand hall, the awakening circle is ready and waiting for the big show. Muen waits at the entrance, absolutely buzzing with anticipation. Leon and Roswace rush in, with our boy already claiming Muen will follow his lead. She immediately runs to them, just happy to see her parents on her big day. With stars in her eyes, she asks if they will be watching her big moment. Of course, Roswace pulls her into a hug, promising they will not miss a thing. Leon gives her a quick pep talk, just relax and do what he showed her. This headmaid announces that the magic circle is officially ready to go. After one last "you got this" from her parents, Muen walks into the circle. She takes her place in the center of the glowing, intricate array. She concentrates and a golden aura immediately erupts around her. Roswace is stunned by her first try success, but Leon's just smug. Look who taught her. That golden aura then explodes into a pillar of pure roaring fire. She is ecstatic, screaming that Muen awakened the fire element while Leon's jaw hits the floor. And the gloating begins, asking why poor Leon is not happy for his daughter. What a supportive wife. Patting his shoulder, she declares this win is hers, a rare but sweet victory over him. Leon, however, just looks up with a confident smirk, simply saying, "Wrong." He points to the flames, telling her the awakening is not over and to look closer at the symbol inside. Inside the pillar of fire, blue lightning starts crackling around Muen. Roswace's eyes go wide, completely stunned by this turn of events. It is a dual awakening, both fire and lightning, a legendary combination. Leon just smirks, knowing his daughter was always destined for greatness. With this power, her future is basically limitless, a true prodigy. Muen herself is just beaming, looking incredibly proud of her new trick. She runs right over to her parents, asking if they saw how cool she was, and then she declares that now they do not have to fight anymore, problem solved. Both parents are just speechless, realizing she did all this to make them stop bickering. Roswace leans into him, totally disarmed by their daughter's motive. So Leon plays along, pulling her into a hug and assuring Muen they're super happy. This whole family heads off for a celebration dinner, with Muen already demanding steak. Later that night, the castle is lit up for the occasion, and a massive feast is waiting for them, fit for a newly awakened mage. At the table, Leon praises Muen, telling her to eat up and get strong. As a reward, she holds up 2 giant chicken legs for her hardworking parents. This first one goes straight to her dad, a champion's prize. Then she offers the second one to her mom, who thanks her sweetly. But Roswace just stares at her plate, looking completely out of it. Leon notices she has barely touched her food, wondering why the Dragon Queen has lost her appetite. Leon's confused why she is not eating, but she just blames an upset stomach. He immediately gets suspicious, asking if she is secretly on a diet, which makes her totally panic, shouting that she has only gained weight lately. Our boy then helpfully explains that dieting shrinks your assets, earning a death glare, so he slides a plate of oysters in front of her, a classic solution for everything. While she glares at him, Muen is just thrilled about the tasty snack, but Roswace gets a wicked grin, saying they are good for a man's vitality. She then grabs him, declaring he is eating them all and not sleeping tonight, all while Muen happily munches away, totally missing the subtext. This next day dawns bright and sunny over the castle grounds. Inside, Roswace is starting her day with another huge yawn. Her maid, Anna, runs down the queen's packed schedule of royal duties, but the queen just brushes it off, saying she is too tired and needs to rest, which leaves the maid absolutely stunned, the workaholic queen taking a break. She just tells the maid to handle anything urgent that comes up. This maid happily scampers off, revealing a dragon tail. Wait, what? Alone again, Roswace stretches, wondering why she is still so exhausted. A glance out the window reveals Leon teaching Muen in the garden. He is quizzing their daughter on the principles of lightning magic, and Muen recites her lesson perfectly, looking super focused. Roswace arrives just in time for Muen to ask why dad's only teaching her lightning magic. She runs to her mom, gushing that lightning is the best because it is her daddy's element. Leon, looking way too proud, tells Muen to show off what she has learned. With a fierce little cry, she focuses her energy, and brilliant blue lightning immediately starts crackling around her hands. She forms two perfect orbs of pure power, looking like a total pro. Roswace is absolutely stunned. It has only been 2 days since the awakening. Muen then bounces over, asking her mom if she was amazing. Her mind is just blown, realizing Muen's learning speed rivals Noah's. After praising her, she asks about fire magic, but Muen says dad has not started that yet. Muen then cheerfully parrots Leon's lesson. Fire magic is useless except for roasting chickens. With a terrifyingly calm expression, Roswace asks for an explanation and Leon starts to panic. He tries to backpedal, claiming both elements are equally powerful. But Muen immediately calls him out, saying that is not what he said yesterday. Roswace grabs his face, demanding their daughter tell her exactly what daddy said. So Muen spills the beans. He called fire magic too simple with no sense of accomplishment. Worse, he said only a foolish dragon would focus on it, and Roswace's aura turns demonic. Muen innocently asks why mommy looks like she wants to eat daddy while she is literally strangling him. Class is dismissed as Roswace drags Leon away for some private tutoring, and his punishment is a feast of everything he hates, eggplant and carrots. Leon glares at his plate, calling this his last meal before execution. She coldly tells him to eat up as he silently protests his unfair treatment. He tries to play the no appetite card, looking totally unconvincing. Roswace is not having it, telling him he needs his energy with a wicked smile. Then Muen gets involved, quoting his own 3 meals a day rule back at him, and Roswace just loves hearing their daughter take her side, looking way too pleased. Our boy is in full panic mode as she moves in for the kill, say ah. With zero mercy, she shoves the dreaded vegetable right into his mouth. And just like that, his spirit has left the building, defeated by produce. He is out cold on the floor, but Roswace just smoothly tells Muen he is resting. Mommy's just gonna take daddy to rest, she says, telling Muen to finish her food. Sometime later, he is passed out in bed, or so it seems. His eyes snap open, he was faking the whole time. Still fuming about the eggplant, he sits up and realizes he is not alone, and that shadow is Roswace, who is changed into a nurse outfit for round 2 of his punishment. With a syringe in hand, she announces she is here to administer his treatment, which immediately causes a catastrophic nosebleed, system overload. He tries to play it cool, asking what illness this is for, assuming it is another game. She just gets closer, offering to wipe his nose for him with a predatory smile. Barely keeping his composure, he just tells her to hurry up and change out of that uniform. Her shadow falls over him with a terrifyingly sweet smile. Leon's in trouble. Pinning him down, she purrs that he needs to cooperate with his treatment. With a clipboard in hand, she asks about his chest tightness, a diagnosis with a very obvious cause. Leon points out the obvious. You are sitting on me, of course it is tight. For his backtalk, he gets a clipboard to the head. Patient compliance is key. Gritting his teeth, he agrees to play along for now, promising payback later. Undeterred, she just leans in closer, ready to begin the procedure. Her first order is for him to tear his shirt open for a proper examination. Our boy is just baffled, questioning her very aggressive bedside manner. Done with the games, she rips his shirt open herself, revealing a glowing mark on his chest. That purple dragon pattern flares to life, reacting to her presence. He plays dumb when she asks about it, cheekily suggesting she check her own chest. Roswace threatens to sue for harassment, which is just peak irony at this point. Leon immediately calls her out on being the perverted nurse here. He has got a point. Ignoring him completely, she moves in for a closer look, revealing her own matching tattoo. But then her eyes go wide with sudden shock. She abruptly pulls back, looking seriously unwell, leaving Leon totally confused. This punishment grinds to a halt as she rushes to the sink, suddenly sick. A horrifying realization dawns on her as she covers her mouth. From the bed, Leon just asks why the nurse cannot heal herself, completely missing the signs. Her playful mood completely vanishes, replaced by a furious glare. And Leon, bless his heart, finally connects the dots, asking if she could be pregnant. She immediately denies it, insisting her magical protection is absolutely foolproof. It is a purification spell with a supposed 99.9% success rate, she explains. We then get a helpful Chibai PSA on dragon birth control, where Leon points out that 0.1% is not zero. Still in denial, she insists it is impossible, but he gently suggests getting tested just in case. Roswace falls silent, knowing he is right about her recent strange symptoms. Leon then promises to face whatever happens right by her side. With her bravado gone, she just looks down, clearly terrified of the answer. She turns to leave, but our boy tells her to wait a minute. 10 minutes later, they are both staring at the results with matching looks of pure horror. It is positive and they collapse in synchronized defeat. Congratulations, you played yourselves. Roswace has a complete meltdown, so Leon tries to retrace their steps, asking about the spell. She confirms she used it after the hot springs incident, and after 2 other romantic encounters, getting more annoyed with each question. Then it hits him, the one time she could not, when she was out cold for 3 days after the blood curse. This blame game immediately kicks off, with them arguing over who is the real culprit here. It all becomes too much and the Dragon Queen just curls into a ball of pure regret. Leon kneels down, telling her it is too late for that and to focus on what is next. He gently reassures her that it is okay to be scared, promising he is there for her. Leon grabs her hands, swearing that this time he is staying right by her side. He then vows to start studying pregnancy care immediately, much to her stunned silence. But she quickly takes charge, ready to explain the rules of dragon pregnancy. She warns him about her future mood swings, and he just mutters that is business as usual. This triggers her chiba rage mode. The pregnant woman is always right, got it. And with that, she's got him wrapped around her little finger. Later that night, Leon's new life as a royal servant officially begins. His duties now include being a footstool, a waiter, and a personal chef all at once. She is loving every second of this, knowing the baby is her ultimate leverage. Now she is just idly wondering who their new child will take after. Leon, full of unearned confidence, declares the baby will obviously look like him. His primary evidence, their 2 other daughters who are basically his clones. They start breaking it down with a family portrait. He gets the hair, she gets the tails. But Roswace pulls out the trump card, saying the tail is the ultimate dragon feature. Our boy has absolutely no comeback for that, leaving her looking smug. So he just leans in and whispers to her belly, telling the baby to skip the tail, which earns him another face grab from mommy, who is not amused by his genetic meddling. This sends him into a late-night research spiral, determined to make this baby more human. His grand plan involves cultural osmosis through the womb, a quest for fatherly validation. On a grander scale, this is about proving human superiority, a one-man eugenics program. Leon decides it is never too early for some prenatal education. He immediately starts digging for a special item he bought a while back, and pulls out a portable recording stone. His master plan is taking shape. Later that night, under the cover of darkness, the operation begins. Our boy sneaks into the bedroom like a man on a mission. Finding Roswace completely passed out, a perfect, unsuspecting target, he looms over her with a grin that screams bad ideas incoming. After a quick check to make sure she is really asleep, he confirms the pregnant queen is down for the count, which means he can plant his little propaganda machine without getting caught. With the glowing stone in hand, he prepares for some serious brainwashing. He kicks things off with a story about the wise and courageous human race, then whispers directly to her belly, telling the baby to be more human. This is just unhinged. A few hours later, a full-blown pro-humanity lecture is playing on a loop. He is pretty pleased with the audio quality, already planning more recordings. Next on the playlist is an original poem about how awesome humans are. This recording even declares that humanity will defeat all evil dragons. Subtle, my dude, real subtle. This next morning, Roswace wakes up feeling like she's been run over by a truck. Leon, meanwhile, is all smiles, thinking he totally got away with it. She tells him about her nightmare of becoming a human, and he just plays dumb. The absolute nerve of this guy. Roswace prays to the dragon god, not realizing the prenatal education is actually working on her asterisk. Leon, completely oblivious, thinks his plan is a success and vows to keep at it. At breakfast, she casually asks what he is teaching Muin today. She agrees he can handle the simple stuff, but she will teach the asterisk real dragon flames later. He heads off to find their daughter, leaving Roswace to her meal. But the second he is gone, she suddenly loses her appetite, pregnancy perks kicking in. She clutches her belly, complaining about all the hardship she is going through for their child. Her brilliant solution is to just dump all that suffering onto Dad, who is busy with Muin. Later that night, the scene is set. Leon's in his room, meditating and channeling some serious energy. He finishes his session, feeling a surge of new power. This dragon mark is leveling him up, and he is hyped about unlocking lightning magic soon. A quick glance at the clock reveals it is already past 2 a.m., so he decides it is time to implement the 2-child policy. Oh boy. Meanwhile, in another room, Roswace is tossing and turning. Unable to sleep, her mind is just racing with thoughts. Sitting up, she wonders why he dodged the topic of another kid at dinner. This clock strikes 2:25 a.m., and she decides the timing is perfect for a little chat. Fed up with waiting, she marches down the hall to confront him directly, and she reaches his door, ready to find out what he is really thinking. Leon arrives in her room for his 2-child policy mission, but it is completely empty. Meanwhile, she is in his asterisk room, wondering where he is gallivanting off to. A perfect miscommunication. She spots his open window, and her mind immediately jumps to the worst-case scenario. And with that, she is sprinting back to her own chambers. Hearing her approach, Leon panics, worried his upright image is about to be shattered. With no time to escape, he makes a desperate dive into the nearest wardrobe. This door clicks shut just as she storms into the room. From inside the closet, he watches her scan the area, clearly on the hunt. She immediately checks the balcony, knowing he would not have had time to climb out. After clearing the bathroom and under the bed, her search is narrowing. Her gaze finally lands on the wardrobe, the only hiding spot left. Our boy is sweating bullets, realizing he's been cornered way too easily. As her hands reach for the handles, it looks like the game is over. He just covers his mouth, trying not to make a single sound. But then a wicked little smirk crosses her face. She totally knows. She pivots, pretending she was just looking for her sleep mask all along, then loudly declares she cannot sleep without it, a message clearly meant for him. Leon, bless his oblivious soul, completely buys the act and sighs in relief. Through the crack in the door, he watches her get into bed, planning to wait her out. He then carefully peeks out, still convinced his genius plan is working. He cautiously peeks out, only to find her waiting with a smug hello, captive. And with a slam, she traps him inside the wardrobe for good. This sheer betrayal hits him. He has been played like a fiddle. Outside, she starts singing a creepy little song, demanding he open the door. But Leon, full of false bravado, yells that he is not coming out. Rosswace is just loving this, finding the whole trapping your man thing to be a blast. She taps on the door, asking if he plans to live in there now. He desperately reminds her she is pregnant and cannot do anything reckless. She promises she just wants to talk, with a smile that screams, I am lying. With a final come out, she insists he has to trust her. So our boy, bless his simple heart, actually peeks out again. This second he is out, she flips the script, demanding to know why he was in her room. He stammers out a terrible lie about just checking on her well-being, which is so disgustingly sweet it literally makes her want to throw up. His shock is palpable. How could she not believe his completely honest-sounding excuse? She pins him to the bed, offering one last chance to tell the truth. But he gets cocky, thinking her pregnancy makes him untouchable. She just smirks, reminding him there are other ways to hand in homework. A flash of purple energy gathers at her fingertips, and just like that, magical restraints bind his wrists. Game over, dude. With him bound and pinned, her tail starts wrapping around his waist. Leon immediately panics, telling her not to use that particular appendage. She just teases him, asking if this is not something he usually enjoys. He stammers that this time is different, but she is already bringing up old memories. Rosswace leans in close, promising to use her tail to its full potential tonight. Our boy tries to act tough, claiming his resolve is unbreakable, famous last words. His stubbornness just makes her smile, knowing she is already won. This tail tightens and his resolve starts to look a little shaky. Now he is just begging the female dragon to stop, all bravado gone. Grabbing his chin, she warns him not to struggle too much. Then she reassures him that dragons have excellent control, which is not reassuring at all. A desperate internal monologue kicks in, telling him to hold on to his magic power. Whispering his name, she completely shatters his concentration. Leaning in, she seals the deal with a few choice words. And a nearby fountain suddenly erupts with symbolic energy. Afterwards, Leon is completely drained, his soul literally leaving his body. Rosswace, however, looks pretty pleased with her effective tactic. But then her expression shifts as she notices something unexpected. His dragon mark is glowing bright blue, reminding her of that other time it went wild. And she admits that this time it actually felt pretty good. She admits the zappy tail thing was actually kind of nice. Leon notes his power is a bit drained and he needs to get out of there. He tries the "it is 4 a.m. you need rest" excuse, but she is not buying it. So he pivots to a heartfelt speech about caring for her and the baby. An offer for punishment is even on the table for sneaking in. What a guy. Rosswace just smirks, promising to cash in that punishment later, and then lays down the new house rule. He is banned from her room after 7 p.m. Our boy just accepts his fate, now officially Mr. Prisoner. Later, Leon is moving his stuff with the help of two Minimuans. Rosswace watches, surprised he packed so little for the big move. This girl's offer to unpack his clothes, sending him into a full-blown panic, because they immediately pull out some very questionable pajamas. He quickly snatches the bag, lying that they are just old clothes to be thrown out. But the girls then discover matching couple PJs in the closet. They point out the tags are still on, and Rosswace smoothly explains they are cherished. This gets one of the kids way too excited about their future sleepwear coordination. This other one puts them on the spot, asking if they will be together forever, forcing an awkward hug and a promise not to separate. This kids say goodnight, with one asking if they are going to play some more. Oh, the innocence. As the girls leave, the two are left to contemplate their very public relationship status. Leon breathes a sigh of relief. His questionable pajamas are safe from the kids, but he is completely lost on their play comment, and Rosswace is no help. She then drops a bombshell, declaring this is his bed now. Her logic is that their daughter wants them together, an excuse he is not buying. He gets comfy anyway, so she starts teasing him about spiders crawling on his pillow. Our boy proudly proclaims his castle is spider-free, a truly fatal mistake. Later that night, she is buried deep under the covers, because her own spider story is now giving her a full-blown panic attack. This psychological warfare has officially backfired big time. Meanwhile, Leon is sleeping peacefully, completely unaware of her suffering. She, however, is sweating bullets in her sleep cloak, absolutely terrified, so she starts shaking him awake, demanding he fix her insomnia. Her grand solution is for him to come to bed with her, which makes no sense. He points out she literally just kicked him out, but a queen cannot be wrong, right? Oh, she is absolutely fuming at being cornered by her own rules. With that, the cloak comes off and she just pins him to the bed. She announces that if he will not move, she is just going to sleep right there. Now she is blaming him for the spider paranoia, telling him to just deal with it. Our boy is just exhausted, muttering that she needs to keep her stories straight. But she just snuggles in and he finally tells her to sleep since she is not scared anymore. A late-night creak from the door interrupts the peace, and Leon and Roswace immediately recognize their kid's footsteps. She whispers about the late hour while he is just worried about the pajamas. Outside, the two little spies fret about getting caught, but one is determined to check if her parents kept their promise. So they tiptoe in on a mission of utmost importance. Peeking over the covers, the two little dragons survey the scene, finding their targets in bed wearing the matching PJs. Mission accomplished. Our sleeping couple knows exactly what is happening. The inspectors have arrived. This next day, one of the girls lays down the law. They have to live together now. This sudden demand leaves both Leon and Roswace completely stunned. We then flash back to dinner where this whole plot was hatched. With Roswace giving him a look that says, "Do not you dare." Leon's grand idea is to test the waters before revealing the pregnancy. So he starts by asking Muin if she gets lonely, a totally subtle approach. Then he drops the big question, "Would you like more family members?" Muin absolutely loses her mind, demanding a pet slime, a spectacular misfire. As one sister spits out her drink, the parents just watch the chaos. Roswace finally steps in to clarify that the new family member is a baby, leaving the two girls completely stunned by the news of a new sibling. Muin is absolutely ecstatic about getting a new family member. Leon watches, relieved that his kids are taking the news so well. In fact, Muin's first request is for a big sister. Her twin has to gently explain that is not quite how new siblings work. Roswace just laughs, promising to try her best for a little sister instead. Then the other daughter asks if anyone else knows about the pregnancy, to which Roswace admits she's keeping it quiet for a few months, and you can just see the gears turning in this little mastermind's head. She points right at them and declares they should live together, a suggestion that leaves both Leon and Roswace completely stunned. Her sister then gives Muin a very clinical definition of cohabitation. This logic is simple: mom's pregnant and needs a caretaker, so dad's the guy. So the question is formally put to them: will they share a room? They both shout no with lame excuses about snoring and it being too early, but their daughter hits them with the guilt trip, saying pregnancy is serious business. She then proposes a family vote to settle this whole debate. Muin's hand shoots up immediately, making the vote 2-0. Leon smirks, confident that he and Roswace can easily veto this, but Roswace, with a wicked little smile, chooses to abstain, leaving Leon completely blindsided, wondering what her angle is. Leon declares the vote final, twisting her abstention into a decisive win. His daughter gives a look of pure, unadulterated, just as planned. She lays on the guilt, saying this will keep her mom from being sad and lonely. And with that, the kids demand he move in immediately, no time to waste. Our boy is just sweating, completely overwhelmed by their sheer enthusiasm. But internally, he is thrilled, since this makes his second child plan way easier. Roswace catches his smug look, questioning his sudden change of heart. He just plays dumb, asking what she could possibly mean. Getting right in his face, she teases him about being so happy to share a room. Leon immediately turns beet red, stammering a total denial. He tries to play it off as just being a good dad, an excuse she is not buying for a second. Later that night, the two little spies check in, finding their parents in the matching PJs. One reveals she's seen them sleeping like this before, much to her sister's shock. She innocently explains they were covered in insect bites back then too, and even brags about applying ointment for them. What a helpful kid. Now they are hoping for more bites to treat as the sleeping couple listens in absolute horror. Leon finally connects the dots on Hickey, earning a sharp pinch to the waist. He yelps in pain, asking what in the world that was for. She just gives him a look that says, "Shut up or you will regret it." But our boy takes this as a challenge, deciding if she wants to play, he is all in. Leon calls her bluff immediately, going right in for a kiss. She's completely flustered, but he just tells her to be quiet. Outside, the little spies decide it is officially past their bedtime. With a cry of special forces, retreat. They make a tactical exit. One last peek from the door confirms mission success, a truly professional operation. This second the door closes, our couple is just a blushing, panting mess. Suddenly, Leon stops, pointing out his dragon mark is glowing, a convenient excuse. He tries to escape back to the sofa, but Roswace is not having it. In a complete reversal, she grabs him and demands he stay with her. Our boy is just completely lost, but hey, he is not complaining. So they lie down, a very respectable distance apart, of course. Then she orders him to stick out an arm, no explanation given. He obeys, totally confused by this new command, and she immediately snuggles in, wishing him a very smug good night. Leon realizes he is now a human pillow, trapped for the night. A tiny smile shows he is perfectly okay with this outcome. This next day, they are in Sky City on a quest for prenatal supplies. Leon's already got a haul, but he is missing one key ingredient, dragon fruit. After hitting 10 shops, he is starting to think it does not even exist. Roswace explains it is a rare tonic, and if he fails, her mood swings are his problem. Her threat is simple: find the fruit or become the fruit. That is all the motivation he needs, sending him sprinting through the city. And what a coincidence, a local tournament's grand prize is the exact thing he needs. Leon immediately crashes the party, desperate to sign up for the competition. This announcer is just happy for the great turnout, completely oblivious to the stakes. This whole thing is set up like a proper tournament with preliminary rounds in an arena. In the stands, Roswace finds herself among a crowd of overly enthusiastic wives. She tries her best to cheer him on, but it comes out as a mortified whisper. Our boy, however, is soaking in the attention, striking a pose for her. And the epic challenge for this rare ingredient is musical chairs. Of course it is. He sizes up the other contestants, confident he can beat these regular dragons, but one competitor gives him pause, a mysterious woman with a very distinct style. Her aura feels off, way more intense than anyone else's here. After the first round dust settles, the results are announced. It is down to Twin Dad and the mysterious lady for the final match. Leon faces his final opponent, exactly who he expected to be here. She meanwhile recognizes his skills are just like Roswace's and he is as cunning as she is. A confident smirk tells him this will not be an easy fight. Leon's resolve hardens, losing means becoming Roswace's personal stress toy. This announcer calls them to the stage for the final showdown. This final game is a verbal duel called I Have What You Do Not, a high-stakes flex-off. Leon gets his game face on, ready to outbrag this mysterious woman. She gets to go first, looking way too confident for a game of glorified show and tell. Her opening is I have a sister, but Leon immediately counters with I have a wife. She tries flexing her two nieces, so he just smirks and drops his twin daughters on her. This scores fly back and forth in this intense battle of life experiences. From the stands, Roswace thinks the other dragon looks suspiciously familiar. Leon realizes this could go on forever unless he gets weird with it, donkey hooves anyone. But his opponent drops the ultimate trump card, she has never had her first kiss. Our boy is just floored, asking why she is even at a maternity event, a fantastic point. Before he can recover, the announcer calls time and just like that he loses. He is absolutely crushed, face-palming in total defeat. But one look at his family in the stands reignites his resolve, he cannot give up. He chases down the winner, desperately trying to buy the dragon fruit off her. She just scoffs, saying she was only in it for fun and has no reason to sell. So Leon lays his heart on the line, explaining his wife's pregnancy is a life-or-death situation. This news of a second child seems to genuinely catch her off guard. She is actually impressed by how much he is willing to beg for his wife's sake. And Leon just shouts it for the whole world to hear. He loves her that much. His passionate plea works, she hands over the prize, mission accomplished. This mysterious woman teases Roswace about Leon's very public love confession, and surprise, it is Roswace's sister here to congratulate her on the baby. Roswace is absolutely thrilled to see her while Leon just short-circuits, so now it is time for a very tense family tea party. Her sister immediately grills her on how long she has known about the pregnancy. With a shrug, Roswace explains it is all very recent, which is why she has not said anything. She tries to play it off like a letter was totally in the mail, an excuse her sister seems to be accepting for now. Then Roswace admits she was just worried her sister would blab to everyone. Changing the subject, she asks why her sister is even in town. Turns out she was summoned to discuss the Crimson Dragon King, Constantine. Both Leon and Roswace immediately get serious, asking for the latest intel. This sister reports that Constantine is on the warpath, annexing tribes left and right. Roswace realizes he is now targeting the powerful Wind Dragon clan, a huge escalation. Apparently the Wind Dragon Queen is so worried she has asked for an alliance. A concerned Roswace warns that joining this fight is a massive risk. But her sister says she has no choice. If the Wind Dragons fall, she is next on the list. She even turns down Roswace's offer of troops, planning a more direct strategy. Listening in, Leon sips his tea, realizing another war is brewing, and he gets all philosophical about how desire always leads to conflict. Leon gets lost in thought, flashing back to his brutal dragon-slaying days. He remembers his mentor's lesson, you are just a cog in the machine. His whole purpose was to obey, kill, and never ask questions. At least that was the plan until he got a dagger in the chest from an ally. Back in the present, he sips his tea, wondering why a good person like him was targeted. A sudden flash of rage has him vowing to beat his betrayer to a pulp. Roswace's sister leans in, sensing his sudden murderous aura, and he just plays it off with a completely unconvincing it is nothing smile. As the sisters part ways, one tells the other to take care of herself. Then she turns to Leon, entrusting her little sister to his care. Roswace is immediately suspicious, asking what promise he just made. Her sister gleefully reveals Leon promised to be there for this pregnancy. She even roasts him for getting a second kid so fast, much to his embarrassment. This final advice for Roswace is to lock him down and never let go, so she immediately clings to him, demanding he confirm he is staying. Their lovey-dovey act is officially too much for the sister, who has had enough. With a dramatic wave, she makes her grand exit from this nauseating scene. Roswace immediately turns on Leon, demanding to know if the promise was real. He tries to change the subject by mentioning the kids, but she is not falling for it. Later that night, the castle stands silent, setting the stage for their talk. Leon starts his morning routine, rocking some truly excellent bunny pajamas. He is just relieved Roswace has not demanded any homework from him lately. Turns out he has been secretly pumping his magic into her dragon mark. After his prep, he peeks into the bedroom, looking for his opening. It is time to enact his master plan, prenatal education, whatever that means. But his wife is still up, being a total workaholic and ruining the mood. She immediately spots him, asking why he is still awake. Our boy tries to play the concerned husband, telling her to rest for the baby. She calls him out instantly, telling him to drop the act and just admit he cares. So he deflects, claiming he only cares about her abdicating the throne to him. His big threat is to force her into a peaceful retirement, the horror. Roswace just finds this hilarious, offering him a job as her assistant instead. Their banter gets dark, involving zombies and eternal servitude, peak romance really. Finally, she agrees to call it a night and turns off the lamp. Leon settles in, thinking his mysterious plan is finally back on track. As the grandfather clock ticks away, the room goes quiet. They are both in bed, an awkward silence hanging in the air. He lies there, wondering what she is planning this time, and right on cue she leans in close, whispering his name. He thinks she is using a charm, but hey, he is not about to fight it. She smirks, thinking her little charm was a total success. But in his head, Leon's inner demon is gloating about playing along. Roswace then gets serious, asking if his promise to protect her was real. Without missing a beat, he vows to defend her with his very life. This sudden sincerity completely floors her. He actually cares. She tries to argue, reminding him they are supposed to be enemies, but Leon just shuts that down, calling her his beloved wife, and that confession sends her into a full-on system crash. He immediately goes full troll, offering to teach her about enemy psychology. A flustered Roswace demands to know when his feelings changed. His answer is a vague "a long time ago," which is not helping. She starts guessing specific moments, but he just keeps saying no. Frustrated, she presses him for a straight answer for once. Then she notices the clock is still ticking, and this is not a flashback. This realization hits. He is just stalling and messing with her right now. Fine then, she thinks, deciding two can play at this game. She cheekily asks if it was the bunny outfit, but he shoots that down. So she drops the ultimate bombshell. She was planning to wear one tomorrow. Leon's entire world just stops, his brain completely fried by the news. She actually gets up to look for it, leaving him in total, hopeful shock. Roswace peeks out, promising she is just gonna take a quick look. But when Leon sits up, the room is completely empty. And then she is right behind him with a terrifyingly sweet "good morning." Turns out his heartfelt confession just made her feel very touched. Our boy is completely frozen, pinned to the bed and unable to move. She leans in, asking if he is really scared of anything in her castle. And she has got this super "I am listening" face on, which is a total lie. He tries a distraction, but she just threatens to use his socks to tie him up. Now she is getting to the real issue, his promise to her sister. Leon just admits it was half true, saying the promise was real but his feelings were not. Yet, she's not buying his excuse for a second, still thinking he is just playing games, until the horrible, wonderful thought hits her, maybe he is actually serious, which causes a full system meltdown as she starts murdering a teddy bear. Then she blames the bear for his murder and tells him to get lost, a totally normal reaction. She immediately goes into denial mode, pretending she cannot hear him over the bear. While being suffocated by fluff, Leon realizes there is something hard inside it, and her look of pure panic confirms his suspicion instantly. Suddenly she is desperate, lunging to get the teddy bear back. Leon calls her out, saying her panic just proves there is a secret inside, so he makes a run for it, determined to uncover whatever she is hiding in there. With the teddy bear in a chokehold, Leon finally finds the hidden compartment, and inside is the ultimate blackmail material, a photo. Roswace appears, stunned that he has found the picture she kept of them. She immediately gets defensive, claiming she just forgot to throw it away, a likely story. He calls her out on hiding trash so carefully just as she lunges to get it back. In the struggle, she manages to snatch the photo from his grasp. Then, in a moment of pure panic, she just flings it right off the balcony. Leon is floored she actually threw it, while she stands there looking smugly satisfied. Declaring the whole thing boring, she turns to go back to bed, case closed. But as she leaves, Leon gets a thoughtful look on his face. He suddenly remembers there was something written on the back of that photo. Lying in the grass below, the picture reveals a sweet message about lovely people. This next morning, we cut to the training grounds of the castle. Their daughter immediately puts Leon on the spot, asking if he and mommy had a fight. He tries to play dumb, asking what could possibly give her that idea. She points out the dead silence between them, which is way out of character. This kid has them pegged, noting they usually talk non-stop whenever they are together. Leon's brain just short-circuits, trying to convince himself she is mistaken. Then she drops the ultimate analogy, comparing them to two hedgehogs in a story. Apparently they are both too prickly to hug without hurting each other, a diagnosis that is painfully accurate. She finishes her hedgehog analogy, no hugs until the prickles are gone. Leon, taking life lessons from a 5-year-old, thanks her for the wisdom. He then makes a solemn vow to fix everything with her mom by tomorrow. That night, a cloaked person is seen sneaking through the castle gardens. It is Roswace, of course, on a top-secret mission to retrieve her lost pride. Convinced the photo she chucked landed right here, she starts searching. But her frantic hunt through the bushes turns up absolutely nothing. This regret hits hard as she curses herself for being so concerned with saving face. She tries to play it off, telling herself it is just a dumb photo anyway, until a voice from the shadows reminds her it was a one-of-a-kind shot. And there is Leon, dangling the photo like bait, asking if she lost something. His excuse is he casually found it while training, an obvious and terrible lie. He hands it over, making sure to point out he was not desperately searching for it. With the photo back in her hands, she lets out a huge sigh of relief. Leon immediately gets in her face, teasing her about her little walk, then tells her not to throw it away again, earning a classic Sundir huff. On the way back, he brings up their daughter's hedgehog diagnosis, and his wife comment gets a predictable "Who is your wife?" shouted from off-screen. Back inside, she carefully picks up the precious photo frame, placing their picture right next to their daughter's, making the family whole again. With a deceptively sweet smile, Roswace wishes him a good night. And just like that, 2 months fly by with their daughter having the time of her life in the snow. Catching up with Noah, Leon asks how her academy studies are going. Turns out she has already aced B-rank lightning and is hungry for some rank spells. Our boy's chest puffs out with pride, thinking his daughter is an absolute prodigy. This calls for Leon's little classroom, where he explains the S to C magic ranking. This lesson continues with a key detail. A rank human magic is just B rank for dragons. To help her out, he offers to teach his personal favorite A rank lightning spell. Without another word, he starts gathering a terrifying amount of energy in his hand. Blue lightning absolutely crackles up his arm as he prepares to unleash it. His daughter is just completely starstruck by the raw power on display. Leon then takes aim at a poor, unsuspecting training dummy. Then he unleashes a massive, concentrated blast of pure lightning. After she picks her jaw up off the floor, he explains how sprinting adds piercing power. He follows up with a classic "do not try this at home" disclaimer: it is dangerous. Naturally, she wants to know what this awesome move is called. He gives it a dramatic build-up, saying it sounds like 1,000 chirping birds. She is on the edge of her seat, ready for an epic, poetic name, and he just drops the most generic name possible, Thunderstorm. When she calls him on the bird nonsense, he admits he was just trying to sound cool, peak dad energy. In the snow, their daughter Muin calls out for her mom, and there is Roswace, 4 months along, asking about the snowman. This kid proudly explains she has rolled out both the head and the body, but she is just too short to stack them, a crushing defeat for a 5-year-old. Mom offers to help and Muin is absolutely thrilled. Together, they manage to get the snowman properly assembled. Then Muin gets to work adding the stick arms and button eyes. She takes a moment deep in thought, inspecting their creation. Something's missing, but Roswace admits she is a total snowman novice. Just then, Leon arrives to see the family masterpiece, and he immediately points out the obvious: it does not have a nose. Roswace suddenly has the perfect solution, pulling out a carrot with a wicked grin. She declares it a perfect fit, knowing full well Leon despises carrots. If he is not satisfied, she offers an eggplant instead, a truly evil choice. Leon quickly changes the subject, worried about her running around in the cold. But she just scoffs, saying her dragon tail gives her perfect balance. Turns out she snuck past her overprotective maids just to have some fun. Then she suggests a snowball fight or maybe some fire magic lessons, at which point a terrifyingly angry maid appears right behind her. This maid absolutely loses it, listing all the ways those are terrible ideas for a pregnant woman. Roswace absolutely loses it, accusing him of tricking her into getting caught. But the head maid is having none of it, ordering her majesty back inside immediately. So she gets dragged away kicking and screaming like a giant, pregnant toddler. Her parting shot is a threat to make him sleep on the couch, a classic. A few months later, her pregnancy is much more obvious as the family plays in the snow. Leon's on full support duty, even helping her with some intense-looking prenatal stretches. As summer rolls around, the castle waits on high alert for the due date to arrive. On June 29th, it is finally go time, with maids rushing around her bed. One of them desperately tries to coach her through the contractions, and Roswace is clearly in an unbelievable amount of pain. Outside, Leon is pacing the hall, a complete and total nervous wreck. His brain helpfully reminds him that labor can take up to 10 hours of unimaginable agony, leaving him feeling completely useless, just staring at the closed doors. His daughters can see he is freaking out, asking if he is uncomfortable. Muin even says she does not want a sibling anymore if it hurts their mom this much. He quickly kneels down to comfort them, saying they will all cheer her on. To distract them, he promises a family trip to the beach once everything's over. Just then, a massive blast of fire magic erupts from inside the room. Leon just stares, completely stunned by what is happening, as the bedroom doors are blown clean off their hinges with raw power, and the blast from the delivery room triggers a horrifying vision: a silver dragon soldier getting torched. He remembers the sky burning as an enemy force swarmed the castle. In the memory, he shields his daughters from the carnage, telling them not to look. Maids are seen scrambling through the ruined halls, screaming for their highness. Then we cut to Leon asking what all the noise is. Timeline, what timeline? A maid bursts in, confirming a surprise attack by the Crimson Dragon clan. This head maid is floored, wondering why they'd suddenly turn on them. Then it clicks: they struck at the perfect time while the queen was at her weakest. Another maid reports that their top guard, Shirley, is already on the move. We see the purple-haired commander leading an elite team to defend the main gate. This head maid barks out orders: call for backup and get the queen out of there now. But back in the present, Roswace is just coming to after her magical outburst. She weakly asks her head maid what in the world just happened, and Anna drops the real bombshell: they have been ambushed by someone named Constantine. That name hits Roswace like a physical blow, leaving her in total shock. She tries to get up to fight, but a doctor holds her down, warning her about the baby. This head maid takes command, vowing to lead the defense and secure an escape route. But Roswace is panicking, screaming to know where her daughters are. Right on cue, Leon bursts in with both kids, who are crying for their mommy. He rushes to her bedside, reassuring her that he is here with them. Roswace, barely hanging on, pleads with Leon for one last thing. Her only request is for him to protect their daughters no matter what. He leans in close, making a solemn promise as she starts to fade, vowing with absolute conviction that no enemy dragon gets inside. Hearing that, she lets out a relieved whisper, a single tear falling, then tells him where to find his gear, the keys in the second drawer. He immediately finds the set of keys, ready for whatever's next. But his daughters are terrified, asking if their dad is coming back. So he kneels down, reminding them of their promised beach trip, and gives the older one the very important job of protecting her mom and sister. Leon promises to defeat all the bad dragons, getting a tearful okay. With his family safe for now, he steels himself to face the Crimson Clan, and leads the last line of defense, swearing to protect the castle to the death.